Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and now I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dehls. And this is now episode 463. In this episode, we're going to have a jam-packed show talking about both the NBA and the NFL. We're going to talk about the Lakers' 7-game win streak. That wasn't chair that squeaked. Yes, it was
No,
not
wait.
to me.
We don't have an NFL topic.
We all looked at each other.
We do.
We don't.
Yeah, just NFL news that happened. There's a lot of
I
it.
didn't see it.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm the only one that's not starstruck. Because usually it's me by myself.
All right, we're not nuts. There's
no NFL
We're not
topic.
nuts. We're not nuts.
No,
on the
usually it's me. Just me dolo. I'm glad I'm with
The thing
rest
is,
of you.
he said it. Me and Joel locked eyes immediately.
Yeah, no, I looked
Yeah,
up.
there's too much NFL stuff that went on that
There's
we
a lot
have to
of
talk
NFL
about
stuff.
though. So,
Okay, cool.
Well,
It's
we'll
just bunched up into one.
We'll touch on that briefly
that.
at the
What do we
end of
touch?
the episode. Tomorrow we'll go in depth on the moves and what they might
wanna
mean
touch
for
it.
certain teams. But on today's show, we're going to talk about the Lakers' 7-game win streak. The Warriors
Locked on Lakers.
looking really
Locked on
good
Warriors.
as well.
Locked on
We're
Cavs.
going to try to rank the second tier of the Eastern Conference. That means the Knicks, Pistons, Bucks, and Pacers, and do much more.
I love that we've been talking about the fun teams. Like, yeah, we talk about the Lakers, yeah, we talk about the Warriors, but we talk about the fun teams. We talk about the Pistons. We talk about the Grizzlies. We talk about the Rockets.
We had a Magic topic. That wasn't fun.
Magic aren't fun. Magic aren't fun.
It's
That's
supposed to
definitely...
be in the fun topic, but
Hey, Paulo Leggett.
Yo, he's been cooking.
they're losing
back.
still.
Yeah.
They're still losing.
Yeah,
That's
that is true.
bad idea.
That is true.
Unfortunately.
It's funny because whenever you look at the Magic's box score, it doesn't matter what it is. Paulo can have 41. It'll be a -6 on the court. Franz has like
really-
26. It's like a +9. I don't know. That's
Fucking
just how the
plus minus.
differential.
No, plus minus does not help Paulo at all. It's always a negative. It's actually
Yeah.
kind of insane.
So I mean, there's a lot of
Could be
different
my
layers
goal.
to that. But
Let me stop being negative.
if you're looking to have some fun while watching NBA games, maybe you're into hockey, watching hockey games, there's no better place to do it than Prize Picks.
Prize Picks, man, it's all about the versatility on the app. The app is easy to use, and I've been winning a lot of money on it. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, come on. I'm watching my Lakers. I'm watching Luka Doncic every single night. Damn near flirting with a triple-double. It's got to be something I can cash in on. I'm going to go to Prize Picks.
And Luka Doncic stuff, I mean, because at first he wasn't playing the best with the Lakers, you know that his points always weren't the most, so you were able to capitalize on that. You know, has some winnings on there the past couple of games. He's having another great game. If you want to have some fun while doing it responsibly, you can go to Prize Picks, and also it helps support the podcast, and use code PAS and play $5 to get $50. That's code PAS. Play $5 to get $50 for new users. Play responsibly. I feel like the biggest thing that we got to talk about is just the Darius Slay interview made rounds on Twitter today.
Kind of bothered me, sadly.
Yeah, there are some aggregate accounts out there that posted it, and they made Slay look very bad with the quarterback rankings one, and also throwing shots at Devontae Smith because Darius Slay took prime OBJ over Devontae Smith.
I was mad at myself for even entertaining that.
Smitty is probably telling you, yeah, Odell is better than me.
Hold on, a nigga like me would took Smitty, but I get why.
Alright, don't
I
cap.
get,
Don't
no,
fucking
listen,
cap.
You know how, but I get it. Listen, I saw a lot of shit today. Had a lot of emotions.
You couldn't spep on it.
Couldn't speak on it. That's why I'm here now. Like I couldn't speak. I was actually
He put up on Instagram, he's like, I can't tweet. This got me tight.
Yo, I was really upset because I was going to tweet at the MLS thing like, yo, real shit. Why you ain't out our name like that? That you just using our clip. You ain't put us in. At least shit. We need some notoriety. Like put us up there. You know, you got over 300,000 followers. Throw our name in there. Give us some love. The Detroit Times, shout out to them. They gave us a little bit of love. That's a fact that we would kick their ass, but they gave us a little bit of love. Just all them other accounts wasn't really showing no love, and I ain't like that. AJ Brown commented. You know, you saw Chauncey Gardner. He said some things.
Michael Parsons
Parsons jumped
to it.
in, and then somebody jumped in and said something to Micah. It was a lot. It was a crazy day today. Philly fans are emotional. Philly fans are, if not the craziest, one of the craziest fan bases across America. Basketball, football, like hockey, you name it. Like
Baseball, too.
Baseball, they're just
Phillies fans are
insane.
terrible.
So they don't give a fuck if you on the team. Like if you on the team, we need unlimited loyalty. It don't matter what it is.
Lie.
So the moment you slip up and don't lie, or you slip up and you don't take their side, it's over. It's a wrap. But apparently them and Slay had some situations prior. Listen, man, that guy got us a ring. He solidified his spot in Eagles history. Like he helped our young boys be great. Like I don't give a fuck what he say all year. Like he just like I said in the text, he can have my butt. I said that, bro. I was dead ass, bro.
No, he
I don't care, bro. Like,
come on, bro.
like,
I thought that was gonna stay in the group chat.
nah, I had to say that because
Right?
like, bro,
Like,
what the
that's
fuck, like,
something I would not have said
bro,
on
he
air.
just wanted, bro, Dehls, he just wanted us to Super
No,
Bowl.
I understand. I
What the
100%
fuck are we
understand.
upset about? Because he picked 4 elite guys over Jalen Hurts? Because he picked Odell over fucking Smitty? You mad about it? Like, I get it. If he picked somebody like Scary Terry over OBJ, I get that. Or like if he picked somebody like just somebody else. But like, bro,
It blew mine because I don't know if it was MLF or Dolv, whatever, but it's like
it was both.
It was like, yikes! Darius Slay doesn't include Jalen Hurts with Mahomes and Josh.
yeah,
I'm
like-
no, like come on, bro.
You know what
Nobody
I
does. But
realized?
if Eagles fans are the only people that do that.
After
except
the
me.
fact, I kind of realized that that interview and that
that's
clip
crazy.
that got aggregated. I'm
edit that out either.
pretty sure that tomorrow,
I need him to know that.
all the sports shows, first things first take, you name it, they're gonna use that, and it's gonna be a topic tomorrow.
They better
I'm pretty
pay-
sure.
I need some.
As
need
long
credit.
as they say they were on the Pick a Side
I need
podcast.
that.
If they say they were on the
They
Pick
should.
a Side
They should.
podcast,
Drop our link from the video. You
So
can watch it here.
Miles Johnson, he big Eagles fan. I love him. He's a really cool.
no, he's a
dude.
legend.
He works for First Things First as like their social media editor
Really?
and stuff.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he does their clips and stuff, and I think that he also suggests topics for their show. So I'm sure if it's on First Things First, we're most definitely gonna get credit for it. And Jack used to be on a podcast, used to host a podcast. He's on First Take. So I'm pretty sure if they use
Yeah, I
our
know these
stuff,
guys.
they'll definitely get
used
get
to
us
be
credit.
on it, like just
Jack,
throw a little-
he did used to be.
He was
in
with
my seat
Castanat.
before mine.
He was
Yeah.
hyping up
He was
Castanat.
there.
Kind of
Yeah,
doing a
nah.
front flip in there killed me, bro. He killed me.
No, yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a topic tomorrow. But no, that one specific Eagles account, the Joe dude, yeah, I think he's the worst Eagles account, and unfortunately, it represents a big portion of Eagles fans. I know that there are some Eagles fans like, hey, listen, they don't represent all of us, but unfortunately, that's what people think of when they think of Eagles fans. They think of dudes like him, and the reason why I don't like him is not only because I think his content is dumb, but it's also
personal?
that I do
Zing.
think it's dumb. But also he
Piece of
he
shit
once
human.
tweeted a fake conversation with me in it.
Oh, that was him?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
And it involved.
So he is a piece of
yeah,
shit.
and it involved my girlfriend and him trying to like have a fake conversation with me about.
I did not know that was that
yes,
dude.
it's the same dude. So he's somebody that's just looking
Hey,
for
tell me
clicks
that
and.
before I unfollow this nigga.
He's a fan. The thing is, he's a huge Eagles fan, and the thing is, bro, y'all just won a Super Bowl, and the first thing you do, like, there's so many moments of the podcast you could have taken that could have gotten clicks and it could have gotten likes with you showing love, but instead you immediately went to go show hate and make Darius Slay look bad, and I just felt like that wasn't cool.
No, Slay loves Philly, bro. Like the way he talked about Philly, the way he talked about the people he worked with, like how he talked about he'll take less, he wouldn't come back. Like Slay, you could like not every human is perfect. Like we all have our mistakes, but like Slay loved Philly, man. So it's like
He didn't even make a mistake.
I
didn't
really
say
don't feel like he
nothing
did.
wrong.
I like he didn't do nothing in my eyes, and I'm a Philly fan. I don't give a fuck what he said. Like he holding up the Lombardi.
you.
Like what do we care about all that shit for? But like, how are you miserable after a Super Bowl win is beyond me? And we ain't just winning. Oh damn, this shit was down to the wire, and we ain't just beat no injured. No, we beat Mahomes. We whipped his ass. Why are you like upset about that? Why are we still like trying to make nothing out of something? It's crazy to me.
Yeah, and it's funny because he was on our show before the Eagles announced they were releasing him, so he very well did not know that
That clip,
he was going to get released.
It's not.
just yet.
It's not a coincidence that clip came out after the fact that he was cut. That was not going to go viral. If we would have got the notification, Darius Slay back 1 year, $12 million, that clip is probably not going around. But the fact that he gets cut a couple days ago, now people are searching Darius Slay interviews. Oh, what's Darius Slay been saying? And that episode came out before he got cut. So everyone's just taking it out of context, man.
Yeah, it bothered me. Big Play is a cool dude. And you could tell in that interview, he was just talking to us like normal people. Like we're one of his friends.
Like we're at the bar and he's just being honest with his answers.
Like we were just talking ball. That was really all it was. So the fact that they took it and ran the way that they did, it bothered me a lot.
Because if he would have said the other way, if he'd have been like, nah, Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the world, been like, all right, well, this is just a football guy who's on his team, so he's just going to lie about his guys, which a lot of guys do, and that's fine. But it's also cool, like Drew said, when Slay is just having a conversation, actually talking ball, giving his honest opinion. There's nothing wrong with Jalen Hurts. He'd probably be the next quarterback up for Darius Slay. And if Jalen Hurts is the 5th best quarterback in the world, I don't think Hurts is back there like, damn, fuck Darius Slay. He should think I'm better than Patrick Mahomes. Like, we know how Jalen Hurts is. You really think he thinks like that?
You know, it's funny. Slay was also on the Janky Rondo guys stream thing, talking about he wouldn't mind coming to the Washington Commanders. So at the end, this all happened. This all happens within the span of like 3-4 days. So they was
traitor.
Yeah, he was like, hey, the money right. It'll go anywhere, and yeah, people are now looking at that too.
And that's what it's about for a veteran like him. You know, it's about the money right now. It's about more financial security.
But he said if everything's equal, he wants to go back to Philly. But if Commanders are like, we'll give you 17 a year or some crazy shit,
well, we just seen the Commanders that they're making Zach Bond one of the highest paid linebackers. They just made Saquon the highest paid running back in the league. You know, they're paying a lot of dudes. So, you know, there's a reason why somebody like Slay is just a casualty in all of that. But even in the podcast that we had with him,
damn, this shit was supposed to be. Thought it was gonna be quick.
It's supposed to be fun.
Knows?
Here we go. We're fine.
But even in the interview that we had with him later in the podcast, he talked about Jalen Hurts. It wasn't nothing grand or nothing. He didn't talk for too long, but he talked about playoff Jalen Hurts and said, you know, that's a different boy right there. Mm-hmm. That's a different demon. So
he said it after the Super Bowl too. He said the same thing. He's like, yes, it's my dog. It's one of my, you know, I said this day he got drafted, this is your team. I always believed in him, but no one's talking about it.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, there's so many different ways that Eagles content creators could have, you know, clipped up the interview and shed more of a positive light on their season and what they did. But the negative clips really didn't come from the aggregators. It came from the Eagles accounts first, and then they got picked up nationally. So, you know, they could have went a different way about it, but it doesn't matter.
Last thing I'll say on this too, because we had the luxury of interviewing Slay, and then we interviewed Nick Bonito, and I went and talked to my dad after, and I said, you could tell the difference between being a 12-year player in the league versus being on a rookie contract. You hear the way that Slay talks. It was a lot more looser. It was a lot more opinionated. Nick Bonito, there was definitely moments where we were able to have good discussion, but you could tell that he was trying to keep things close-knit. No doubt. But he was definitely being smart with the way that he was answering certain questions. And you got to respect it. He's trying to get his money. He's still waiting on his big bag, which inevitably will come, but big play Slay's towards the end of his career. He's got none to lose. He's been trying to get into the media space for some time, succeeding, but you're able to get away with saying a little bit more, but that was not the case this go around.
Yo, Slay, you still my brother, man. I don't care what.
There was a part of me that wanted to reach out to him and be like, well, we didn't expect this to happen, but you could, I mean, I'm sure he knows. We didn't mean anything by it. We weren't even the ones that posted it.
No, we
didn't clip the Jalen Hurts.
Oh, Slay leaves Hurts off the list.
Imagine, bro.
I think the only thing we clipped was the Detroit, that he wanted to see Detroit. Yeah. And that was all figurative, like that's something that wasn't even real.
And that's just being competitive too. Yeah. That's him just being like,
he ain't even disrespecting.
And the quarterback list was great. It's funny because, you know, there was people that was you know, they obviously didn't watch it the full thing, and they were like, you know, you guys set him up with those questions, and it's like, we didn't even ask a quarterback question.
We didn't.
You know, I asked him about Terry McLaurin. Is he an elite wide receiver? And I set Terry McLaurin up for that. Honestly, I should have set him up for a little lighter of a question. And then Slade was like, you know, I don't view him as an elite guy. And he said, the guys I view as elite guys, like quarterback and wide receiver, he mentioned both. So,
and he mentioned four specific, 4 receiver. He mentioned 4 specific, 4 quarterback. He wasn't going 5 for 1. He just think there's 4 elite guys at every position.
And I don't see the Chargers fan base throwing a fucking fit because he didn't say Justin Herbert name.
Chargers fans are very quiet.
Yeah, he did like, and this is the thing, like
the Justin Herbert disrespect.
I'm just saying they gotta be quiet. Just
you know, the last San Diego Charger has gotten cut. This is a new era for the Chargers. Now it's L.A. It's L.A. now. No more curse.
And people don't watch our shit.
No more curse.
Because we do King of the Hills all the time. Like, this is not something new. So, like, you had to know he was going to do a King of the Hills.
He took A.J. Brown over everybody not named Devontae Adams, you know. So, once he got to Devontae Adams, that's when he took
And they ain't start dick riding in. Oh, why you take A.J. Brown over here? Like, shut up.
You know,
he took A.J. over CD.
He did.
How'd it make you feel?
That's what it is. I felt like Nick Bonito was much more looser when it came to just the non-football questions.
100%.
You know, outside though of the, you know, he was very honest with his Joe Burrow assessment. He was, you know, he could have been more accurate.
Joe Burrow killed us. I'm not gonna say he didn't.
No, Joe Burrow had the best season of any best game amongst any quarterback against their defense.
That was a
Well,
day.
Herbert, I would argue too on that
In the
Thursday.
second half.
Yeah, facts.
Yes.
Lamar too. He had
Joe-
Lamar. He had
No,
Lamar
dude.
as
Joe
the lead
Burrow, it
quarterback,
was like
not
a
Josh,
consistent
MVP.
killing every single drive. He was just going crazy.
He was.
Now he torched out.
He
That
did.
was a day.
He did.
Yeah.
T. Higgins,
Still
man.
was
He had so
Riley
many
Moss
great
was just coming back
performances.
from injury.
Now,
That's why.
Bradley Moss was put in the box that day. Unfortunate, but
He should have won MVP, man.
who? What?
Joe
You gotta
Burrow.
make the playoffs.
Joe Burrow.
I'll be honest.
You have to make
He's
the playoffs.
kind of
you have to make the
fucking-
playoffs.
Hell
If he
no.
made the playoffs, he would have been the runaway MVP.
I'm not mad at that, but
He was better.
Just
than
needed to
Josh.
win maybe one or
he's
two
better
more
than Lamar.
games.
Hell no.
Yeah. Not against-
But the MVP
Gotta
is
make
the
the
most
playoffs.
valuable player to your team. Unfortunate. You know?
Joe
Did he have 10
Burrow.
wins this year? You know what?
No, they had,
you know
they
what?
were 8
Nine.
wins?
9 and 8.
9?
I told myself
Went over 500.
negativity is over. So never mind.
Gotta remind yourself that every day when you wake up in the
Remind
morning.
myself every day. Negativity is gone.
Because it's
All right.
easy to fall in the loop of being negative.
No, it really is easy to
Really
be
is.
a negative guy, but I don't want to be that. So you know
Some
what?
may
I like-
argue that
You're
you
being negative in the
I like
Discord.
your hoodie. What?
Being an asshole.
Is that backhanded?
That
No.
is- He's
What?
lying to me.
No.
He has to be.
No. I wanted to start off because I said something negative. So every time I say something negative, I want to start with something right back positive. That's why. So that's why I looked at it. I was like,
All
oh,
right.
I like it. I like the
All right.
color.
I appreciate that. I definitely did think he was being
No,
honest.
I like the color of it. I just want to be a positive guy, man. Negativity breeds too much anger in me.
It's just hard when it's a lot of bullshit that happens. Like today, some bullshit happened to me where I ordered NBA 2K11 off of Amazon.
You know, I could have gave you mine.
You have it?
I
I
had
had
it too.
every 2K, 2K11,
You have
12.
for Xbox 360?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could've
Maybe
given
after
my-
this podcast, I'll go pick it up.
Actually,
2K,
Yeah, no,
11,
okay. Yeah, no,
10,
being serious.
9, I have 8, I have
Yeah.
12, 13, and 14.
I have to look for it. If anything, I'll give
Okay.
it to you tomorrow.
So I got the game and then I was playing it. You know, I was just
Shit was
looking
broke,
at the
wasn't it?
soundtrack. It wasn't. This is the thing. I was looking through the rosters and I was like, okay, you know, it's just getting a
You
little
get
bit
excited?
nostalgic. Then I go to the association and I get a new association. You know, I pick the Knicks. On this, our first year with Stoudemire. I make trades. I go trade for James Harden, OKC, 74
course.
overall. I go trade for Tyson Chandler on the Mavericks. I trade for Kyle Lowry. So right now, my team is Lowry, Harden, Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, Stoudemire, and Tyson Chandler.
Not terrible.
It's a great
I got a
2K
pretty
team.
good squad. Harden and Lowry are like 70 overalls, but you know
gotta
I'm
get
gonna get
better.
them better. You know, so I'm gonna play those games. It's a 29 game season. I load up into the game,
12-minute
Number.
quarters.
and then I get a disk error that it doesn't work, and then I was like, what the hell? So then I tried to restart it multiple different times. I clean it multiple different times. I do it, and I do the freestyle practice stuff, you know, to see, okay, let's see if just regular gameplay works. It works. You know, I'm shooting around with Kobe Bryant. Whenever I hop into a game,
In association.
or just a
it's like-
regular quick game.
wow.
Whenever I hop into a game,
Shit
as
glitched.
soon as like the lineups load up, it just gives me an error, and I'm like, my goodness.
They gave you some bullshit.
Yeah. So like, you know, I made all these trades and stuff, and I'm excited to play this first game, and then I can't play.
I'm gonna send you this link to this website. It has all the old school games. Like, they're like $5, $10. Some games are $30 if they really
Yeah.
good. I'm gonna send it to you.
I just bought SmackDown vs. Raw 7.
I had that too.
Yeah.
Is that with
Absolutely.
Triple H?
Yeah,
That shit cost $60.
yeah. I bought it for
What?
30 today.
Yeah. When I bought it a year ago, $60. I bought NCAA 10 March Madness, $130.
You dropped 130?
Oh yeah, it's nostalgia.
You're crazy.
Nostalgia. Me and my
I bought
brother
it for $30 today.
brings back memories.
Is
you know?
SmackDown vs. Raw your favorite wrestling game?
Yes.
Here Comes the Pain was tough too.
07 is my favorite because when you go into the story mode, you have like a trophy case that
Really?
like is on
I
display.
prefer 08.
Yeah.
Because that's ECW.
08 is
Right,
cool
does,
too.
Yeah.
I like 09 just because that was Jeff Hardy's first time in the game.
I liked it. No, it was 08.
It was.
Yeah. But 09 fucked up because it took general manager mode out for me. And that's what I did not like that.
Yeah.
It really pissed me off.
Didn't really play wrestling games when I was younger. All I was playing was Madden and MLB The
Here
Show.
Comes the Pain is
Here
one
Comes
of
the
the ones.
Pain. Yeah, the story mode in Here Comes the Pain was elite.
It's
I wish
really
I
lit.
enjoyed the wrestling games more when I was younger because I didn't know about GM mode when I was younger. So whenever I played WWE, it was either the Road to WrestleMania stuff or it was just me and my cousin and we just playing a game like a Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank and shit. I'm not really doing none of that story stuff.
Yeah, me and my brother, we used to do, when we played 08, we do GM mode. So we just going back and forth trying to outdo each other. And SmackDown had Teddy Long at the time.
Yeah.
And Raw had Jonathan Coachman. So, and then you had ECW, but they only had like 9 people in the roster. So it's like, who the fuck wants to be
Was that the first one where you could go under the ring and they had the circle of all the different?
it was. Yeah.
That was so
CM
fire,
Punk's
bro.
first time was in the game.
You could pull out a
Yeah,
ladder,
Tommy
you got
Dreamer,
stick.
Sabu, Sandman, Kelly.
Kelly,
I
man.
just feel like sometimes
101.
back then
Generational.
the games just were more innovative, man. Well, the new WWE, I think it comes out tonight. If tonight's,
supposed to
it
pre-order
comes out
the
the
6th, I
7th.
think. Yeah.
They have this thing called I forgot what it's called. It's basically like a similar thing as
park?
to it's like the
Oh, I did
neighborhood
see-
for
I
the
did
two
see
cents.
that.
My Island.
Yes, the
I saw
island.
the
It's
trailer for
basically like
that.
the city, and I don't know how the hell that's gonna work out because
They'll probably fuck it up.
this past year the WWE game, whenever you wanted to play it online with somebody, number one, they didn't have no crossplay. Number two, whenever you want to play online with somebody, you never would be able to get into a match. The matchmaking was broken. The servers were bad. So I don't know how they're gonna make the
They're
island.
just gonna have
work.
like rings all over and just hop in the ring. Like
That's what they're
ready
saying.
up in 2K.
Yeah, I don't even know how that's gonna work. How many people are gonna be there? But it might come out at 12 tonight. So I'll definitely
copping
get it. Yeah, I'm definitely.
I'm looking at it right now.
I just like watching the entrances, man.
You getting the tribal chief version?
Yeah. You always got to get the high-end versions with those games because everything costs a lot now. Like the base game now costs $70.
$70.
Yeah.
So it's like, y'all might as well just buy
The whole yeah. 'Cause
the
you get mad shit with it, too.
deluxe because then I get all the DLCs that come with it that are gonna eventually I'm gonna want to buy anyway. So it just makes more sense to just go all out.
GTA 6 about to be like 90, bro. They're definitely gonna up it.
I'll pay $100 for that.
I'll pay
Bro, they're
200.
talking about
Yeah,
like having like a currency type situation for.
Oh, the crypto shit.
Yeah,
I think it's
bro.
cap.
I think it's capped too, but I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
know if
real.
that's fucking legal, bro. Like,
Bro, I know. I don't know what's going on. They
All right, here we
have
go,
a
y'all.
pyramid-
it's a terrible idea. Such a bad idea.
Here we go, though. Here we go.
They have worlds that people have made.
Yeah. The role
Like the
playing
mods.
shit.
Yeah. Like what the hell?
Yo, I have.
They hired the dudes that made all that.
I
shit.
just downloaded a
Didn't
mod.
T Grizzly have his own?
He did.
Yeah, he said he was
it
making like
fucking-
20,000 a week
dude,
or some
it was
shit.
jumping his T Grizzly shit. Like literally, he was posting on YouTube and stuff. Bro, it was lit.
Did you press
Like
the
people were
power
really
button,
in there.
though?
Dude, but like what were you doing that you could make money?
Oh, that part I don't know.
No, but why was he making money?
I guess
Well,
'cause
you
they're
paid to be in
streaming.
a server.
Yeah.
You paid like $20 a month to be in it.
Facts.
And what do you get from being in that server?
Talk to
You
T
just
Grizzly.
they
You
had
just get
mad,
to live in
you
that
have like
world, pretty
custom
much.
stuff. Like you could buy like Gucci clothes, you could buy Lamborghinis, you could buy all of this custom shit.
It's like on my computer. You know how I play those strategy games? So I have like this mod, and the mod it brings like Lord of the Rings, for example, right? I have this Lord of the Ring game on my computer, and they have all the generic stuff: the elves, the men, the dwarves, the Urukai, stuff like that. But the mod, it brings like all different types of elves, different type of men.
Shit.
The Dunedain, like it brings like map, and then you get the whole map. Like it just basically expands the game.
you played the Lord of the Ring game on the PS2 with I don't really watch it, but it's the main dude in the middle holding the sword.
Yes.
Yo, that game was so fucking
Conquest
fun.
something. I forgot what it's called. Conquest something. Yeah, I played every Lord of the Rings game.
Bro, I remember playing that game, waking up at like 5 a.m. playing that shit before school.
I was listening to I think Aiden Ross talk about it. He was saying how you can earn
This
real
shit.
Yeah, I played that game.
facts.
That game was elite.
You
Play
can
this?
No.
You can
man.
earn real money. Like that's the mod he's trying. That's like the server he's trying to make. You can make real money. You can grow your empires and stuff like that. But if you
sounds
die,
fire.
you lose it all.
That's some bullshit.
I saw that clip. Yeah.
That's die
I'm
once, lose
a
all.
die in the game, and everything I work for is
GTA,
done.
you're meant to die in it.
You are.
Like you're meant to die.
Especially all the cheesy shit that they have in there, bro.
Yeah, he's getting people.
Like
though.
what if you hire like a group of security guards and
That shit sounds.
that's
lit.
like you're like really kingpin in there, but then one of the security guards just decides, I want it all. Bang! He
No,
just
for
goes and he
real.
gets them.
You just can't trust nobody.
I'm gonna be real with you. Never really was a Grand Theft Auto guy. Never really played San Andreas. Never played GTA.
I played all
I
of
know.
them.
Never really
Loved all of
dude.
them.
I told you, I really was locked in on sports games.
Drew.
I played all the sports games too, but GTA I was
played
definitely
every
locked
GTA
in.
known the man.
You know what else I was playing? And honestly, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was playing Guitar Hero.
I don't
I
hate
like
it.
Guitar Hero.
I
yeah.
really wasn't playing.
I wasn't
The
locked
Sims?
in like you. I played the
I played
Sims
The
for
Sims.
sure. The PS2 Sims.
You played the Wii, the baseball games and the tennis.
Oh, yeah,
games?
Nah,
yeah,
Wii
yeah.
Sports is one of the goats.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really an RPG kind of guy.
Now GTA is
Because
probably-
GTA's RPG.
it's
Whether,
the greatest series ever.
You play Red Dead?
no,
Red Dead 2 my favorite game ever, bro.
I don't
Yeah.
really
Play Gears
like,
of War.
I never really played
No.
Gears that much.
I'm more
Halo?
of a gamer that,
of course, but
I
that's
like-
not RPG.
No, it's not.
It's not, but
It's a shooting game.
it is.
like
but
Call
it's,
of Duty,
it's
yes.
yeah. It's like
You
Call
said
of Duty,
Gears of
yes.
War?
Yeah.
I played the multiplayer. I never really played the campaign.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I like creating my own world instead of being in it and role playing in that. You know what I'm saying? I like
You're-
creating
you're
my
an
own
innovator.
world.
So
Yes.
like 2K
Yes.
like association.
Like
and-
having my own, building my own team, like just having my own things.
that.
Like, You know, when I used to play
Play
Dragon Ball
Minecraft,
Z,
you can make your own world, bro.
I used to play Minecraft, but
I
it's
did play
just a lot of
Love
stuff.
Minecraft.
I never played
Minecraft
Minecraft.
is very, you could get very deep into it, but I just feel like there's no reward from Minecraft. It's just you build something and you're like, oh, it looks nice. Okay, on to the next thing.
Dude, that's crazy. Diamonds? That's a reward.
I'm ashamed
Getting
of this, but I
diamonds?
used to
I
bully
didn't
my
even
little
know there
cousin
was
for playing Minecraft.
Bro,
Oh, you're
all the
bugging.
gems.
call it
You
Minecraft
can make
was-
like a
Yo, what?
amethyst sword. You can make a diamond sword.
Well, they have
diamond
they have like
pickaxe.
bosses and shit you could fight. You have like an
Okay.
Ender Dragon. They got other shit
I
they've
used to call
added.
them all
but
types of names, like the F word and all that whatnot. I used to go crazy.
for playing
Fuckers,
Minecraft,
no doubt.
Yeah,
Dude, Minecraft's one of the best games
I was
ever.
a dick when I was like 15, dude. So it's like I
You
used
were.
to flame him, man.
You were.
You didn't even know me.
Yeah, we had freshman Spanish together, bro.
Say word.
I swear to God, because I remember you in my class like River. What the fuck's River?
Really? Yeah,
I swear to God, I don't
When we were
remember
in
the
middle
teacher's
school,
name.
you weren't a bad dude.
Nah,
You weren't.
I was alright. High school, man. I was a dick. I didn't know we had freshmen.
I don't remember the teacher's name.
What
But we
happened, bro?
definitely did.
You hit puberty? You were like,
we had
I hate
we had
life?
Jesse in that class. He was a senior. I just remember he was like the biggest fucking kid at Hackensack,
was.
bro.
He was.
He was in our class.
I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know.
Why you were on that timing?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought,
acting
like,
out.
Yeah, I was funny, but I was a dick. So I was like, cancel out, you know? Like, people would laugh and be like, he's kind of an asshole, but he's kind of funny. So
Those
like,
are the worst people, in my
yeah,
opinion.
so it's like you never know if I'm joking or
That's
I'm just
why.
being disrespectful, you know?
Yeah, 99% of the time, it's being disrespectful.
Yeah, no, high key. Yeah, but I'm a changed man now.
Now, so
today.
we didn't get to talk about this conversation. Really, it was happening, I think, at the beginning of this week, more towards the end of last week. This face of the NBA conversation. And
they were trying to kill my goat.
LeBron James spoke on it. Stephen A. Smith then responded to it. You know, they had a lot of segments on this stuff. You know, what are your overall thoughts on LeBron basically saying that, you know, nobody wants to be the face of the NBA because there's constant criticism on the people at the top that, you know, have that type of throne. And there's a lot of negativity within the NBA media space.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. Like, nobody wants to be at the top of their game constantly every day getting shit talked, getting criticized. Always, they can go outside and they, you know, litter. And now it's like, look at your goat. He's littering. Like, how can he be that person? Like,
Shouldn't litter.
You shouldn't litter. I agree. You shouldn't litter.
Wow.
I've been a changed man lately. I haven't littered in a long time, guys. It's been a minute.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, you're supposed to lie there. That was the moment to lie. Face of the NBA though, it's a tough, and the difference between LeBron and everybody else is he's been the face since like 17, 16, 15, like, so he's been at the forefront of the media for so long. It's a tough task. I think with Ant-Man, because I know this conversation derives from Ant-Man saying he doesn't want the title, LeBron saying, you know, nobody wants that title. Unfortunately, somebody has to have that title. You know, somebody for the NBA, you need a face or multiple faces of the league to kind of garner that. When you could walk into the NBA, it's more than just basketball. You become role models. You know, you become guys who, you know, put franchises on your back. You know, it's not just a go to work. It's same thing with, I don't want to say same thing, but like people in the hospital. Like, Drew, you can understand this. You don't just go to work and work 9 to 5. No, you go there and you save lives. You go there and you can save 5 lives. You can save 10 lives. Like, there's life in your hand. I'm not saying NBA players have life in their hands, but they look up to you to kind of, you know, give them hope for their life to be better. Or like give them hope to maybe I can do what he can do. You know, he's my size. Why can't I be that? You know, so for being the face, I just think the media has made it to where it's so negative. It's never no real positive things. I mean, these two guys right here have been the faces of our league for damn near 10, 12 years, and they've negatively put these two guys against each other all the time. And the conversations have led to sometimes some negative, nasty stuff. Even LeBron and Michael Jordan. The conversation can very well be the old face of the league, new face of the league. You can have a positive conversation about it. But now it's, you know, bringing up negative stuff about both of them, how LeBron's a choker, LeBron's soft, MJ was a gambler. Like, it's all this shit, like, to where it has nothing to do with the game of basketball. We can prop up two guys, you know, and just talk about their legacies. I think, face of the league, it would be much better if the media, you know, changed their ways or if they, you know, broadcasted a little bit better. But I get it. Like, the title is extremely hard. The title it's a lot of weighing on your back, especially for these guys who are 20. Ant-Man is 22, 23 years old. You know, that's a lot on your shoulders for somebody with his swagger, his demeanor. He just wants to come hoop.
Yeah, I believe that. You say role models. Anthony Edwards not the first person that comes to mind, if you ask me.
For role model?
For role models, strictly talking
He's
role
the last
models.
person that comes to your mind.
It might be.
Well, just,
not great. No, but I understand your sentiment.
Obviously,
LeBron James is
recent news. I get it.
100%.
Yeah.
LeBron James, role model. Steph Curry, role model. Now, we had this conversation a couple of days ago, and we were talking about how LeBron's the face of the league, Steph Curry is the face of the league, and maybe if we had a little bit of back and forth on if I disagreed or not, but if you think that Steph Curry is a face of the league, I wouldn't disagree too much, but it goes and shows you how you can have a face of the league and you're not completely tarnishing their reputation. I feel as if we had these conversations about Steph Curry all the time about how he's the most protected superstar. And that turned into a negative thing when that's what you're supposed to do with superstars. You're supposed to treat them accordingly because they've accomplished and done so many great things that why would you try and hone in on something and make it a negative thing? Like we've seen with LeBron James. But I feel like the difference in conversations are you don't have him in the conversation with Michael Jordan, although Shaq tried to do that this past week. We won't talk about that. But when you're in conversations for one of the greatest of all time as opposed to, no, you might be the best ever, that's where people feel like it's okay to nitpick. And that's where I can understand where LeBron James is coming from. His statements were solely coming from a place of experience. I would understand why Anthony Edwards wouldn't want to be the face of the league. I get talked about even on my days off, even when we're not playing basketball, even when other teams are dominating the league and my team may not be as great as theirs, they're still talking about me. That's the main sentiment from LeBron, and he's 100% right. There's a lot more going on in the NBA, not just LeBron James. And I get it that he's the biggest. I get that he's the most popular. I get that he's 40 and still playing at an all-NBA level, but the league is so much bigger than just LeBron James. And even if he is still the most marketable with Steph Curry, the league is still in great hands. SGA is amazing. Jokic is incredible. Giannis scored 20,000 points and you didn't even hear about it on mainstream media. And Giannis is an all-time great. It just goes to show that sometimes you focus on the wrong things when you talk about the face of the league. That's where I kind of have my opinion on that. But Anthony Edwards, I don't know if I can see him as a face of the league. I think that he has the skill and the talent to be that, just solely watching the product. But his off the court, that's a reason why LeBron James has become such a great figure in sports, because of his off the court while also combining how great he is on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the media has always been negative, right? Like, I think of just the clips of Stephen A. Smith talking about Kwame Brown, calling him a certified scrub. But the fact that we have social media now, the fact that we have YouTube and you could just look up Anthony Edwards or whatever, and there's going to be a video that was posted in the last 2 days about whatever topic you're looking for. It's a lot easier just to find, whether positive or negative, the information you're looking for. So it's nothing new, but when you're talking about the face of the league, I feel like if it's a conversation, you're not the face of the league, right? There's no debate right now, or there has been no debate about who is the face of the league. I feel like it's been LeBron James. Like, Steph Curry's been there. He's been part of it. KD's been there. He's been part of it. But it's been LeBron James for the last 20 years. He has been the face of the league. And even though he's been the face of the league, he has still received what feels like more criticism than praise, right? This is a guy that went to 10 straight NBA finals, and the only thing people talked about for the early part of his career was how he couldn't win a ring, how he wasn't clutch, how he had a former super team, and no one really talked about how great of a player he was. And part of it comes from, I think, jealousy, number one, right? Like, if you don't have LeBron James, me as a Celtics fan, I was never rooting for him. I was hating on LeBron James, absolutely. But one, I was like, 13 when he was really at the peak of his powers going up against Boston and the big three and whatnot. So I think part of it just comes from jealousy and people not being able to experience it. So it's like, I'm not going to root for the guy that's the best in the world. I'm going to hate on him. I want this team to win or that team to win, whoever he's going up against. So I do think that's part of it. The next face of the league, though, we just might not have it right now, right? I think Wemby is one of the guys that can be it, just because he has something that we really have never seen. A dude that's 7'4", that can handle like him, that can defend like him, that can get to the rim and do basically everything on the basketball court at his size. So he feels like the most logical up next for face of the NBA. But then you get into the conversations. Oh, does it have to be an American-born player? Is San Antonio, like, is it too small of a market, even though LeBron did it in Cleveland? So I think more than anything, people are just finding ways to nitpick the game. And we've had these conversations before, but finding ways to find negativity. And the other part of it too is that we talked about it. Kai Cenat was on First Take today, and they were having debates about who's the GOAT. And people are on Twitter like, man, Cavs are on a 10-game win streak. OKC's having a historical season. I don't think people realize that the casual fan probably doesn't care about Cleveland right now. The casual fan probably doesn't care about OKC, for right or for wrong. They just don't really gravitate towards that. They still want to see what the Lakers are doing. They want to hear about what Steph is doing. And that's part of the problem, but that's also just being a casual fan. And the NBA, I think, has more of an issue than this than the NFL, maybe, because like maybe there's just more players that are interesting, like Lamar and Mahomes and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, that there's more areas to discuss. Because for the NBA, most people don't really care about the stuff we're talking about. Most people aren't going to sit through a 20-minute segment about the Orlando Magic and why Paolo has been inefficient. Plus, like, for the most part, people want to hear about the most popular players and the biggest storyline. So I think it's a few different things, but in reality, people are going to complain. And even if we get a face of the league, even if Wemby becomes that, they're still going to find ways to scrutinize him.
I feel like the face of the league is not something that you choose. It chooses you. And it chose LeBron James. LeBron James was just that good that he became that. He didn't wake up and say, I'm going to become that. No, you have to be good enough and talented enough to be that. Since he was in high school, he was heralded as the chosen one. He was pinned up against Michael Jordan. He was marketed as the next Michael Jordan. And he's lived up to those expectations. Anthony Edwards has no place to talk in this conversation because I just don't think he'll ever be great enough to be the best player in the NBA and the face of the league. I think he can be one of the 5 best players in the world at his absolute best. But I loved SGA's answer. The Oklahoman, I was reading an article about what he said about it, and he basically said it just comes with the territory. When you are playing at that level, it's going to come with a lot of scrutiny. And he doesn't pay attention to any of that. He's just focused on winning the championship. And I think that's the mature way to view things. You know, it's not, you're so wrapped up in this conversation. I think LeBron James has the ability to take a step back and look at all of it because of how long his career has been. He's not in the middle of it. You know, he wasn't making these comments when he was in Miami, still looking for his first championship. He wasn't making these comments. He was just dealing with it, being silent, putting his head down, and focus on the goal. But after accomplishing everything there's to accomplish in the NBA, he can sit back and be a voice of wisdom for the league. But I think that, you know, there is a lot of complaining. I think there's complaining everywhere, whether it's with sports talk, whether it's with politics talk. The echo chamber that you subscribe to, that's the type of content that you're going to get fed constantly. There is a real voice right now in media that they hate inside the NBA. They hate it. They think it's bad for the game. But all the guys that are playing and a lot of celebrities and people that love the game loved inside the NBA. That's what they gravitated towards when they used to watch the NBA. So I think people just love to complain about everything. And while there is negativity, you have to be honest with yourself and say, why does the negativity exist? It doesn't exist just because they're that good at it. It's because that's what people want to see. People, you know, you're talking about Cleveland and OKC being great. Whenever I look at a Cavaliers graphic that's posted on a major social media channel, it is always coupled by the top comment being, they not going to make it out the East though. Mm-hmm. That's people instantly gravitate towards that negativity. The Cavaliers have an historic season. Oh yeah, they ain't going to beat Boston though. That's immediately the first comment. SGA scores 50. The top comment. Oh yeah, but he can't do that without getting to the line though. You know,
he's got like 7 free throw attempts.
That's all the comments are about now. So I think these media networks are just feeding into what the echo chamber is and what the echo chamber is asking for. They are asking for this type of content. And as long as they see it is still profitable and it's still doing really well, they're going to bring Kai Cenat on instead of Tim Legler to break down the Cavaliers offense. They're going to have Kai Cenat on the show because that's what's going to drive more viewership and more engagement for them. So I think they're just all playing the game and how the game is right now.
You know what else I think? Also, like, we're up by 9, but Steph is 30. You know what else it is, too? Like, low-key? France, man. France really was a moment where you saw... Well, 2 years ago, we had the FIBA, and we let the young boys go out there and we didn't garner the same success that we had last time go around. And also, we just didn't get the same connection. You had LeBron out there. You had Steph out there. You had Kevin Durant out there closing it out. Like, even with LeBron and Steph, every time the Lakers and the Warriors play, it's probably the most viewed game of the year every time those two guys play. Steph Curry is a part of 10 of the 15 most viewed games in the NBA. You look at LeBron James. He's been a face for 20 years. Who's going to be that guy? And I think LeBron and Wemby are in the same of they're going to market them, they're going to market them, they're going to market them. Who's going to be the guy that cracks in to Wemby's case 9-10 years and completely comes in and he shakes the whole shit up like Steph does? Like, we don't really necessarily have that. I mean, we have SGA who kind of, like, if you were a fan of SGA, you didn't see this, but you saw it. You saw him coming. You're like, all right, this is a guy. He's broken out into the scene now, and he's a top 3-4 player on the planet in the span of 2 or 3 seasons. But like you mentioned, all people talk about is the foul baiting. All people talk about is the fact the way he plays. When if you love 2000s basketball, if you love 90s basketball, there's no way you can't love SGA. I mean, he embodies what that is, you know? Then we have Ant-Man. We have guys like John Moran, who previous years were so exciting, entertaining, off-court issues. Now you can't market them the same. I mean, they would have been perfect because they were in Memphis, which Memphis is a great city, but it's not, you know, a high market. They were in Minnesota. Minnesota's last star, respected Kevin Love, was Kevin Garnett.
Well,
that was their last star.
The face of the NBA is going to be Luka Doncic. I think him being with the Lakers,
for sure, they're gonna push it for sure.
Him being able to be the best player in the world, I think he will be the face of the NBA.
They're gonna push it
and
for sure.
I think the Mavericks trading him to the Lakers kind of gift wrapped the NBA the new face.
I think that European stuff does have. It does have. I don't want to say it has control, but it matters. Like, in terms of an American sport, you know, we've had a American face. We had Magic. We had Bird before. We had Kareem. We had Michael Jordan. We had LeBron. Now and it's not, I'm not to say it's right or wrong, but they've made the conversation of why is 4 of the 5 best players in the world not American?
But think
when
about
are we going
it.
to get that?
Every Lakers player ever that's been the franchise player for that team has been the face of the NBA. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Shaq, Kobe, then LeBron.
For sure.
And so I think they just have too big of a fan base to where it's just going to be overwhelmingly dominant.
Yeah,
you know?
I can see that. I don't even hate that. It's just like now, it's so tough because like we have so many guys. Like I don't know.
I feel like Riv, let me just say I understand where you're coming from. I think when you look at the NBA and how global it is, you look at the Olympics, and that's very evident. The rest of the world, these countries are coming in, and they are playing legitimate, great basketball. Fact. Now you look at Luka Doncic. Yes, he's on the team with the biggest market. The American superstar that is young is a guy that is hated on more than maybe any other player in the NBA, and that's Joel's guy, Jason Tatum. He's the lone American superstar. I guess you can throw in Anthony Edwards as well, but that is in the top 5 discussion.
It's one championship.
The only guy to win a championship, I guess, that is American and is young is Jason Tatum. You have Jokic. I think the issue with Jokic is he doesn't seem to the casual fan like he loves basketball. We know he loves basketball, but it doesn't seem to the casual fan that he loves basketball.
He's also not relatable.
Here's Giannis. Giannis hasn't been a playoff figure these last couple of years, so people are starting to forget who Giannis was. But you still see it translate in the All-Star votes for both Jokic and Giannis. But for the league and drawing attention for whatever reason, fans aren't gravitating towards that. You look at SGA. He gets shit on for whatever reason, even though his game is near flawless. Really does nothing wrong on a night-to-night basis. Everyone's going to hate inevitably. But Jason Tatum, who actually has one, who's reached the mountaintop, doesn't have the finals MVP. Oh, we're going to use that as ammunition as to why he's not as great as these other guys.
It's also Boston. They've always seemed like the enemy or the evil guys of the league since even Bird.
But I say all that to say, Luka Doncic, albeit he is not American, he is a global superstar,
and he's white passing.
And there's that's also true.
What?
No, he's right.
White passing.
Oh, I didn't hear.
No, that's a fact.
Like he's European, but you know you can also resonate him as a white guy.
Dude,
you know?
how many basketball?
I feel like you can do that with the Joker too, right?
No,
yeah, but I don't
true.
think the Joker is as marketable as Luka.
The way that you interact with fans is a strong part of you becoming a potential face in the league. Like the way that you saw with LeBron James and Steph Curry, they really take the moment and they not only enjoy it themselves, but really take it to the fans as well. They know how to get a quote out. LeBron James, one of the biggest things is that he's so outspoken. He really is confident in what he's saying. And for whatever reason, people don't love that. But being confident in what you're saying and being who you are, that's a big part of why people gravitate towards you and why you're so marketable. The way that Luka Doncic is going to continue to grow, that's something that we'll start to see now that he's in LA. But there's really no player right now that has a strong combination of on-court dominance plus off-the-court fan love outside of Giannis.
And the storyline with it with Luka, it's just very easy.
I think Giannis has a great combination of on-court dominance plus he is beloved by NBA fans.
You also need the shoe deal too. Like you need the brand behind you. Like,
I agree.
LeBron, Nike, Steph, the whole Under Armour brand. Like you need even Kevin Durant to a degree. He doesn't have the whole brand, but his shoes have set stone in the league. Like you need the brand behind you.
It's easy to relate to Luka just because team gave up on him. You feel sorry for him. Why they do him like that? You know, it's very easy to just root for that. You know, so I think that has really helped his case a lot. But overall, this is my final thoughts on this subject. The same energy has to be held for everybody, not just media figures that aren't former players. Because LeBron James, I feel like, you know, the person he's talking to about the most was Stephen A. Smith, you know, and what he's done with,
and Skip.
with the media. Yeah.
But he'll never really talk about it, but really Skip.
Yeah,
Like
of course.
he wasted 20 years not shooting.
Yes. But the thing is with the rise of these player podcasts, I mean, a lot of these player podcasts are doing the same. Yeah. Draymond Green is a peer of LeBron James. And
the shit about Cat's crazy.
Yeah, Draymond Green just said that Cat ducked playing the Warriors because of Jimmy Butler when somebody close to him just passed away of cancer. So where is that same energy? Where is that same energy with holding your peers responsible? You want to hold Stephen A. Smith responsible, but when Draymond Green is shitting on an All-Star weekend in front of the entire world, you don't say nothing about it.
No.
But you say it about Stephen A. Smith and about, you know, the Nick Wrights and all these dudes in the world and stuff. And, you know, I feel like there are times where the criticism for LeBron is warranted. I feel like it hasn't been warranted in a very, very long time.
Been such a long time.
Because of just what he's done. Like now, there's really nothing else to talk about when it comes to LeBron James. It was kind of like Mahomes before he got his ass kicked in the Super Bowl. Like whenever you had the conversation, like, oh yeah, it's just Mahomes, you know, it's just that. But now Mahomes has something to accomplish, so he has that next thing he has to climb. But with LeBron, the last thing that people criticized him for was making the move to Miami. That was the last time where the criticism was at its absolute peak. After that, the criticism was only about really, you know, stuff that he would maybe dive into politically or stuff. You know, but it wouldn't be anything about on the court, or at least it shouldn't.
When you stamped, you stamped. I mean, there's only like a few older guys that have something that people still gravitate towards, or people still say they have something to prove. But like for the most part, like those two guys right there, like they're stamped. There's nothing else to say. Like you mentioned, LeBron, 2016 cemented his shit for life. Mm-hmm. Steph, 2022 cemented his shit for life. There's nothing else to say. Like at this point, they're just racking shit up to make the resume look much better. Like so when you and that's the thing. Like they've been put together so much, and they've been connected for so long. They even talk about it. Like when they was on it was them, Kevin Durant and Steph. That they've been at each other's throats for so long. They finally get to sit down and look back at it, and it's like, we really had the league on our backs for like 10 plus years.
You know, I'm sorry, Joel, go ahead.
I just feel like you can never justify bad behavior with bad behavior.
Yep.
And a lot of young NBA fans now, they will say, oh, the old heads hated on the newer generation, so I'm going to dismiss the 90s. I'm going to do this. And, you know, it just helps nothing at the end of the day. You know, Michael Jordan in an interview, he said that he doesn't look at himself as the GOAT because that's disrespectful to everybody that came before him in the game and contributed. And he never played against them, so you will never know. It's the same shit with LeBron and MJ. You will really never know. So, you know, this generation will have LeBron. Another generation will have Michael Jordan. But it's just you can't point fingers and say, you know, they hit me first, but you're hitting back as well.
You know what kills me with that though? because Jordan definitely kept that same energy throughout the entirety of his career and even past his career.
He doesn't speak on it much.
What do people love about Muhammad Ali? Not just that he was an amazing boxer, not that he was obviously great as an activist during his time. No, that he was so confident in his ability, and he was very vocal about it. I'm the best. There's nobody on my level. And sure, that's boxing. It's a one-on-one type combat. But he was very, very confident and very vocal about how there was nobody on his level. That was a big reason why people love Muhammad Ali. Now, Neon Dion. What did people love about him? That he was very cocky, that he loved to talk about himself, that he was the best, that there was nobody that ever played the position the way that Deion Sanders did. And that's a big reason why, on top of the fact that, yeah, he's a dog. He's the best that we've ever seen, but he also talked the talk and walked the walk. Now, LeBron James does the same thing, and now it's, he's big-headed. He's so cocky. He's so disgustingly arrogant, so full of himself. What has he done in his life that hasn't allowed him to talk that way? He has every right. If there's anybody outside of Michael Jordan that has the right to say anything that he wants to say about what he's accomplished in his career, it is LeBron James. So that's the only part where I hear that, Joel, and you're so 100% right. It's fact. We'll never know because these guys will never go head to head. But there's been times in history, well before we were even a thought in our parents' minds, that these guys, these athletes were very full of themselves and fans absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it's funny because with basketball, it's a lot of, and JJ Redick has contributed to this as well because of like his comments on Bob Cousy and stuff. And,
That's true.
And he did that not because of a former player. He did that because of a radio host, Mad Dog Russo, because he was talking about Bob Cousy. So that didn't even come from like a former player. It came from a radio host, but neither here or there. I feel like in basketball, a lot of it is like, oh yeah, somebody like Bruce Bowen couldn't guard today's best players. Or like, they often pin great players or old time players back then against modern day players. I just feel like in other sports, it's not really done like that. Like, we're not like, no way Ed Reed could tackle Derrick Henry. No way. Oh, Troy Polamalu, he would get smoked today. Like, that just doesn't happen. It's kind of, they played, they're respected, you acknowledge their greatness, and, you kind of measure them off their resume, not off, like, what they'd be in today's era.
I remember talking to you about this a minute ago, maybe a year ago at this point, but the NBA is just so, like, individualized compared to NFL, which is so much more, like, team-centric, right? Like, how many fucking debates have we had about James Harden 2018 playoffs, and in the NFL, nobody's talking about, like, well, listen, Lamar Jackson, his playoff run in 2020, go look at what Phillip Rivers was doing in 20. Like, nobody's having those conversations. The NBA is just, it's unique, for better or for worse in that sense, that we pin these players against each other, and we look at very specific moments in very specific playoff series, where the NFL, it's more holistic, right? It's just like, what have you done in your career? And part of that is because in the NFL, we really just compare quarterbacks. Like, we don't really have debates about safeties or receivers or running backs, right? Like, maybe running backs, we've had debates before, but the NBA, since it's just, it's 5 players on a court and one person can really take over, like LeBron or Steph or KD, that it's easier to kind of pin it against each other. But I don't know, it's still whack to me.
I understand what you're saying. When it comes to football, though, I feel like it was defined by 2 players for almost 2 decades, with Peyton and Brady, and Brady, obviously, and that kind of goes, and those were the 2 main talking points. You go back to the 90s, you had Elway, you had Aikman, you go into the 80s, now we talk about Montana, then the 70s, now it's Terry Bradshaw's era. It's strictly talking quarterbacks, of course, but now I feel like, yeah, it's been Mahomes' era, but you're starting to see, when it comes to one-on-one conversations, oh, well, Lamar has 2 MVPs, but no playoff success. And I'm getting all these quarterbacks confused. Peyton had the same scrutiny back in the day too. But Joel, you're right. You really don't hear about that anymore. One, Peyton's so much more accomplished, but now there's new people to pick on, and Josh Allen now is starting to get that same kind of conversation. But for basketball, oh my God, that now it's been heightened to so many individual players. Like when Mike Conley signed his contract and he was the highest paid player in the NBA for that one season. It was like, but why? Jaylen Brown, when he signed his contract, obviously
I was there for that.
Yeah, I know. We know.
Hey,
most definitely know.
I'm done.
Any player in the NBA is due for scrutiny. The only ones in football that really get overly scrutinized are quarterbacks.
Yeah, and what you're talking about is it's not even just the media. It's just how the fans react to it. Like that's just what
it's not a group thing
echo
too.
chamber is.
It's a lot of groupthink. Like that's where, like I haven't said really anything about Tatum, but I feel like Tatum is smart. Like he obviously.
No, I'm saying you're not talking about Tatum.
And even Jeff Teague has mentioned like he cares so much about his brand. Like he cares about all the shoe deals, all of the endorsements he has.
He
obviously
wants to be
he's
the
got
face
2
of the NBA.
kids.
He fucking was begging for it.
He does
the other day.
but I think part of the
Wasn't he? I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying
you said it was kind of
Tatum in an interview.
No, yeah, he said with the Washington Post, he's like, yeah, if you stack my
He's right though.
up against everybody,
He's 100% right.
If that's Luka, you know,
Oh God.
he's the fucking face of the NBA, is he not?
But that's where groupthink comes in.
If he's a champion right now.
Yeah, sure, bro.
I mean, 5-time first-team All-NBA.
Everyone has kind of just accepted that, like, Tatum's corny. Tatum is never going to be that guy. Tatum is never going to be the best player in the league. That whenever he does something, you don't think about, can it be positive? No, it's just, he's corny. Like, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but SGA goes out
I
there.
knew you was coming with this.
SGA goes out there and he goes on his Instagram shit. He's been doing that for a minute. This is something new.
No, that last one was whack.
And he does X, Y, and Z. He has these bars, whatever. If Tatum did that, he gets scrutinized. SGA
that
does
last
it,
one was
and SGA's he's the cream of the crop right now. He's the new hotness. So it's just like, oh no, that's fire. That's SGA, the aura, the X, Y, and Z that he's got going on. But I think Tatum, when we talked about it before, he's a victim of his own success. That he's been an ECF since he was 19, and the fact that you go to 7 ECFs, you don't got a chip. Oh, you're whack.
I feel like Tatum got aura.
Listen, I don't know
in
what
his career.
I don't know what
was
it
the
is.
Kobe text.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was the turning point. Ever since that moment,
That's a fact.
the league turned their back on
He is
him.
right
Listen,
though.
I don't know-
If you put his resume on anybody
Yeah,
else,
you
they're the
could,
face.
but I
Come
don't know
on.
what it is about Tatum, no. But it's just, you know, you
hate
just
on
don't
light skins now?
gravitate towards him
Because
like that.
like
Is it a
Like-
light skin thing?
no,
I think Boston's part
it's
of
not.
it.
It's you know what it is. Like genuinely, like when you talk about SGA and you look at his game, what's fire about it?
Everything.
The handles, the mid range. When you look at the Joker, brother IQ is off the charts. LeBron, fast break, transition. With Tatum, he's a great player. It's not even disrespecting him or nothing like. But there's nothing that he does that's like you look at it and you grab you like, nah, this shit is crazy. This shit is fire.
He hasn't been seeing that.
Like it's really nothing that like
He's
with
just there.
Steph,
It's
with
all
Steph
around.
it's the 3-ball. Like
Yeah.
the shit is just it's ridiculous. Like even with Giannis dunking, like it's to get into the paint, grown man shit. Like even Zion,
like Luka, the passing.
Yeah, like and it's no shot at Tatum, but it's really like he doesn't
What's
have
that?
nothing that's elite. You know, he doesn't have an elite trait. So it's unfortunate. But Tatum gonna find his way. Like outside of like realistically though, in Boston, Larry Bird's been the face and that's it. And Bill Russell, of course, for the
Yeah.
Pioneer area. Like, but that's it. Paul Pierce wasn't the face. He wasn't as
But
great.
even still, I was watching Celtic City when it was Bob Cousy and Bill Russell. It was Bob Cousy's team. Even though Bill Russell, I mean, that part of that is the 60s, it's segregation, it's
Yeah,
the race thing
definitely
about
racist
it.
back
But
then.
it's, you know, even that point, it wasn't Bill.
What about KG?
KG wasn't the face. Like, he was great, but he wasn't the face.
Was Allen Iverson ever a face?
Yes. He was right up there with Shaq.
Okay.
Yes. I don't want to be disrespectful to Shaq, but you can argue he's more influential. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're more
Culturally,
if you're
yeah.
more influential, you're 100%
Yeah, I mean,
face.
his shoe line, the questions, the answers.
The braids, the do-rag,
Yep,
like
yep.
They were
even
insane.
the big baggy shorts, like
The
yeah,
encore
AI's up there
swag.
for face
But
of
you
the
know,
league.
I feel like the content though that people are looking for is out there. It's out there. Like thinking basketball is
There's
a
content on everything.
yeah.
Spreadsheets.
Thinking
Right here.
basketball. There's film analysis. You know, you look at somebody like who they just do like he just does a lot of film analysis. The content is out there.
You find what
It's
you're looking
out there.
for, bro. You
You know?
find what you're looking
So-
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like when it comes
I
to
was about to cut him off.
when it comes to the viewership, you know, people are choosing to watch this negative shit.
No, it's a fact because I'm not gonna call anybody out, but I knew somebody a few years ago during like the presidential election, right?
Type shit.
Where this person would just come to me and be like, "Have you seen all of this shit on the timeline? All the lies they're spreading?" I'm like, "No, like my For You page is sports and memes and fucking food and shit." If you don't like what your For You page is, that is a reflection of you. If your For You page is fucked right now, make 3 searches about fucking basketball, football, food, funny jokes, and refresh again and see where your For You page is. It's really not that difficult to find what you're looking for. If you're seeing negative shit, it's because you're actively trying to find it.
You know, it's funny you say that because there's this guy who, he's a Clippers fan, and his whole thing now
It's hating on that.
is hating on LeBron.
Yeah.
No, not just the new era, hating on LeBron. Every time he tweets about
what you're talking
LeBron, he gets hella hits.
Yeah, KD responded to him, I think, one time.
It's killing me beyond belief. I blocked him because every time he was on my page, it was just hating on LeBron. So what happens now that I blocked him? There's another guy that's just solely hating on LeBron that I see. Some Houston page. And it's like, yeah, it's my fault because I clicked on that guy's page. I read all his tweets. I got angry. I closed it. And I started scrolling on my For You. But you're 100% fact. It's if you go and you look it out, whether you like it or not, if you find it and you keep reading, you're going to get more of it because that's what the algorithm is.
This is something that's specific to just the NBA internet culture. But, you know, maybe I haven't seen it, but I've never seen a clip from these major shows have the Harden versus Dwayne Wade debate. I think this year, because Harden's an all-star and, you know, he be having great games sometimes that are also efficient.
Yeah,
He just had 50
You know,
the other day.
yeah, he did just have 50. People are like, at this age, Dwayne Wade was 35 and washed.
Harden has the longevity argument.
You know, so they're just, you know, and people by themselves are restarting the Harden versus Wade argument.
Warriors one.
Nobody in the major network shows are doing it. It's just fans themselves. That's just the echo chamber of the fans right now. So, you know, I just feel like it's just a lot of it is just what the fans are doing and the type of shit and that they gravitate towards.
That reminds me of when we link up with Jokic Joestar and he was like, no, I've been in the trenches when we were talking about Jokic versus Karl Anthony Towns. That's before I was a legitimate, I'm in deep with 30 teams NBA. I didn't know that Jokic was going to be what he ended up being, but hearing that he was in conversation with Karl Anthony Towns, he was in conversation with DeMarcus Cousins.
Jokic, Josar?
No, Nikola Jokic.
Oh.
That Jokic was
beefing with
in,
him?
fact, right? Like Jokic is beefing with Karl Anthony Towns.
That'd be funny. So.
Jack, excuse me. But no, the fact that was a conversation had between people that actually watched the Denver Nuggets and cared about the NBA. Because back in that day, I was really just watching First Take. I was really watching basketball casually because all I care about was LeBron. And First Take always gave me that. So that's conversations that probably should have been had. It's like, no, we have this young up-and-coming star, Karl Anthony Towns, the number 1 overall pick. But we see Jokic in the background sneakily being one of the quietest, most efficient players in the league. Why aren't we talking about him? Alperen Şengün was just an all-star. The Rockets barely get any conversation about that. Well, we talk about Alperen Şengün, but why aren't you guys giving him the recognition that he does or maybe doesn't deserve? That could be a conversation.
The media could do a better job at highlighting things that are going on. But then again, it's not their responsibility. You know, they are just they're there to provide entertainment. Like that's what it is, and that's what ESPN has turned into as a whole.
I wish I could have gave D-Wade my knees, man. Like his career was just cut short, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Most boring NFL team. Who would you say it is? Tennessee?
Yeah, I remember I talked about the Saints last year. It was like we should never talk
Or
about
like the
them.
Jaguars? Like we could throw the Jaguars in there? Here's the thing.
Browns.
Okay, fine. I think the Browns have history. That's the only reason I didn't say the Browns.
Oh,
I think the Browns have
Which
legitimate
Cardinals last
history.
year.
Okay.
Like the history of the
Perfect.
Cardinals.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cardinals. The thing is, they're going to get TV time. We're going to talk about Kyler Murray. Not just we. They'll talk about Kyler Murray. Look at the Pat McAfee show. He's from Indianapolis. Yes, that's his main thing. They'll talk about Indianapolis. People will watch. They'll care. They'll talk about Jacksonville. Liam Cohen saying Duval ended up being a conversation on every platform. Football just understands and has a great spot with television of talking about everything. The NBA can talk about everything. Media and NBA, they can talk about everything.
better,
You're
too.
correct. You're correct. Like they could talk about these things. The LeBron point that I feel like him talking about the negativity of it and people constantly getting scrutinized or compared to one another. Isn't that just sports culture?
It is.
Like that's just sports culture. Like you go into a barbershop or when you're in high school or you're in middle school and you're at the lunch table, you're fucking debating the most obscure bullshit. You know, when I'm watching a game, you know, sometimes I debate with people about some fucking random 2010 players, you know? Like that's just what sports culture is. So I kind of feel like, you know, at the top when it's just, you know, oh, stop the comparison, stop this, stop that. You know, it's just, that's just what it's always been. This is not new.
No.
It's just something that's happening every day because, you know, back then, now we're like really in the deep end of the social media age where every day is something new. Every
Mm-hmm.
day there's a new conversation. There's something new that's happening. There's a new trend. So it feels like it's coming at us much faster than before, but it's always been there.
Yeah, it's hard to, like, it is hard to not scrutinize a player for better. Like, if someone's fucking shit, like, how are we gonna come up here and be like, he's a good, you know what I mean? Like, at some, I think there is a balance, right? Like, you don't have to come up here and be just completely disrespectful, and there's definitely a balance to it. But I think NBA players know that too, that you don't have to go up there and. I think the issue becomes when your personality becomes it. Yeah. Like you mentioned the dude who just hates LeBron. When your personality or your page is just about hating on one specific player, I think that's when people get pissed off. Because if you're, for the most part, going left or right, but you're going down the middle lane, you're going to have times where you're going to either have to praise a player or scrutinize a player, but it just can't become who you are as a personality or as a media member.
Now, the Lakers are on a massive win streak right now. 7 games, but it could be 8 tonight. They play the Knicks.
No faith in
We're
your
up
guys.
3. We're in LA.
Well, they're up 3. The game just started?
Yeah.
I mean, it could.
They're up 3.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
you
who
rooting for?
knows? Who knows? Obviously, the Knicks.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about Cats playing too. So maybe we could win this game. So I'm just saying, but at the time of this recording, the Lakers are on a 7-game win streak.
So that Steph game.
What did
against
just your?
Knicks.
No, I
It's
did.
funny
I
we have
did.
this whole debate. And it's like,
No,
all
I
right, first
did.
topic, Lakers.
Yeah. No, I understand, but
I know.
What
But
were
it's important.
what are your major thoughts on the Lakers, because they're on a 7-game win streak and they've beaten the Blazers, Nuggets, Mavericks, Wolves, Clippers twice, and the Pelicans. I think that it's a mixture of some good wins in there.
Yeah, I feel like my opinions are the same as it was last time. Good team, definitely striding in the right direction. Starting to figure out their defense. I saw this
Talk
video.
about Vando.
Huh?
Talk about Vando.
Okay.
Luka's back too.
No. Vando's great defensively.
What about offense?
Offense, he's been solid.
It's better than the dog shit you were saying he was.
Well, I don't think he's gonna play more than 20 minutes.
So
in
the
the
video
playoffs.
you saw, is it
I
about
don't know.
the
He's
defense?
been playing great.
Listen, in the video I saw, the defense, when they're just allowing whoever's the worst shooter on the court to just be wide open.
Is that Hoop Venue or KB?
I forgot. It might have been KB. Shout out to Kenny. It might have been Kenny because it was a flyby video and I stopped and I was like, oh shit. And it makes sense. Like whoever can't shoot on the court, you don't have you just fuck it. Like let him beat you. Like if that's the case, let him beat you. And they've been winning off that. Have some good wins like you mentioned. Luka's getting back, so that's good. I feel the same way about the Lakers. I still think they're one of the 3 best teams in the West. I still think they have a very comfortable chance to go to WCF, potential chance to go to the finals. I think LeBron is playing at a high level, and that's what you love. Luka's starting to get at that same level. So you have those 2 guys playing at a high level. That's really good. You have DFS. You have Austin Reeves. Vando, which he seems to think Vando's going to play a shit ton in the playoffs.
Right now,
so
gun to your head,
see.
Lakers or Nuggets?
Gun to my head?
Yeah.
Gun to my head is always a tough question.
I would take the Lakers. I would take the Lakers pretty comfortably right now, too.
Dude, the trio of Vando, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Gabe Vincent is unbelievable so far.
Gun to my head is tough because we have the last matchup in the brain. So and Denver just lost the other day.
Denver has not been looking good, man.
Well, Denver's describing what is going to be done to them.
Yeah,
They're just going to leave the shooters open.
Because you know what's the sad part about a situation like that? Like if we was to say hypothetically, right? It's Denver and the Lakers, right? And we flip-flop and Denver was on a 7-game win streak and the Lakers were struggling. You're like, gun to my head, Denver, the Lakers. I'd be like, oh, probably Denver.
I feel like you're not trying to say it's the Lakers.
No, I was about to say it's the
Okay.
Lakers. Like now, Lakers 7-game win streak, Denver struggling. So gun to my head, I'm gonna say the Lakers right now. It's like whoever's hot at the moment.
I think it's just tough because Denver, they went on that win streak, right? They won like 9 in a row right before
It was
around the
against
All-Star break.
it was
And it's
against
against bad teams. And then they played some good teams. Like they played the Lakers, they got smoked. They
Milwaukee.
played Boston, they lost. They played Milwaukee, they lost. So if you're going to go on a 9-game win streak, good for you.
Yep,
You
gotta
know,
win
play
one
who's
of
in
those.
front of you. But when you play good teams, you need to win at least one of these, right? Like the Lakers too, especially at that time, they were coming off the loss of the Hornets. Like that Lakers team, I know it was fucking like 5 games ago, but that Lakers team, I don't think we had the same idea as we do today, even though it was only a few weeks ago. But to me, the Lakers are the 2nd best team in the West. I said it on the show we had, I think, was it the virtual one, that they're the top of tier 2 to me. I think those 3 teams that we talked about all year long, OKC, Cleveland, and Boston, are like tier 1 in terms of who should win the championship, who is my favorite to win the championship.
We walking into tier 1?
But you're closer to me, they're closer to tier 1 than they are to whoever is next in tier 2. The only thing that's really stopping me and really giving me pause is we really haven't seen a lot of teams throughout NBA history win a championship with like Jackson Hayes is really your only rim protector, and you really got nothing behind it. Like you've had years where, like Draymond Green, right? You've had like Kevon Looney, I want to say backpack you, but not the biggest
best defender in the world.
Centers, exactly. But Draymond's just such a different beast that he's almost an outlier. That's really the only thing giving me pause. Is their defense, is their rim protection going to come back to haunt them in the playoffs? Because
that great.
Their offense is elite, and you've been carried by your defense too, which is the scary part. That like their offense isn't even really clicking right now. Like LeBron's had great games, Luka's had great games individually, but offensive rating, defensive rating wise, it's been their defense that's really, really coming on. And Riv mentioned it, right? It's not this crazy new concept. They're leaving shooters open. They're helping, especially when you're attacking some of their weaker defenders. But I mean, Luka's coming back into form. I think everyone's expecting that. He's been having 30 and 15 games. He's looking great. I feel like Luka's the best first quarter player in the NBA. I feel like every damn game, end of the first quarter, he's got like 17 and 6. But no, the Lakers are dangerous, man. The Lakers really are dangerous. My only concern is that rim protection. Are we going to see a team where it's Jackson Hayes and no other center bring you to the finals, potentially win your finals matchup?
Who is your playoff rotation? Because I just looked at Vando's minutes, and he has went 14, 13, 14, 20, 20.
Well, it'll be Luka, Reeves.
That's okay. Hey, he's
LeBron,
locked on Lakers too.
Jackson Hayes, DFS, Rui, Gabe Vincent, Vando.
What was that, 8?
I think that's a solid 8.
It's not terrible 8.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you too. It's been great to see the guys at the end of the bench also contribute. Like
Next has some good games. I don't know if he's gonna get playoff minutes, but he's had some good games.
Like I said, Shake Milton is a great veteran. He comes in, he's able to do a job.
How old is he?
I don't know if he's that old, but he's been in the league for some time.
He's just a spark plug.
Jordan Goodwin too. Defensively, what he's been able to do for us too in his spot minutes as well, he's been impactful.
That's another guy in a rotation.
It's just
he's not going to play in the playoffs.
JJ Redick said he's going to be in a rotation. Though.
I don't think he's going to play in the playoffs.
His defense has been amazing. Yeah. But that's why
should have been with the Suns.
It's literally been every player on the team that has contributed at some point on the defensive side of the ball.
They did.
And I do think in due part it's the big reason is the scheme that JJ has put in place. And so I think that when you look at the Lakers, you understand that you have Luka, you have LeBron. The offense is going to be okay, but if our defense is going to be this great, the combination of wing defenders and guys that we just have on the perimeter too, whether it's going to be some variation of Luka, LeBron, Reeves, that obviously they're going to be on the court, but what DFS provides, what Gabe Vincent has given us, the way that Vando can get out in transition as well after getting a steal. Jackson Hayes has been incredible, so damn great as a defender, and then obviously what he's been able to do as a lob threat with Luka Doncic. We knew that would be the case, and I say it. I don't even like to think about what it would have been with Mark Williams. I try to think like that didn't even happen in this season, but the Lakers are scary. We're really great in the year 2025. We're 21-7, with 12 of those wins being against teams over 500. This defense over the last 15 games has been the best defense in basketball, and this has been with one legitimate center. You have any type of combination of whether it's Vando playing the 5, LeBron playing the 5, Jackson Hayes playing the 5, and how great we've been able to shoot the basketball when it comes to guys that you couldn't really rely on last season, like Vando, like Gabe Vincent. Obviously, Dorian Finney-Smith was a great pickup, but you saw in these last couple of games, no Reeves, no Rui, and we don't miss a beat defensively.
Facts.
That's what's making me very optimistic about this Los Angeles Lakers team come playoff time. And when it comes to picking against a team in the playoffs, I'm always going to take LeBron and Luka. That's just how I'm going to move, especially when this defense has been best in the league good.
Jackson Hayes has been maybe the most impressive to me. Like, obviously, Luka and LeBron, Reeves are going to do what they got to do, but Jackson Hayes, for his role, is arguably like the most important role player on this team. And the fact that he's giving you, those 25 minutes a night where he is, I mean, obviously offensively he's limited, but he's catching all those lobs. He's going 7 for 7. He's doing what he's got to do offensively. But defensively, before this Luka trade, I thought he was like an average-ish, I would maybe say below average, like rotational big. But since this move, man, he's been super impressive. Like, it's not just like, you look at the stat line, it's like, oh yeah, he's 7 for 7, 14 points. Like, it's not even that, but the little things he's doing, the screens he's setting, the way he's able to protect the rim, he's been super impressive to me.
I think that the center rotation was going to hold them back, but I think JJ Redick has already shown that with multiple different personnel, he just finds a way to maximize it. I think even before the Luka Doncic trade, when we saw the Lakers beat the Knicks and how great they were defensively in that game, that was with no Anthony Davis. And they still played really elite defensively. On this 7-game win streak, only one team has scored more than 102 points. That was the Pelicans. Yeah. You know, so the Lakers have been great defensively, and I think they've done a lot of great things well. It's switching, the peel switching that they do. It's forcing offensive players into the baseline away from the middle, so they're forcing them into help and trapping them in the baseline. And it's totally abandoning the bad shooters that other teams might have. With the Nuggets, it was Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook and Christian Brown against the Clippers.
Gordon shot well against us.
Yeah, he did. Against the Clippers, it was Chris Dunn. Yep. So they're just abandoning these non-shooting threats, and they're just basically playing off percentages. You know, even if they're shooting well, not overreacting to it and just sticking to the game plan, and they're congesting the court. You know, it made it really tough for James Harden to find a groove offensively, and those drives to the basket get cut off. And I think right now the Lakers have to worry about a couple teams they got to meet in the playoffs at the top. I think the two biggest ones that you're kind of looking at is Denver and OKC. I have a lot of confidence that they could beat Denver just because of the lack of help that Jokic has had around him. And when you swarm him the way that the Lakers swarmed him defensively, it is just very tough for me to envision them having a functional offense for 4 wins and then them not getting torched on the other end, because I think that is going to happen because they have 3 creators with LeBron, Reeves, and Luka. But the OKC matchup, that's interesting to me.
It's tough.
And I think,
they got somebody for everybody outside of LeBron.
J-Do's been hooping too, man. He's been cooking recently.
That is the interesting one for me because OKC has 2 great centers. They have spacing. And, you know, we know for sure that Lou Dort will get left wide open. You know, that's going to be definitely in the game plan.
Or Caruso.
He's been shooting, or Caruso. And he's been shooting well this season. Last year, he shot well and in the playoffs as well. But I think JJ will probably live with that shot. And we saw SGA in a playoff environment, albeit he dominated, but the players around him didn't step up. So I think the worry with OKC is it going to be another year where the players around SGA don't step up? Because those drives to the basket in the playoffs last year, SGA wasn't an elite level finisher. He missed a lot of easy ones at the rim, and they congested the court against him. He still was able to average 32, 8, and 7, 50% from the field and 55% from 3 against the Dallas Mavericks. So he dominated, but everybody else just didn't shoot well. So I think, you know, that's the pathway for the Lakers, maybe beating a team like OKC. But to this point, I think JJ Redick has proven himself to be one of the better coaches in the NBA. And you have Luka Doncic still getting integrated. Each game he's playing better and better and better. And he's had some elite level games.
Dude, that game versus the Pelicans fucking geeked me
30 and 15. He's had some elite level games, but I really don't even think we have seen Luka's best output yet.
Dude, the Pelicans was pretty close. The Pelicans was pretty close. He was doing some bullshit and it was going in.
Yeah, that OKC matchup.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. I seen Luka against the Knicks 60, 20, and 10.
Yeah, no, we're going to get an all-timer soon. But the game versus the Clippers down the stretch was really strong. The game versus the Pelicans, dude, he just was throwing it. He just literally eyes closed. I think it would have went in. That's how hot he was.
I think Luka still has a couple gears to get to. He's not at his final gear just yet. Not.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's going to be scary. And if when LeBron's playing like this, like, you know, LeBron is playing like on any given night, he could be the best player on the court.
That's the thing. Like, I think we're gearing up for OKC Lakers WCF, which would be dope as shit.
Basketball prime.
You're looking at OKC, like, they got a defender for everything. They have 2 bigs that is like them or Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes is going to have a tough time in that series.
Let me ask, do we force them to not play a 2-big lineup?
Check and shoot the 3-ball.
I understand
and
that.
If you have Dorian Finney-Smith or Vando out there, Check can play out there. Or Rui.
Okay, the thing is, Vando's still a good slasher.
That's fine. You put Hartenstein on him. He's going to leave him wide open. Or Chet.
No, obviously, you live with that.
Yeah, Vando.
But
Vando
then what if
Hayes,
Rui's on the court?
Well, then you put Chet on him.
I think that's still a matchup that we like. Not over, but if you bring Chet out the paint, that's a win.
For sure, but then you have Hartenstein. Yeah. You said the 2 big lineup.
That's what I agree with that.
Yeah, then you have Hartenstein. Who's Hartenstein?
But then offensively, if the paint's gonna get crowded.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
For sure.
I think the Lakers, the thing that they probably will struggle with the most is just dribble penetration. I think that
They
do a great job at playing zone and just keeping everything in front of them and just forcing the ball handlers into help. But OKC has multiple dudes who can beat you off the dribble.
You got Case and Wallace. You got Caruso as guard defenders for Reeves.
We got some guys that can win off the dribble too.
Lou Dort's for Luka.
Yeah.
And then LeBron's going to be LeBron. But you're OKC. You're walking in. You have the best player on the floor in that series.
Do you though? Like 100%?
Well, if he's going to win the MVP, which I think he is for sure, you have the best player on the floor walking into that series.
Just because you win MVP doesn't
Lakers got 2 of the 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts. But
and like he just said, any given night.
I get it. SGA has been the best player this year.
No, I understand.
I think he has been, but I also think that LeBron or Luka, in a playoff
series,
series,
in a playoff series,
they
that's
could
what he's
be the
saying.
best.
I don't understand what
Yeah.
the point of saying that for.
What do you mean? But now you're confusing me.
Well, I said walking in, which is common sense. SJ will be the best player in the series.
See, but that's not like a foregone conclusion.
Well, obviously,
it
because you have to
cancels
see
out.
them after they walk on the court.
I think
but
it
So
cancels
like
out,
Derrick
though.
Rose winning MVP in 2011, walking to a series versus the Miami Heat.
It's not black and white. They're not going up against like Memphis where it's like SJ. It's easy. You
Yeah.
got the best player.
Okay, I mean, like I said,
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, not
sure.
for sure.
If you think and can Luka outplay him? Yeah. Can LeBron outplay him? Yeah. But OKC walking in is going to say we have the best player on the floor.
Well, if you want to say they're going to say the
I'm
Lakers
gonna say,
are also going
Lakers
to
are
say
coming in now.
have
We
the best
got
player.
the 2 best players of the series
for sure. I mean,
we could yap.
SGA outplayed Luka last year. It's a fact.
I'm not.
And he's been better this year.
Laker
by far.
fans are delirious with that shit. Though.
Yeah, so
they will tell you flat faced, "Oh my God, his impact was much bigger than just scoring."
SGA outplayed. SGA right this is just competing with LeBron.
Flawless in that series.
Yeah, I seen tweets recently of there was this, I think this Luka Doncic just Twitter community, and he was like, "Yo, am I just tripping or the Lakers just defend better when Luka's on the floor?" And the numbers do back it up.
Luka's been okay defensively.
Now, the numbers do back it up though, but but before he even played a game with the Lakers, I made the tweet and I put like a defensive compilation of his and said that when he gets to the Lakers, the narrative on his defense is going to change, and it's partially because I think it's true that he gets knocked a lot. It's also because Lakers fans are very passionate, so they're gonna definitely defend even maybe the weak chinks.
As a fan, you're never out.
Huh?
It's reality now.
We're lit.
Yeah, as a fan,
Because it was delusion to be like Lakers gonna win a chip. Now
as
it's
a
like,
fan,
it's not as
a
delusional
fan,
as
you're
it was.
never out of delusion. There's always some part. That's
Here's
still
the
a
thing.
delusion.
It is so easy to sound delusional with this Lakers team. The issue is it's not delusion. It would have been delusion when we got Luka to say our defense is going to be the best in the league. That's delusion. But here we are, a lot of games removed from that, and we actually are the best defense in the league. So now moving forward, it is not delusional to say, while the Lakers now have the best defense in the league, our offense is still catching up. I trust that inevitably we're going to figure it out offensively. Yep. Our defense is going to translate, and we're going to be one of the scariest teams come playoff time. That's not delusion anymore.
And it's been 2 months, 2+ months of the Lakers defense just being elite. So like Luka being propped in, like nobody ever expects like, oh yeah, Luka he's going to make the defense better, but it just shows that the system that they're running clearly works.
It's not like our offense is dog shit either. It's in the last 15 games, we're still a top 10 offense. It's just this defense has been what is everyone's talking about because we weren't supposed to be this.
With Luka playing, they're 11th in offensive rating in the games that he plays. Like I said, there's another gear to kick into that. Like they can be top 3.
Top 3 what?
Offense.
Who's the top 3 offenses right now?
It's
Boston,
OKC,
OKC, Cleveland?
I don't think OKC is top 3. The Knicks.
Yeah, I think it's Knicks.
The Knicks?
Knicks might have fallen off to
Boston
4 if I'm not mistaken.
Did
you say Memphis?
No. Oh, they're like top 5.
They're sneaky though.
I'm not going to use those rankings as a way to measure whose offense is better because I think the Lakers' offense.
You just said 11th ranked offense when Luka's on the floor.
Offensive rating.
So how are you not going to use
No,
the
but then
ranking
he's saying who he thinks he could be.
Like I think the Lakers' offense, if I'm just looking at the players, is better than the Knicks' offense.
So wait.
Like I think at their best they would be better than the Knicks'
personnel.
offense. Yes.
So like fuck the numbers. You just like
Nuggets.
stamp it. Look at
I don't know how we didn't say them. Nuggets are 3.
Yeah, I trust the Lakers' offense more than the Nuggets right now.
Once you get into a playoff setting, it's a lot easier to. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, Memphis.
100%.
I trust the Lakers' offense more than Memphis's offense.
Playoff time, 100%. Half
like how many offenses do we trust more than the Lakers' offense? I think it's probably just Boston.
Probably Boston.
What about the Cavs?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I think the
Cleveland
Cavs
too.
have
Boston,
also.
Cleveland.
Yeah,
The Cavs have the
too.
number 1 half court offense in like the last 15 games.
Yeah,
and number one half court
the
defense.
Cavs. But are you trusting OKC's offense over the Lakers? Like just personnel wise.
After last year's playoffs, I can't wholeheartedly say I'm in.
I'm not.
Because I believe that J-Dub was going to be super impactful.
On a different
Chet
year.
also, Chet wasn't incredible. Like,
It's not SJ. It's the dudes around him that got to step up.
here's the thing.
He's been like 40,
We all know.
30, 45.
SG's going to go into that series. He's going to kill.
J-Dub's been playing well lately, so that's the hope.
He has.
I
J-Dub's
definitely
been
trust
really great.
the Lakers offense more, though.
All right, whose offense do you trust more? The Cleveland Cavaliers or the Lakers?
Cleveland.
The Boston Celtics or the Lakers?
Boston.
The Nuggets or the Lakers?
Lakers.
I'm not gonna lie. The only offense I trust more is Boston's. I trust the Lakers offense more than Cleveland's.
You gotta
We just talked
Cleveland.
about respecting, by the way.
It's just Luka and LeBron and then Reeves.
I get it.
It's Don. It's Garland, who's been locked.
Yeah,
Mobley.
yeah.
DeAndre
Luka and
Hunter's been
LeBron
hooping.
clear those two
But
players.
They're the number
DeAndre
one
Ayton,
half-court
or
offense
DeAndre
in the
DeAndre
last
Hunter,
15
who's been a
games.
savage
They're
off the bench.
number one half-court offense in the last 15
Because I can count.
games.
We count Reeves, but I'm counting Rui.
How much better is DeAndre Hunter as an offensive player than Rui?
A good amount. What the fuck?
A good amount. How much is a good amount?
He's about to win Sixth Man of the Year.
Pritchard's
Payne
favorite.
Pritchard's gonna win that.
Pritchard's the favorite.
God,
He's
this man
minus
is a
200.
walking 20
Well,
off the bench.
Rui starts.
He starts some games.
Only
Not,
'cause
not
they're
for
hurt.
not for the Cat. Or had to start games for the
Only
Cavs.
because they're hurt.
Rui's 50-40.
Say for
I
the-
think DeAndre Hunter might be
Hawks.
close. Yo, honestly, bro, I don't want to debate about dumb shit. So, like, that's what you think. That's what you
I don't think it's dumb.
think. Okay.
The Lakers are up there with the best teams, though.
Even still, they're in the same tier.
Luka's a better offensive player than Donovan Mitchell. LeBron's a better offensive player than Darius Garland.
by a lot.
Reeves is
I
a
don't
better
think
offensive
it's
player
not
than
that
who?
easy.
We
But
do
I
have
don't
the
think
two
it's-
best
it's not
offensive
that
I
players
think
in
it
that
is that
series.
easy.
It's literally not that
It's
easy.
not because their system,
They're the number one
Yeah, they're-
half-court offense
correct.
in the
Their-
league.
their
Like, what-
offense is
like,
When
amazing.
have you ever told me that Mitchell is a better offensive player than Luka can compare
I'm
them
not
offensively?
saying that. That's
Bro,
not.
why are you
it's
making
their
shit up?
total offense.
he just
made
made that
it
up.
shit up.
Nobody said that.
And one of the main reasons why I don't have Donovan in my first team All NBA is because I look at the Cavs and they're a complete team effort, both
This
on
is
the
silly,
offensive
bro.
and defensive side. They're just so amazing shooting the
Can I ask
three
you a
ball.
question? Who's a better? No, all jokes. Who's a better offensive player, Luka or Jason Tatum?
Luka,
Who's a better offensive player, LeBron or Jason Tatum?
LeBron.
So why are you picking Boston over the Lakers?
That's a good point.
That's the same thing.
It's team.
It's the same thing.
It is.
They have more spacing.
The Cleveland Cavaliers have more spacing.
They're the best 3-point
What do
shooting
you
team
like?
in the
You
league,
just
aren't
like
they?
what? Like you see how we have to like what?
Boston go 5 out?
What do you mean?
That just
Yeah, they could go 5 out.
Cleveland can go 4 out. Like what are you talking about?
It depends on who's on the court.
you
But
go
Jared
5?
Allen at the 5, no.
No, probably with Evan,
can't.
but you don't want him shooting three.
He's not that he's gonna get like 10 minutes, but there's gonna be some games where he's not playing his 35 minutes.
It's the last couple games he's been on the bench in the fourth.
I'm just saying in a playoff
I would
series,
say first the Lakers, Jared
you
Allen's
said.
getting
in a
played off the
playoff
court.
series, I think Luka, LeBron. I don't know. I just think that gives me a better offensive output than Donovan Mitchell and Garland.
Okay.
And then Garland too. He's been great. He's obviously awesome. He's been super clutch. It's one of those in the playoffs. Be great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with Boston,
I
it's
believe in it
just
though. You guys as a total team offense has been incredible. The best in the league.
with Boston. They have what 4 dribble drive guys with Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White,
How many did they have? 3,
and Derek
4?
White.
They have 4?
I would say 2 legitimately.
I'm counting
Deion-
Mobley.
Mobley
Mobley.
is a legitimate dribble drive
No,
guy?
he's not. But Derek White is.
Okay, you said 4.
Derek
That's
White
right.
is.
He said 4.
He said legitimate dribble drive guy.
All right,
If we're counting that, I'm counting Ty Jerome. I swear to God I am.
agreed.
I swear to God
Because
I am.
I'm counting DeAndre Hunter. I'm counting Evan Mobley.
Like you're
I'm
trying
counting
so
Garland and
hard to
Mitchell.
knock Cleveland. It's like not
It's
working.
impossible
It's
to
like
knock
literally
them
not
too.
I'm
working
not
right
knocking
now.
them.
No, you're,
I'm
you're
just
trying
saying-
hard
I
to
think-
nitpick
No,
at
he's
Cleveland,
nitpicking them.
and it's
He's you're
not
nitpicking
working.
them, and
If
that's
we're
fine.
talking about the Lakers versus the Cavs,
Yeah.
I think LeBron and Luka just
I agree.
it's just better offensive
deeper
output than those two.
It's deeper than 2 guys. I swear to God it is.
It is.
They're the number 1 half-court offense in the last 15 games. They've been the number 1 offense damn near all year.
No, all year.
They've been the best 3-point shooting team. They have everything that you want in a perfect offense.
Against the Celtics, whose offense do you trust to be better offensively in that series? The Lakers or the Cavaliers? Let me ask you, the Celtics fan, whose offense are you?
Hold on, I'm interested to hear this.
Whose offense are you more scared of as a Celtics fan? The Lakers offense or the Cavs offense?
That's a good question, man. I don't think it's easy. I think they're in the same tier.
What is this a problem? Whoever plays Boston gets to figure out who's like.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
basically who you gotta
favorite.
play.
The Lakers have to play way more than before they play Boston.
He's right.
How did you just
Our
go
road's
push?
way tougher.
How did you just push? them all the way to
but that's not what
Boston?
he's saying. All he's saying was, as a Boston guy, as the fan of Boston, for us,
Yeah.
we have to go against Denver, maybe OKC. What do you mean?
I'm just thinking Boston by himself just might be tougher than anything y'all.
Oh my God! Get
Respect
it
OKC.
out.
And
No, that's
they play
true,
OKC in Denver.
Oh my God!
He's not wrong.
No, we have multiple steps
What do
to
you have?
get
3
to the
right now?
final.
2, right?
Who?
2.
What do you mean? I don't know what
Second
you're
seed.
asking. We're the second seed.
So they probably 1-8-4. They would play
Okay,
Denver in the second round.
This is a better
OKC
question. This is a better
WCF.
question. This is a better question. I mean, it's actually the same question, but I just gotta use this team because you don't like that. I'm just using Boston. If you're OKC, based on their defensive personnel, who's easier to
The
guard?
Cavs beat the shit out of them.
They also beat.
So yeah,
the
so
Cavs.
we can have a legit
I'm just
conversation
saying,
about that.
Based on OKC's defensive personnel, who's easier to guard, Cleveland or the Lakers?
They can guard both. Actually, they
That's
can
not
guard
the question.
both.
I'm not. I think they can guard both, but it's
They
not.
can guard both. They've already locked up one of them. And then they don't have to worry about Mobley and Jared Allen. They have to worry about Jackson fucking Hayes.
No, you have to worry about Luka and LeBron.
It's
They
LeBron
already, like
and
I said,
Rui and
they
Reeves.
already
Reeves.
locked up one of them out of
like
those
the
three.
fact he said Jackson Hayes is embarrassing.
No, because no.
what the fuck?
They already locked up one of those guys you named. They can lock up another one, and
That's
I'm not
fine.
talking about one of them up there.
That's
You
fine.
locked up Luka?
I mean, Dor has that.
Is that what you're asking?
I'm not asking. What I'm saying is, here we go.
Okay.
OKC versus the Cavs. OKC versus the Lakers.
I'm here.
OKC already locked up one of the guys on the Lakers.
Okay.
They probably don't have an answer for that guy on the picture.
correct.
They can lock up the other guy that you named. And they don't have to worry about a front court of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen.
You sent me the screenshot of it yesterday.
Screenshot of what?
Did Lou Dort really lock Luka?
Did you see the true shooting?
He's averaging like
60% true shooting,
No,
damn
no,
near.
it was 57. It was on 23 points a game.
But that's when he's assigned to him.
Yeah, that's literally a droppage from his average.
So you're
of
telling
30.
me is Lou Dort playing against Luka the entirety of the game?
Now Luka's gonna get the better of him next time they play.
No, the entirety of the game. So every minute that Luka's in the game,
Not
it's
all the time.
That's
No,
what
no.
I'm asking.
A majority.
But
of the
I
possessions.
can we just answer the question? Can we answer?
I think it's a legit conversation.
22
Okay.
on 57%.
I'm glad you
bad.
think that.
Luka.
What is your
Dehls.
answer?
Hold on, Joel, because I just find it funny how.
If Luka
What's your answer?
No.
No, but that's
Hold
just
on.
on
I'm
one
gonna answer.
player.
I'm gonna answer you. I'm gonna
That's
answer.
what I'm
you.
asking.
I'm gonna answer you for sure. I just find it funny how last year
'Cause I read that and I was
we
like,
were
that's good.
talking about Lou Dort's locking Luka. 3 of us was, and now all of a sudden Luka's on the Lakers, and it's did he really lock him? Was he really guard him?
Is it locking
I just
or
find
it
it.
was
I just find it how
hindering?
the energy has shifted.
Well, you're not gonna lock Luka, but
No.
you're gonna make
But
it
to
difficult.
answer your
You can make it
question,
difficult.
He
Joel.
played good defense against
The
them.
only
but
he did, but again, when he was matched up on Luka, when he was matched up, Luka still had 22 points
yeah,
when he was
Luka was
matched up
also
with
just
him.
fouling him all the time.
22 points is an insane drop.
He was
from
hacking
30.
him.
But Riv, I think
Yo, I don't even. I'm not mad at you for saying that. They let OKC do a lot.
They do.
They
Riv,
let OKC
but you're
do a lot.
really you're thinking of it pretty just direct. But when he was the only one, when he was matched up with him, he gave him 22 points. That's not to
But-
speak about other people that are guarding
So
him.
I want to get back to the
don't know what you're
question.
saying.
Still averaging 27
if
points in
I-
that series.
I don't know what you're
Okay.
saying.
I mean, because are you not comprehending it? Is that your fault?
No, I'm literally. I don't know what you're saying.
Because you
What's the-
can't
what's the
understand the
question?
facts, the stats that you gave.
What's the
I
question?
just want to
That
ask this. I just
sucks.
want to propose this question because if you are OKC,
That sucks,
No, like that. No, that's like I don't understand what you're saying.
Rip. So Lou Dort,
Yeah, like-
Luka was averaging.
That's who's gonna guard him.
he was
Yes.
averaging 22 a game.
Yes.
But what Drew is saying is that Lou Dort, if Luka's playing 40 minutes in that series, is Lou Dort defending for 40 minutes or is he defending for 32 and he's got 8 of the minutes where he can score?
Dehls, do I really have to answer that question?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Lou Dort. I'm sure for 70 to 80% of the game is guarding Luka, but there are gonna be other matchups where he's not. Where he's switching.
Yeah,
also to be
yes,
fair,
of course.
the 23 points is per 75 possessions. So it's not
like
like what
reading is so
it's
hard.
like projecting. I could get the tracking stats right now if you want to.
I just
Yeah.
like, why do I have to answer a question that it's obvious? No, Drew. Lou Dortz is not going to guard him for 40
That's
minutes
not the
of the
question
game.
that I was asking.
I don't
you.
even know what you were asking me.
I'm asking you what's bad about 22 points on a single matchup.
Brother, shooting 57% true shooting, everything is basically saying, Drew,
Mm-hmm.
when this man guards you, everything drops.
57% true shooting is not dog
everything drops from your points per game to your
It's
true shooting.
one player. He's
Everything
averaging
drops.
22 on him.
He averaged 30.
Who? Luka?
He
I
aver-
understand. In
he
the
averaged
series,
30.
he still averaged 27.
Yeah, that's just in totality. That's when Lou Dortz is guarding. That's what I was talking about. That's
Again,
who's
and
gonna
when
guard him.
Lou Dort's the only one that guards him, he's giving him 22.
That's not good for a guy who
Okay.
averages 30.
What?
I have
Please,
the
thank
numbers.
you.
So
What the what?
Lou
Is
Dort,
that good?
Lou Dort on defense in the playoffs in these past playoffs, he matched up with Luka 54 minutes. Luka had 84 points. He accounted for 285 team points. Well, that's just the team points in general.
Was that assists?
20 assists to 9 turnovers. He shot 47.5% from the field and 33% from
That's
three.
fucking ass. Yuck.
You just said it was good.
It's a really great, actually.
33% from the 3-point line? 47%?
47%
Seven
from
for
the
21.
field.
7 for 21?
7 for 21 from the three.
Oh.
Yeah,
bad
he was
threes.
47.5% from the field goal, and he was 19 for 23 at the free throw line.
Listen, more than anything,
Why did they add free throws?
He's just gonna make him work.
Oh, that's just his total points. He had 84 points against Lou Dort, though.
I don't know why they would add
I think what's more interesting though is the assist turnover ratio. 20 assists to 9 turnovers. That's probably the one thing you can
Facts.
look at.
I agree. And I'll give that to
Lou
Dort.
Lou-
Dort
strong
makes
guy,
makes it tough, but it's also harder
Damn
to
near
guard
2-1,
Luka than
that's
it
not
is
great.
Mitchell or Garland.
Huh?
It's harder to guard Luka than it is Mitchell or Garland.
Not for Lou Dortz.
Lou Dort has the
actually
frame.
struggles with guards. That's
He
a
does,
fact.
'cause he's-
If you watch them, that's a fact.
I'm
He's
just
right.
saying in general, it's just
No,
harder
that's
to guard
wrong.
Luka.
We have to be smart up here.
No, I'm saying in general, it's harder to guard Luka than Mitchell.
No,
or
for
Garland.
Lou Dortz it's not.
there's certain
That's like for
defenders-
it's literally
there's-
not.
you-
Like
Joel, there's
that's like for
certain
Jaden McDaniels. It's harder for him to guard Luka. It's harder for him to guard guys like Luka as opposed to guards. He can guard
Like
guards.
the way
easier.
that he
That's
defended
literally-
against
it's not
Jamal
rocket
is
science.
different from the way that he guarded
Okay,
against.
so the
I know
question,
you love Luka.
the question I wanted to propose.
You don't like him getting
well,
locked up.
this is struggling for Luka. Basically, he fucking ate up against Luka.
Well, first of all, tracking does a terrible job of doing
Rip,
it.
I don't know
That's a
what you
fact.
want anymore.
That's a fact.
You're just
That's a fact.
belittling
That's what I'm saying.
everything
It's a
now.
fact. So
He's a, no,
that's a fact.
bro, like, come on.
That's a fact.
No,
That's a fact.
I don't even understand what you're saying, bro.
That's a fact.
Actually, let's throw this
That's a
away.
fact. That's
no,
all I'm gonna say.
no, thanks.
Tracking,
Yo, you're nuts.
tracking does not do a good job of tracking how they guard each other. But I will
Eye
say,
test.
I will
Yo,
say,
eye test.
I will,
Crazy.
Dehls, what I
Eye
will
test.
say is there's a healthy medium between what I sent and what he just read.
Lou Dort is one of the toughest defenders against Luka. I think that's
100%.
fair.
There's a
Still
healthy, there's
kill
a
him.
healthy. What?
Luka will still kill him.
How many times did he actually kill Lou Dort? Genuinely.
Game 6, Luka was having his way. It didn't matter. Game
else?
5, he was pretty incredible. Game 3, if I'm not mistaken.
in the playoffs, he had inefficient games, but towards the end, he played really well. So, okay, the question I wanted to
What was the
propose
question?
What's the question?
was, if you are OKC, let's just all make pretend we're OKC. You're Mark Daigneault. You're the head coach. You're game planning for a series.
Here we go.
Defensively, are you more worried about the Lakers on offense or the Cavaliers on offense?
Cavaliers, I have to respect. I have to respect them right
So
now.
you're more worried about the Cavaliers.
I'd be more worried about LeBron James and Luka Doncic. I think it's fair for me to go right now and say at minimum, I'm scared of them pretty equally. Because the Cavaliers, although they don't have LeBron, they don't have Luka Doncic. That's concrete
You
fact.
want him to pick the Lakers so bad.
No,
Well,
I understand. But we
I
need
think
to
it's a
be
close
But we
question.
need to be fair to the Cavaliers, who all season have been the most efficient offense, not just getting downhill, but also being the most efficient three-point shooting team. The leap that we've seen from Mobley, his ability to play make, his ability to handle the ball, Garland getting back to form, Donovan Mitchell being Donovan Mitchell in the year 2025, DeAndre Hunter getting that ad at the trade deadline, Ty Jerome being an amazing backup point guard for them. They have so many ways that they can get you at any point in the game. You have to respect their offense. I get it. We have LeBron. We have Luka. We have Reeves. We have to respect Rui. We have to respect Rui, especially because we have to respect DeAndre Hunter.
I think we just have to respect Reeves. I mean, Reeves is their
Respect
third.
Rui. Every time, no, it's Rui.
No,
It's
I
Rui
think
slander.
Rui is good,
Please.
but Reeves is a third option, and
him.
he can average 24.
I do think
can
I do
talk.
think OKC has more defenders that they could throw at Cleveland than they can at the Lakers. That's where
No,
if I had to
it's
pick,
LeBron. They can throw at DG and Mitchell than LeBron and Luka.
That's what he's
that's
saying.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
more
like,
defenders you could throw at Cleveland, especially and the bigs too. You have Mobley, you have Jared Allen that you have to go up against, but you have Hartenstein and you have Chet. So I think you probably match up better. But Cleveland collectively has shown all season long that they're able to generate points really regardless of matchup.
it's a funny
They've
question.
smoked the Thunder. I really do think they're in the same tier, but just personnel wise, OKC is going to match up better, in my opinion, to Cleveland than they will with the
I think
Lakers.
OKC is going to 100% look at the matchup against the Lakers. Look
just
at
funny.
LeBron and Luka and be like, no, those are the two toughest guys on the planet for sure. And then look at the rest of the guys and be like, all right, we have a way to figure this out. Then they're gonna look at Cleveland. This is a full train. This is 1 through 5 and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that we have to
DeAndre
deal
Hunter's
with.
gonna get us.
DeAndre Hunter's been phenomenal, man.
He's
Don't-
been good.
How many
but
games have you watched?
I ain't worried.
Now we have to ask
I
you
hate
some
when you do
questions.
this.
DeAndre
DeAndre
Hunter, the way he's
averaging
acting, it's
19.
ridiculous.
He's
Like,
really good.
But
He's
again,
really good.
you say 7, 8, 9, 10, then I can say Gabe. I can say
Hunter's
Rui.
better.
Ty Jerome is
Rui-
better.
No, the comparison is Rui and DeAndre Hunter.
I think Hunter's better.
I
That's
don't,
your
I don't
sixth man?
hate that. Our 6-man,
Is
it
Rui?
depends. It's either Rui or DFS.
Okay.
It's Rui or DFS.
Gabe Vincent, I think Ty Jerome I'll take comfortably.
I don't mind that at all.
That's
You're
actually
actually
the
right.
bucket.
But the defensive side for Gabe,
Ty
is
ain't
incredible
terrible on that end.
He's not, but he's not Gabe. Same
giving-
way that Gabe's not.
He's
Ty
giving you way
Jerome.
more output on offense.
I don't disagree at all.
Listen,
But the thing is, we have 2 elite, 1 great playmaker.
yes.
Yeah.
Who's the one great? Oh, right. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, listen, maybe I'm just overvaluing Luka and LeBron, but
No, I think you're just underrating Cleveland.
my answer is solely based off they just have Luka and LeBron. I don't care about anything else.
I
I'll be
honestly
honest
don't
with
even
you.
care how black and white that is. I don't, because
I'm not mad at that. I just like the lack of respect for Cleveland is nuts. That's
No,
That
they
I
deserve a
agree with.
lot of
It does feel
respect.
a
it's
little
really a lack of
disrespectful. It does
respect.
feel a little
It's just
disrespectful.
Luka.
The way you
LeBron.
dismissed DeAndre Hunter was a little rude.
That
It
was
was.
nuts.
It was a little rude.
It really was.
But to be fair, he's been dismissing Rui, so at least it's consistent.
Well, DeAndre
mean,
Hunter's been better.
He's
than
been
Rui.
better.
I'm
He's
just
been
saying.
better. But
Okay,
slightly.
okay,
No, it's not slightly.
okay.
It's
See,
really not
okay,
You haven't been
slightly.
watching Rui.
okay.
haven't
See
been
plays
watching Cavs.
Cleveland.
That's Cat.
He just had 30
Nobody's watching basketball here, man.
I've been here acknowledging.
DeAndre Hunter was just better than D. Mitch
Saying I
and
haven't
Garland.
watched, but I'm the one praising them too.
Okay, OKC
what is-
guards
yo,
Cleveland.
what is going
their
on,
best
bro?
their best two defenders, J-Dub and Lou Dort, probably go
Nobody's
on
watching
Garland
anything.
or Mitchell.
It's fucking good.
SGA is guarding DeAndre Hunter. I'm very
J-Dub's probably not
comfortable.
going to guard G. Mitchell.
I think Lou
put
Dort
one of the
and
guards.
J-Dub take those two
think so?
responsibilities. And SGA guarding DeAndre Hunter, I am fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean-
DeAndre Hunter has been exploiting matchups.
And that is
SGA is a good defender.
that
He's-
is easier for SGA than guarding Austin Reeves, in my opinion.
I don't think SGA would guard Reeves.
I don't know who would guard Reeves.
It would be Wallace or Caruso.
Well, I'm saying just the starters versus starters right now.
Really? So who's going on LeBron? J-Dub?
LeBron, you're just going to die with.
Pray?
J-Dub and Prey.
Probably is J-Dub.
But like Caruso and Case and Wallace, I'm fine with them on Reeves.
I'm talking about
for
just
sure.
the starting lineup.
Yeah, that's
what
where it
their
gets
matchups
scary.
are going to be.
Caruso and Wallace on Reeves,
You could be in hell.
that's tough.
Yeah, but those are like their best two defenders.
I know.
You know, if
They're gonna be playing
in the lineup, but in the lineups because
Got
they
Aaron
might
Wiggins
be
off the
playing,
bench too.
but,
He's been hooping his ass
but if
off.
they're both on the court, you know, maybe you have SGA and Lou Dort or J-Dub on the court with them, but who's going to be the combination with them? You know,
He's scary.
You know, you're taking some perimeter defenders away from them. You know, it's
tough, man.
I mean, it's very tough. They're
me
number
see
one
who their
defense in the league
starters
for a
are.
while, but I'm just saying their starters right now. They've been experimenting with the 4 out 1 in lineup. So their starters right now were SGA, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Chet, and Hartenstein. That's their lineup right now.
Chet sprained his ankle too.
And I actually think that lineup matches up better with Cleveland than
Which
it
lineup
does
was
with the
it?
Lakers. SGA, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Chet, and Hartenstein.
Yeah, that's the two big lineup. You if you got really good two bigs, you want to go with that against Cleveland.
So let's say they use that against the Lakers. Like I said, like you have the two best perimeter defenders on Luka and LeBron, and then SGA is guarding Reeves. That same lineup, SGA would be guarding DeAndre Hunter.
That's a bigger guy.
Yeah, but I think SGA 6'6". There's only 2-inch difference
No,
between.
I'm talking about like
he's
frame
strong.
wise.
Yeah,
Frame wise,
Reeves
a
is.
bigger
You
guy.
know what I mean,
But I think
Lighter.
Reeves is a tougher cover than Hunter.
Yeah, I mean,
he's more skilled, but Hunter could use his size to get downhill.
Hunter can get SGA in
Yeah.
foul trouble, and then
He's
you
got
have
that back.
you have the front court. You literally have who do you guys start in the front court?
Jackson Hayes,
Jackson
and
Hayes.
Rui.
And Rui.
You have a
LeBron.
big helping off of Jackson Hayes, and then you have one big planted on Rui.
That's kind of lit.
Yeah,
for us.
Rui. That's a good matchup for Rui. Big on him.
But that's Hartenstein sitting at the rim
Unless
waiting
that's
for you.
Chet, you know, because Chet obviously is
Chet,
Chet.
yeah, Chet's probably going to be the one.
Yeah,
Unless
Chet
you
is
put
Chet.
Hartenstein on Rui. I don't know how they're going to do it.
That's what I'm saying. I just feel like there's more they got to tinker with the Lakers versus like Cleveland. There's just more things with them.
Cleveland gotta get through us, man.
You got to deal with. I don't know. You got to deal with a lot for Cleveland. That's why
Hey,
they do
listen,
winning games.
I think Cleveland is like that.
You put your bet back in?
I've caught you.
Is the bet back in?
No, Dehls. I've noticed a trend. He walked out on the bet. He gave up on us, and now he's coming here, and it's a little bit of funny dismissing.
Lakers, relax.
Yeah, you've admitted. He
it did sound nuts.
He's
My
dismissing.
only
I'm
statement
not mad at
was
the LeBron and Luka shit.
The
I'm
only
not.
offense that I think I would take over the Lakers is The Celtics in the playoff series. That's it.
Why not the Celtics? You trust LeBron and Luka over anybody?
It's just their shooting. Their shooting. Is
Even though
insane.
the number one 3-point shooting team is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
But they don't.
got a
Not
point.
on the same volume though.
Oh, so now it's volume. Now I gotta ask.
The Celtics take the most threes in the
They
NBA.
do,
agree.
but they also
But they
I'll
take
take
the
our
timely.
It's not as good.
they take a ton.
I'm not saying they don't take a ton. I'm just
What
saying.
number I gotta pull up
Boston's
for you
number
to
one by a shit
just to
ton,
believe?
3-point
Do I got
percent, 3-point
half court
percent.
offense
Yeah.
elite,
Like
half court
50.
defense is
they're
elite.
like 11th or 10th.
Offensive rating is
accuracy or
high.
whatever.
Defensive rating is high.
There's
Defensive
nothing you
rebound.
can look at the
Like,
Cavs
what-
to nitpick.
Who's
They don't do
balling on
anything.
their
What number do I
Dude,
need
I
to
don't know.
use?
Rip,
I don't know.
Rip.
I don't know.
It's the what we've seen for basically every team that's a contender. If you haven't done it in the moment, you're gonna get
So just say
questions.
that.
You're
Just
gonna
stop
you're
with the
gonna get
whole.
questions.
They shoot three. Like just say that.
Like
Just-
it's like I liked a lot of what he's saying. There was also a lot that I
like if you
I
just
can't
say
hear.
LeBron and Luka and you guys haven't done it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right. That's valid.
that's a good argument.
But just to
that's
say-
basically what you're saying.
No,
did
it's
say
not.
that.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
bullshitting.
It's not. He's saying LeBron and Luka. Oh, DeAndre Hunter. Your 3-point shooting. Like it's a whole bunch of bullshit. When you
I
can
didn't
just
mention
say.
anything about 3-point shooting.
All right, Joel.
No, I didn't.
No, he just said he trusts the Celtics more.
He said because they
'Cause
shoot
of their
threes,
shooting.
and then I said they're the number one
They're
3-point
number one
shooting.
three-point
He brought
shooting
up
team.
a
No,
volume.
no, I didn't say because they shoot threes. I said because of their spacing.
Yeah, and then
That's
I
why.
said
Yes,
they're the number one
but
3-point
I
shooting
think
team.
it's pretty
They're
much
snipers.
common sense that
Got a lot of them.
Derek
Especially those
White,
boys.
Drew, Jalen Brown, and Tatum and Porzingis offers more spacing than the Cavaliers.
Here's
lineup.
the issue
Yes,
though
the
this
starting
season.
five.
Can we
Yes.
be honest about this season with the Boston Celtics and that starting
and even
five?
with Al Horford in the
They
game,
haven't played.
They haven't played, but on top of it, JB has been bad shooting the 3 ball.
Let me look at their 3-point
Drew
percentage.
Holiday's
No,
been
they're
bad
like
shooting the
10th-ish
3 ball. Jason Tatum, although
percentage-wise.
he's still shooting 10 threes a game, around that, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
it's like
35%.
Yeah.
And again, like he mentioned, they haven't really played.
Yeah, but these aren't guys that you're really feeling comfortable helping off of outside
No,
of Drew
no.
Holiday.
Yeah, because
Drew, that's how. If the Lakers are going to play against the Celtics, we live and die by Drew Holiday in that corner.
Yeah, but
You're living and dying by Al
Drew's
Horford.
good
With all
off
due
ball,
respect
too.
to Al Horford.
You can put Drew in the dunker spot. We saw in the playoffs.
Oh, I
last
lied.
year.
The Cavs are 4th in 3-point attempts.
And
What's
number
the
one in
number?
percentage?
They're 1.
Yeah, I thought so.
3-point percentage 1.
I know,
4th in
yeah.
3-point
Yeah,
attempts. So the
yeah,
way we really
yeah,
fucking
no,
what's
I
the,
don't
what's the
know.
attempt?
I was gonna say because the attempts is low-key probably like a 10 attempt difference.
No, they're the league rank. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. League rank. They're 4 in 3-point attempts.
No,
Bro,
I'm saying
what are
what's
the
the amount?
3-point
Like,
attempts?
Oh, it's a
So-
percentage.
so he's
it's
taking like
12.0%.
I'm just going to give me 1 sec. I got it.
because
reading
my
this shit
guess
off
is
on-
like Cleveland's taking 40 a game, Boston like 50 or some shit like that.
Didn't I say though? I'm literally just saying it. I'm taking the Lakers because it's Luka and LeBron.
All right, he is right about them being 4th.
Yeah.
The Celtics shoot 48 threes. The Bulls shoot 43. The Warriors shoot 42. The Cavs shoot 41.
So, Boston
So
takes
it's a
7 more.
7-point. It's a 7 3-point difference.
So the difference is the 7.
and
I'm asking. I want
Well,
to
the
get a clear
difference.
concrete.
Whose spacing is better, the Cavaliers or the Celtics?
In theory, yes, but who's been
To be
shooting
fair,
better than Shear?
you still could put them in this conversation. They're 7th.
Yeah,
they-
no,
they
look.
rose. Okay.
They
They
have
were like
shown
10th,
it.
11th for a
I'm
while.
not. But who's been shooting it better this year?
Well, Cleveland's been the best shooting
What's
team
the
in the league.
percentage for
Okay,
Cleveland?
so
No, that
Cleveland's at
means
39. The Celtics are at
Due for a
37.
slump?
39 flat,
39.3.
Cool.
and the
Cavs.
The
I mean the Celtics.
Sorry. The Cavaliers are at 39.3.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics are at 37.2.
So we're just
So
going 39,
2%
37
difference.
flat.
2% difference, which in the grand schemes on plus
matters.
7 attempts.
It matters. It matters.
It's kind of they're still on par.
That's
you
still
know,
pretty
but-
great.
No, but I think
So
just,
that means they're breaking even.
yeah, but just
Relatively.
just speaking about the players that the Celtics have, I think their spacing is better.
Okay.
There's
There's
more shooters you respect.
There's
more shooters you're going to help.
There's more
off, or,
offensive threats you
know what I
have
mean,
to
close
worry
out
about
on.
when playing the Celtics.
Okay.
I don't know. I look at the Cavs. DG can shoot. Garland can. Excuse me. DG
you're right.
can shoot. Mitchell can shoot.
Yep.
Ty Jerome can shoot.
DeAndre
DeAndre
Hunter
Hunter
can
can shoot. Mobley can kind
He
of
can shoot.
shoot.
He's
I
shooting
wouldn't
well
put
this
him in the
year.
shooting
I
category.
agree, but
But he
he
shooting
can
37% this
he
year.
can
He's shooting
kind
really
of
well.
I got to see it in the playoffs. So I don't want to give him that he can shoot tag yet.
There's a bunch of players on this team that can shoot, and I didn't even name the guys on the bench too that have contributed at a high level this year.
Well, outside of but the only players that really are not non-shooting threats for them are Jared Allen and
Allen.
Isaac Okoro.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Those are
play
the-
that
those
much.
are the
He
two.
really
He
does. He's
doesn't.
up and down in the lineup.
Yeah. So what's their wing rotation looking like off the bench?
They're gonna play 7, 8 guys.
Niang.
It's gonna be Strus.
Niang's not there
Niang's
no
on
more.
the team.
Apologize.
It's gonna be.
And
They're gonna
LeVert's not there
start.
no
They're
more.
gonna start DG. They're gonna start Don. You're probably gonna start Strus. You got Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. Then you got Hunter and Ty Jerome off the bench.
Did I say Niang?
Yeah,
I
you
meant
did.
to say Struce.
Yeah,
Apologize.
you got Hunter and Ty Jerome. And maybe
Niang's
one.
out
Maybe
now.
Sam Merrill. Like if you need
If
more
he's hot,
shooting.
if he's hitting his
Yeah.
shots,
Wade.
yeah.
No,
Like-
they have depth, you know.
Dean
But
Wade,
like I said,
facts.
I just think the Celtics' overall spacing, I think it's more to deal with.
Got Pritchard coming off that bench, fucking pulling for 40. You know what I mean?
Ty Jerome, baby.
We got
the
fact that Ty this year.
I don't know. I think he had like 30, 35. I don't know if he had 40.
did have a good. I remember him having a
40.
great game, but he definitely didn't have 40.
He doesn't play the same. He doesn't play a lot of minutes. I mean, he should play a lot.
So
of
I
minutes.
guess this can go right into the conversation, Riv. Are the Cavaliers underappreciated and underrated?
Yes. The fuck. Yes. And it's not even just a you thing. Like how you said it before. How people are not talking about it. They keep saying they got to prove it or it's Boston in the way. Like, let's just appreciate the fact that these motherfuckers got 50 wins.
Clinched a playoff spot in March. Early March.
Early first 5 days March. Like, on top of that, like, they've upped their 3-point shooting. Like, teams that get a new head coach, we've seen this with a few teams. The one team I can remember is the Golden State Warriors. And I'm not saying they have Steph or nothing like that, but remember, Golden State Warriors, they lost to the Clippers in 7 games. They had, what's his name? Mark Jackson as their coach. They plug in Steve Kerr, put Draymond Green into the starting lineup. Boom. 50-plus wins, number 1 seed. Like, I'm not saying they have Steph or nothing like that, but this team has some magic going on with them. This team has some fire going on with them. They've beaten every team you want them to beat. They've beaten Boston. They've beaten OKC.
A good amount of
they've beaten Denver. They've given Cleveland. I'm sorry. They've given Boston a run for their money in the regular season in terms of just making games difficult.
Every game has been great.
Every game has been great. Every game has been a fight to the end. And now you're sitting there looking 50-10. Everybody's playing well. I mean, DG's been struggling his last 5-10 games dealing with his knee injury, but everybody's playing well. DG, Donovan's he's ramping it up.
He's here.
Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Kenny Atkinson's now taking this approach to figure out his late game lineups. And now he's tinkering. Now he's having fun. Now he's all of a sudden.
You can do that.
The season, they're clinched. Y'all not far behind, but y'all fake far behind.
We're 8 games behind with 20
like they would need to go
coach.
on a drastic. Like their worst losing streak was 2-3 games, and that happened 2 months ago.
Did they ever lose 3 in a row?
I think it was 2.
3. It was Brooklyn. I think Indiana twice. I think that's what it was. That stretch where they lost. And then they went right back on it. Boom, streak. They've been on a 14, 15 game winning streak right now. So whether they win the chip or not, that conversation is going to come. And I do think if they don't at least get there or at least make it 7 games at the end of the ECF, we talking about a failure. But this team has the argument to possibly have the defensive player of the year. They might have the 6th man of the year. You said Peyton was the favorite because he had that 40
minus
ball.
200 right now.
No, listen, the 40 ball shot his ass up there. I respect that. But, DeAndre Hunter has been in that conversation all year. They're going to have coach of the year. They're going to have an All-NBA candidate in Donovan Mitchell. They're going to have everything you want in a finals team. So, and the only thing in their way, in my opinion, is Boston. That's the only thing in their way. They beat the shit out the Knicks by 40 2-3 weeks ago. They beat Milwaukee twice. Granted, that was early in Milwaukee. They've looked a lot better lately. This Cavs team is different life to them. And you feel excited because none of them are old. Like Donovan Mitchell is the oldest out the 4. Like Donovan's still in his prime. DG and Mobley, Mobley definitely hasn't hit their prime. DG hasn't hit his prime. Jared Allen, I think, is walking into his prime right now.
92 on 2K.
Yeah, he deserves that shit. All defense too.
Same rating as Cade.
Yeah, he's that's crazy. But he's a demon, and this team is just they're so young, man. It's so exciting to see. And like you said, you talked about it before. Like there should be a lot more praise on what they're doing, because they're not the same old typical story of the Lakers dominating, Golden State dominating, the Spurs dominating. No, it's a Cleveland Cavaliers team who, outside of LeBron, have nothing going for them in their history. They traded for Donovan Mitchell. They had last summer talking about Donovan Mitchell might leave. There was all these reports of him getting pushed out. He ends up staying. DG broke his jaw last year, played like shit. He had all the doubters on him, Evan Mobley and stuff like that. Now you come into this year and you having the best start probably ever in Cavs history. So this is something exciting. They could still win 70 games. That's how good this team has been. So do I think underappreciated? I think that's the word as opposed to underrated, because I think whether you think they can win or not is fine, but appreciate the shit that they're doing, because there's not many teams that can go out and do what they're doing right now.
There was a part of me that wanted to come in here and say that, I think that they've gotten the love that they deserve, but every time you talk about the East, who's coming out the East, there's a part that people are like, oh, yeah, the Cavaliers are really good, But they're not beating the Celtics.
Not on this podcast.
The Celtics are the favorite. That's a fact.
Not on this
This
podcast.
podcast
This
I had a
definitely.
lot of belief in the Cavaliers.
They really believe
Actually,
the
it's
Cavs.
falling off. It's not. We need this. It's falling off.
When John
it's
was
back
here-
to one.
When John was
When
here,
John
there
was
was
here, it was a
75%.
3v1.
Yeah.
yeah,
When John
how
was
the mighty
here,
have fallen. We're now back to
It is
one,
crazy.
It's
It is
still
back to
50-50 right
yeah,
now.
is it still?
It's
50-50?
really like
And I put my
30-70.
money where my mouth is.
You put it back in.
No, not yet.
It's really 30%, 30 to 70.
Yeah,
You're holding on to 5%.
Well, John's locked.
John's locked.
Oh, John is locked.
So if the five of us, each of us are 20%, you're 20%. Are we
40,
giving, are we
give him
giving John
45.
40
We'll give him 5.
and he's 45?
We'll
All
give him
right.
5.
Clinging on to my 5%.
Yeah,
with my
but he's
shit.
holding on by a fucking.
He doesn't even get 10. He doesn't even get half.
no shot. He lost his 10 right now.
But that's the thing where I look at the Cavaliers and they have 50 wins. They've been the most dominant team in basketball when you consider both sides and how
drinking?
consistent they are. And even still, nobody consistently has them as the clear-cut favorites, not just to win the title, but to let alone make it out of the East. That's where I do think we get to the conversation where they are underappreciated, where people are starting to question the role players for their squad when all season long they've been reliable. The one concern that you can have with the Cavaliers is health, because that's what's derailed their seasons these last couple that Donovan Mitchell has been here. And he's been a part of that last season. But again, when we talk about big picture, that's where we can talk about them being underappreciated, because not a lot of people have them as the favorite, even though they meet a lot of the categories to be that.
I mean, you look at the odds right now.
You can get right back
The
in.
Cavaliers are.
You should know the odds like back of your hand.
You're so
I do.
willing
Right
to
now.
let people
I let
back
people.
in.
I'm really a nice guy. Is what I'm trying to
It's
tell
shocking.
you.
I'm not that nice.
Joel, you have an opportunity right now that I'm giving you to get back in.
What are the
I
odds saying right
appreciate
now?
you.
I mean,
Right
I know
now-
you're checking every
yeah.
day, seeing when you put your money in.
100%. Right
Responsibly.
now, it's plus 260 for the Cavaliers.
That's
So
280.
it's yeah, it has jumped up just a little bit. So even Vegas is kind of showing that they have a lot of confidence in the Celtics making it back to the finals. I don't even think it's really about them being able to beat the Celtics. I feel like maybe it's I'm just paying attention too much to the internet and what the comments are saying, but I feel like there's an overwhelming belief that the Cavaliers just aren't going to steamroll anybody that not named Boston. I think there's people that think out there that maybe Milwaukee could give them a very tough series and maybe
You
upset
should
them
ask yourself.
with
Dark horse
with
Milwaukee.
Giannis. I mean, listen, I think with
Giannis is a
Giannis
tough-
and Dame, it
is a
gives you a
tough
chance, but they got a lot of weaknesses
like
on the
Milwaukee.
roster.
It's a tough out.
But no, I think Cleveland, they just have such a complete roster that really anybody not named Boston, I trust them to beat anybody in a 7-game series, and I trust them to handle business. I think with the Boston matchup, what it comes down to, number one, I will say this, with the Cavaliers this season, they've been on 3 straight separate 10-plus game win streaks.
It's crazy.
This team has been more historic
Yeah, I'm locked in. Don't
than
worry.
the LeBron Cavaliers, which
Okay.
is insane
All right.
for
Did we
how
win 60 games?
they did
With
win
Mark
60
Brown,
games.
with Mike Brown.
Yeah, this team's on pace
It
to
was
win
slow.
almost.
I thought it was Black. David Black.
They won 60 with Mike Brown too when Cleveland
That was
didn't
back
have
in
no
the
help.
day.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
that's what I'm
thinking-
saying.
I'm thinking,
yeah,
I think there was a year.
facts.
There was a year they won
That was
66.
Mo Williams.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's
We
cool.
were-
Yeah.
we were
That's a cool
dogs.
ass team. That's a
The
cool ass team.
Cavaliers, they have a chance to win 70 games this year. So I think it's unbelievable. And I think as of recently, they've been winning games by coming back down
Facts.
large deficits. They won against Boston that way. They won
Gotta win
against the
nasty
Nets
sometimes.
in that way.
Talk about that Portland win, man.
Miami, bro. The Bulls, they were down
Dude,
fucking in
it's
the
been
fourth
rough
quarter.
lately.
Yeah, they have
But
found ways
we're
to
winning.
win in that way too. So I think they deserve a lot of credit, and I think Evan Mobley is the person that is probably the biggest X factor in that series against Boston. I think Darius Garland, his size is always going to be an issue defensively. We have to see if he can rise up his game to the occasion offensively too, because against Derek White and Drew Holiday, that's going to be a tough matchup. But Evan Mobley's really the X factor. I thought he was the second biggest reason why they beat the Celtics in their comeback win. You can argue in moments he was the biggest reason why. Mitchell closed out the game, but what led them to get that momentum to get there was Evan Mobley's play on the glass and just dominating mismatches. And I think he's becoming a true star right before our eyes. He's just rounding out his offensive game. And I know that the numbers might not show it overwhelmingly, but I think if he was on his own team, he's averaging 25 and 12. I think he's that gifted. And I think on the Cavaliers right now, he's like a 19 to 20 a night.
AD comps
He's
were real.
sacrificing things. I think
called him KG.
there is a lot of that in his game. He's just a two-way star. So I think, and he's shooting the 3-ball really well too.
Here we go, yeah.
Now he's somebody that they're trusting him to take threes, and he's making those
5%
threes
back.
as well. So I think they have gone underappreciated just because I think this is a historic season And hopefully, even if they do lose, I hope that it just doesn't get thrown away. I think this is the start of what could be something very special, and they got a great core.
You're back.
He's back 20% back.
10.
That's
Whoa,
what
whoa,
I'm saying.
whoa, 10.
10.
He's up to 10.
He's getting his way there.
Slowly.
Hey, you were at 0% 5 minutes ago, bro.
Yeah,
Take that.
I saw some Cavs guys talking about how like
The polling results are getting better.
yeah, it's really been nasty because you've seen some Cavs people talk about, oh, Ty Jerome is better than DG. DG's holding us back.
Ty Jerome better than DJ is fucking nuts.
Or some
You
shit
know what
like-
that is? One thing. Racist.
I'm not gonna go that far, but I'm gonna say people just can't appreciate what's in front of you. Like you got
all it is.
you got
It's,
DG playing like
I don't know
shit.
what their
Why
answer
can't
is.
his brother Ty Jerome come in and be like, I got you, bro.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's my time to step
If
up.
you want to
Ty
win a
Jerome better than
championship, you
DG?
need that. Fuck
shot.
no.
Is he anywhere close
Fuck
to him?
no.
So
No,
why
no,
the
no.
fuck would people say that?
Oh, brother, you
people
have
are-
to see, dude.
Let me
it's
ask you guys a
nasty.
People are
question.
fans of teams that hate on their own players, and they want to see
That's a
their own
fact.
players fail sometimes.
They see like they fuck up. Like I'm be the first to admit I hated AirPods.
You know how many people hate Jaylen Brown? Celtics fans. There's so
Actually?
much that hate Jaylen Brown. Yes.
Are they stupid?
Yes, because they see when Jaylen Brown's out. Oh, Tatum does X, Y, and Z. It's same shit. It goes both ways.
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say the Cavaliers
Here we go.
win it all this year.
Mm-hmm.
Does it change your perspective on team building? Because then in back-to-back years, the Celtics having a player that didn't we know that he's a top 5 player, but he didn't perform to that level. They ended up winning.
How's non-perform?
And
I think Don performs.
And the Cavaliers not having like a stamped top 5 player if they win it all. It's just a group of guys that have multiple All-Stars, but they have an outstanding supporting cast
They
too.
definitely give you Detroit into 2000s vibe, or more like, I want to say Boston, but not Boston in the sense of, I think KG was still elite at that time. Paul Pierce was still great, but they didn't have a top
saying
5
big three, not last year Boston.
Yeah, big three. I'm saying they didn't have a top 5 stamp guy, and Cleveland's definitely, and I guess that's why.
Cleveland would be a bigger example than Boston.
For sure. And I think that's why people are kind of pushing back, because they don't have a solidified top 10 guy. D-Mitch, love him to death. I think he's a great player, superstar in this league. He's not a solidified top 10 guy. He's always knocking on the door.
Borderline,
He's always got the foot in, but he's not fully planted in. And a lot of times in NBA history, we see when you win, if it's not with a top 5 guy, it's definitely with a top 10 guy. And you get those rare occurrences where there's a guy outside the top 10, like the Detroit Pistons, where you had Chauncey Billups, you had Ben Wallace, you had Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, 3 to 4 All-Stars.
Greatness this year hasn't been overly relying on him being Superman.
Like,
Was
it's
that
been
08
far
Celtics?
from, honestly.
Did it have a top 10 player? Was KG top 10?
That's what I'm saying. That would be another one that I brought up. Like, you can
Portland,
argue
yeah.
it, but he was. I don't think he was. Like, I
He
don't
wasn't.
remember.
He wasn't like Minnesota.
Yeah, he wasn't Minnesota. He
no.
probably. He's still
His
a great
numbers dropped
defender.
though because he played with Pearson, Ray Allen.
Yeah.
He won
that's true.
DPOI after that. After that championship.
I was going to say 08.
Yeah,
Wait, was it 09?
It was 09.
09?
He won in 09.
He was definitely a superstar still, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why Cleveland's got a little
I don't know.
disrespected.
Whenever
Was that
KG,
Ben?
it might have been Dwight.
Probably. I mean,
They
Dwight
won
in
in
those late
08.
2000s.
I think 08 was the best version of them.
Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah,
KG
yeah.
won DPOI in 09 though, because I remember he was on the cover for 2K.
he was 2K9.
Yeah, he was 2K9 cover.
Yeah.
So-
But I think that's part of the reason why Cleveland has gotten, if they've gotten disrespected, is because they don't have that guy, right? Like the Thunder and the West are doing similar shit to what Cleveland's doing, but SGA's been on such a crazy run. The efficiency's been so nuts.
I think
that
that's the difference. Like,
he's
I
been
think
getting
Cavs are
respect.
better.
Yeah, because you mentioned like they'll have like maybe they get 2 all pro all NBA guys, like maybe Mobley and Don make it, but there's a chance that it's only one of
hope
them,
Mobley makes it.
right? And there's a chance that maybe you have a 6th man of the year, maybe you have a Depoy, but they're all like within the top 2 for all of these awards, right? Outside of like Mitchell MVP, but like Mobley's in there for Depoy,
think he's
couple
a
of them
favorite
for over Jaren.
Yeah, I think he became the favorite.
Jaren's been missing a
He
couple
got
games
hurt, yeah.
too. So I think that's part of the reason why they got disrespected. But I think the other part too is just their history the last 2 years, and it's not fair, but their history the last 2 years is the reason why I think some people are giving them pause, even though it's just a completely different team. It's a different coach team. It's a different version of Darius Garland. It's a different version of Evan Mobley. And the role players too are so much better than they have been in years past, but people are still going to look back at those series, even though they beat the Magic, going to 7 against a young Magic team. Then the year prior, losing, they lost the Knicks, right?
The
Lost
Knicks.
the Knicks in that series, yeah. So
they ass whipped.
I mean, I think looking at these last 2 years falling short in the playoffs, even though they've been so damn dominant and so damn historical, that's part of the reason why people are giving it pause. And then also just when your best player is like a borderline top 10 guy, just like you were having the conversation, well, shit, the Lakers got Luka and LeBron, so I'm gonna just take them no matter what. People are gonna do the same thing when, you know, they're going up against the Bucks potentially in the second round. Where it's like, you got Giannis, you know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do? They got Giannis and Dame. They got arguably the two best players in that series.
You can have all that. Sometimes you need a team, man. I will say though, two things. The Orlando thing is interesting. I think they tie into this pretty weird because Orlando and the Cavs played last year. And Dehls, this is not to shit on you. I really want you to know this is not to disrespect you at all. This is just a point of how organizations trust in the process, and sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't. Orlando and the Cavs played each other in the playoffs, right? And went to 7 games. We thought it really came down to the wire. Actually, as a matter of fact, Orlando was up like 18 or 15 or something like that going into the half, and then Donovan Mitchell was like, my leg fucked up, but watch this. And then, you know, went on a backpacking mode. Both teams go into the offseason. You expect progression from both teams differently, though. Orlando was the young ones, the young puppies trying to take that next step up. Cleveland was trying to find its way. As Donovan Mitchell's staying, he ends up staying. You get a new coach. Kenny Atkinson comes in. You don't make any real moves. You kind of keep the core together. You bring in Kenny Atkinson. Orlando, you make one move, you bring in KCP, but for the most part, you keep your coach. You keep the core together. And, of course, injuries derailed the Cavs last year. Injuries derailed Orlando this year. And it's just two teams that played each other that kind of went on different, you know, different trajectories where we thought Orlando was going to be the one to kind of take that leap into the next start and the next crop. Like, basically what Detroit is doing this year, we thought Orlando was going to be that
and
team.
It's more fun to predict the young up-and-coming team.
You had Paolo playing amazing in the playoffs. And we just didn't get that.
Shit on me. Is there a hook here that I'm waiting?
No, honestly, I thought you would take it that way, so I wanted to apologize in advance.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but you know what? The positivity thing is working really well, bro. Because I didn't shit on you at all. I definitely would like to say though, to your DG point.
Yeah.
I don't think he's back. I think he's got better from his years prior.
Fair.
Just in terms of being more efficient at the rim.
Yes.
Just in terms of being more efficient in the mirror. Now, obviously, he's been playing like shit lately. I'm not going to disregard that. But in totality throughout the year, just being efficient as a three-point shooter, being better at decision-making, putting a more effort on the defensive side. Like
he tries.
He is very small.
Like he's small, so he's going to get picked on, especially that defense.
He definitely puts in the effort to try every single possession, try to fight over, take guards. Like the just improvement. No, he's not an all-NBA player. Nobody, but him being an all-star, I think he's an all-star level guard, and he has improved his game and taken a true. Because to get your jaw broken and then get better at the rim is just some crazy shit. Like you don't like you. He was scared all last year to go to the rim, and now this year he's been a demon at the rim, just getting there, getting to the spot, getting to the floater. Even at times being able to take over games, having that confidence that Donovan Mitchell helped and instilled into him to take over games, even when Donovan Mitchell was on the floor. Same thing with Evan Mobley. Like Donovan Mitchell, I don't want to say he got worse, but he didn't really get better. He's just him. Like he's just a dude.
But Garland's the biggest X factor to me in that series because
against Boston.
I think Mobley for sure has an argument too, but I feel like his floor is just so high what it gives you defensively. But Garland, 4 games, he's averaging 19 on like 45%, 47% true shooting. He has not been efficient whatsoever. And of course, Donovan Mitchell, he's a Boston killer. He's averaging like 35, 36 against him this year. And I feel like throughout his career, he always kills Boston. I feel like Boston in general has a difficult time guarding shiftier, quicker guards, which is surprising that Garland doesn't have more success against them. But Garland's the X factor to me because if he's going to put up the performances he has in the regular season where he's being inefficient, he's averaging under 20, like 18, 19 a game, he's still playmaking at a high level, still taking care of the ball. But if he's going to be inefficient and shoot like 32% from 3, 37% from the field, it's going to be hard for Cleveland to make up for that. That's when Mobley's really going to have to step it up and put I'm a borderline top 10 player performance because as great as they are as a whole and as great as their team is overall, it's still going to be a lot of Mitchell and Garland, and Mobley, of course, is going to get his looks too. But it's going to be those two guys initiating a lot of looks, and Garland's going to have to hit those open shots that he really hasn't been hitting so far in this series.
And Kenny Atkinson, too. Like, you're another X factor. Like, your team's about to win 60-plus games. You have to go out there. You have to outcoach Joe Mazzulla. Like, Joe Mazzulla ain't no slouch. He has, stamped himself as one of the best coaches in basketball. And you have to go out there and prove to them and prove to others, like, you can put up a pretty elite scheme against one of the best teams. I don't think they'll walk by Milwaukee. I don't think they'll walk by the Knicks. I do think those would be tough series nonetheless. But I do comfortably think the Cavs will win those series. But for Kenny Atkinson, like you mentioned, DG, those are the guys I'm looking at, like, circling my board, like, you guys have a lot to prove in terms of just all the success. Because getting success this early as a coach is hard.
Yeah.
Like, it puts you in uncomfortable conversations, whether you like it or not. It puts high expectations on you.
A lot of pressure.
And, like, Steve Kerr is an example. In your first year, you want a ring. So now your expectation every year is WCF, finals, or nothing. Brad Stevens, when he got the ball.
Missoula, too.
And Missoula. Ime, expectation is ECF or nothing. And for now, you're about to win 60 games. Expectation is
Nobody
now
gives a
ECF.
fuck. You could win 70 games. You get bounced in the second round. You're going to get talked nasty.
You might get fired.
Yeah.
Real shit. Like,
You know,
that's
73
like,
and 9 and blow a 3-1 lead in the finals.
Damn.
You're gonna catch some strays.
Ooh, that was the trigger me. And it didn't work. That was the trigger me. And it didn't work because I was about to say something about James Harden. But I was like, you know what? It's fine, bro. You're right. He should have never blew that lead. You're correct.
No, just the team, you know. in
No,
general.
it was Steph. He played like shit.
He was horrible.
He was terrible. He was hurt.
So the Celtics and the Cavaliers are the top at the East. The second tier in the East, the Knicks are by far and away the best when it comes to the record. They probably will finish with the third seed in the East, but you have a ton of teams jumbled up 4 through 6 who have the same record pretty much. It's the Bucks, the Pacers, and the Detroit Pistons. We're gonna rank tier 2 of the East, which is like kind of like the underdog tier.
With love and respect, do we all have the Pistons last?
Nope.
I assumed he had the Pacers.
Are we
last.
starting at number 1 and going to 4? Or are we starting from 4 to
I think
1?
1 is going to be because I don't have the Knicks at 1.
I don't have the Knicks at 1 either.
You have the Bucks.
You know what?
Or the Pistons.
The Knicks.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Not even a little bit.
I thought about getting nasty, but I was like, you know what? No.
Pistons have no shots.
Yeah,
either one.
and you know what? You keep trying to trigger me, and it's just not going to work.
I don't think
They
it's triggering. I think
don't.
that's just guys on the
They
street.
have no
Listen.
shots.
Can the Pistons pull a Miami Heat? You never know.
No.
You
My
never-
God,
You never know.
The Miami, no one even pulls the Miami Heat except the Miami Heat.
Hey, listen,
nasty.
Malik Beasley, we didn't think he'd be this shooter. That's all I'm saying. Tim Hardaway Jr. can shoot it again. But listen, I'll say this. The Knicks are funny to me because I've watched them a lot lately because they've been on primetime TV, so I've been having the pleasure
Oh, those haven't been good
to watch.
games.
Yeah, and their offense seemed to get boxed up pretty easily. Granted, Warriors defense is elite, so I don't want to, but then again, you're going to play some really good defenses in the playoffs. When you funnel Jalen Brunson to be more of a passer, when you force OG Anunoby, damn, bro, I'm so sorry. It
was close.
Yeah, when you force OG and Mikal into
who?
putting the ball, I ain't even going to do it again. Anunoby into putting the ball on the floor, forcing them to be shot creators, forcing them to be, and granted, Cat didn't play too, so that's unfair also, but when you force these other guys to beat you and force Jalen Brunson into, I know he's got improvement as a passer, but that's not his best trait. That's not what he is. When you force him into his second best trait, this Knicks offense looks boxed up. This Knicks offense looks lackadaisical. It looks like it can't get into its sets quick. And Jalen Brunson is a heater. He is one of the best scorers in the Basketball Association. But he struggles a little bit in terms of just as a passer. He wants to make the right decision. But your game, we need you to go out there and get the buckets.
Yeah.
We need you to be a bucket getter. And it's unfortunate because he has improved
There we go.
in that department. I'm not saying he hasn't improved in that
Talking about
department.
OG.
No, he's talking Jalen Brunson
as a passer.
As a passer.
He has improved in that department. I'm not disregarding that. But I think this Knicks team needs more Brunson as a scorer because I've seen them a few times against elite defenses or great defenses where Brunson, either he's letting them eat a little early or he's put in a position where he has to make the next pass, has to make the next pass, and he starts to heat up a little too late. And it's not on him. It's just the defense is going to lock in on you. That's just what it is.
That's what upsets me the most about the Knicks, that when I look at the Knicks and I look at the Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell had the luxury early on in the season to still get his, but no, I got two guys next to me that I can trust on a possession-to-possession basis. And when it's my time to assert myself, I know when it's that time to do so. Even though down the stretch of games, obviously we've seen Garland for a majority of the season, not recently, but for a majority of the season be able to take over, to know that he has guys that he can trust to score the basketball. You look at the Knicks, it's not really the case outside of Karl-Anthony Towns, who hasn't been that same dominant version that he was early in the season, but it was supposed to be Mikal Bridges. Where the fuck is that? It's non-existent on a consistent night in, night out basis.
He has games, but
that's not who he is.
And that's what's unfortunate when I look at what the Knicks gave up to get him. It kills me that this is what you got in return. I was talking with some buddies at the gym, and it's just the concrete facts that we always talk about, the same talking point when it comes to that trade. When you trade 5 first-round picks, you don't trade for a glorified role player. you trade for an all-star at the absolute minimum. And that is unfortunately not what Mikal Bridges has given you so far this season. That's really not what he was giving you last season. He wasn't really an all-star level player last year either. You overpaid for the vibes, and they really taxed you because it was the New York connection, and obviously you knew Brunson and Hart had a real strong bond with Mikal, but it really hasn't translated to consistent offense from him. And that's where Riv's point's right. When you get the ball and force Brunson to pass the ball, not that Brunson's not doing it, he is. It's just that there's a lack in consistency from everyone else outside of him and Karl Anthony Towns. That's where I can understand the question marks. But for me, I go number one, I look at Milwaukee. Because obviously they have the best player out of every team that we're going to talk about. Damian Lillard's been fantastic this season. And then with Kyle Kuzma, not that he's been
really good for them.
He's been really good.
He's been really good in his role. Yeah, yeah. He's not like all-NBA level, but he's playing.
You're about to disrespect Kuz.
I wasn't. I really genuinely came into this conversation to give him his flowers.
The defense, the rebounding, the tattoos.
The little things.
It really has been
fits.
the little
He's
things.
getting married too.
But also the big part about this team is they're getting back to their identity that was. Their defense really has been the focal point of them getting back and playing strong basketball. That's what excites me. Health's always going to be the question for Milwaukee, mainly with Giannis, especially after last year. We had a huge discussion about Giannis's health. But again, if he's healthy,
The idea.
I think
Absolutely.
That's his second. The Greek Freak's his first nickname. The idea is his second.
That's hard.
The idea is
I'm
hard.
not gonna say it's not.
Yo,
That's a
Giannis,
great
we just set some shit up for you. The idea.
I mean, he got to go with the Greek Freak.
Yeah.
But
Yo,
regardless,
Greek Freak is nuts.
coming in,
He is a freak, though.
He is. I know he got
More
it.
ways than one.
I think that's where I trust
He'll
the Bucks a
destroy
little
you,
bit
man.
more. That's why I got the
Yeah.
Bucks one. I have the Knicks too.
The idea of Giannis, just the idea of this enforcing bruiser
Whoa.
who every single time down the court can just impose his will on a defense.
Can.
But then, you look at the numbers, and they had an 84 offensive rating when he was on the court against the Heat, and they had 121 offensive rating when he wasn't on the court. So, they
You gotta stop with these on-off shits, man.
They on the same amount of possessions as well. So, and then 2 for 13 in the
Trade
fourth quarter,
Giannis.
minus for 30 plus minus.
Bro got angry. He said, "I'm
you
going
know.
on Google."
No, Drew, it was so funny because after that conversation, I think it was a day or two later, Joel texted me like, "Yo, Riff, look at these numbers." I'm like, he sent me like 8, 9 numbers. I'm like, "Damn, who this bum?" And
So
then
wait
he's
a
like,
minute. So
Giannis.
it's
I'm like,
not about the injury. It's not about. So it is about the scheme.
Well,
is that
it's-
what it is?
Well, it's a little bit
Miami
of both.
plays defense really, really fucking
So the
well.
only series, the only team he
Shout out to
struggles
Spo,
against,
man, best
the
coach in the league.
The number one thing
gave
about
Tatum
it
hell.
is
Thank
the number
God.
one thing is the
So did
health.
Steve Kerr.
The other
Old
thing
Tatum.
is just how teams guard Giannis. You just have less spacing on the court when he's there because of, he doesn't get guarded out on the perimeter. He's added that mid-range shot to his game, so we'll see how that translates, and we'll see what defenses live
Start the
with.
playoffs today, man.
Because
I know, I'm ready, man.
he's
The idea is
he's
tough,
shooting.
right?
That shit is funny.
It's a great nickname. He's shooting 44% from mid-range.
That's fire.
But he's shooting 65% at the rim. So
He's a legitimate sex god.
A
He's
defense
averaging 30 on
naturally.
60% from the field, bro.
A defense naturally in the playoffs is going to say, you know what? If you want to settle for this mid-range jump shot that you build confidence in, we'll live with the
You do not want
44%
Giannis in that
versus
paint.
the 65%, and we'll see if it translates in the playoffs. Now, over the last 5 seasons, 3 of them, when Giannis has been off the court, they've had a better offensive rating. And Giannis's offensive value, or I should say his value as a player, has come from his elite defensive value. It's a big reason why they won a championship in 2021. The Bucks, with Giannis on the court, have never outputted an elite offense.
I don't think they ever
in
will.
the
Well, they
playoffs.
should with Dame in theory.
With Dame, I think that helps it a lot, and I think that's what they realize is that he can't be the only person having this type of load on offense. We need another shot creator, especially on the perimeter. And I think that's what makes Milwaukee dangerous this year is that they're second in three-point percentage. They're top 10 in defensive rating. They have floor spacing around Dame and Giannis. So it's really just about, the matchup that they go up against. I don't have any question marks or qualms about a matchup against Detroit, with all due respect, or the Pacers,
just happy to be
or the Knicks, because none of those teams, maybe outside of the Knicks, have a front line that can actually contain Giannis.
We don't know if the Knicks have a front line.
Well, I think OG is like the front line.
What's his help though?
Mitchell Robinson with him healthy.
He's back.
How many minutes is he about to play though?
Oh, they have to play a lot.
Oh, brother, he got to play. He got to match Giannis minutes.
Okay, well then, unfortunately, we're putting Mitchell
Yeah.
Robinson back on the
OG's
IR.
giving Giannis hell.
He can make it tough.
OG, he's a good front line defender.
He's strong, too.
So the back line is obviously a concern, but the
Giannis got some inches
Pacers
on him. You know what I mean?
the Pacers don't have a guy that could do that. The Pistons don't really have that
Shit,
either.
OG the same height as
Unless Isaiah
Kawhi.
Stewart is out there, but so I think that's the major thing that's going to hold these other teams back. I think the Bucks are the most well-rounded team, and when you have the best player in any series, even if they go up against Cleveland and Boston, they have the best player in the series.
Facts.
And then Dame,
Yeah, shit don't
he's
matter,
one
though.
of the 3 best players in the series.
Facts.
You always have a chance. I just think when they stack up against the Celtics and the Cavaliers, the depth around the team, that's where it could get exposed. But against the Knicks and the Pacers and the Pistons, it's not really going to matter that much.
Yeah, I think there's almost a tier within this tier. I do think the Knicks and the Bucks are 1 and 2. It is difficult to rank them because I feel like both of these teams have some real weaknesses, especially defensively, right? I think you're going to be able to attack Dame at will. We've seen throughout this regular season that you'll be able to attack Jalen Brunson and Cat, especially in like pick and roll coverage, get both of these guys guarded, within a set, and you could really go to work against them. I think for the Bucks, Brook Lopez, the amount of drop coverage he plays, if you're playing a team that's a great 3-point shooting team and you have Brook playing drop, you could pull up a lot and really have the Bucks in trouble. If I had to choose one over the other, I'm still taking the Knicks at number 1. I feel like their body of work this entire season, they just can't beat the best teams, man. They can't beat OKC, they can't beat Cleveland, they can't beat Boston. Oh well. I do feel like against I know, but against everybody else,
No, yeah, I
they've
feel
been
you.
pretty fucking amazing, right? You take those 7 losses away, like they're, they got 13 losses on the season. They are, but we're talking about the tier 2. We're not talking about any of these teams winning championships.
over teams 500?
Well, they
No,
got 7
we're
losses
in-
off rip against
yeah.
them dudes.
And then one Golden State won.
Yeah. But I do think the Knicks have shown throughout this regular season that when they aren't playing, and I get it, it matters, but I think we all agree that none of these teams are going to win a championship, right? So if we're ranking how do these teams stack up basically with
hit or
each
miss.
other,
It's a hit
right?
or
Like how do they rank in their own tier in the Eastern Conference and in the Western Conference, because we know who the top of the league is right now. I still like what the Knicks have done this regular season. And even though we've clowned Mitchell Robinson and said the what ifs, he's been on the court and he's back.
He's
and
playing really well.
yes, Riv, he has looked really good. So that's all we can say for right now, because this is a guy that has not been able to stay healthy throughout his career. But he's on the court right now. And if he's healthy in March, you got to hope a month and a half from now he's healthy for the regular season. And having him for some sort of backline defense that you haven't had the entire regular season, plus you have an elite top-level perimeter defender in OG Anunoby. And listen, is Giannis and Dame, Cat, and Jalen Brunson? No. But I think both of those duos on any given night can give you 60 to 70 points. Like, you might trust Giannis and Dame do it more consistently, but we know Brunson and Cat can do that too. And if the debate can be Cat in the playoffs, which 100%, because Cat in the playoffs has not been that type of guy, but I do feel like Cat this season has been a different version of himself.
The Knicks are 2-0 against the Bucks this year. Cat has dropped 30 in both games.
Here we go.
And the Bucks have been healthy when they played the Knicks. And Brunson in the second game, he dropped 44.
There you go.
I think
Brunson's insane.
I think the top 2 players with the Bucks, they have an advantage. But I think, even though Mikal, the trade isn't really the best, but OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, those are 3 better role players. And
Who's got more good players?
No, yeah,
I think it's the Knicks.
I think the Knicks and the Bucks. Honestly, I'm
What
hoping.
coach do you trust more? I think it's the Knicks.
I'm hoping the Bucks get the 6th seed. I want to see Knicks and Bucks in the first round. Like I think that's probably the best series of the first round. Like that's a hit or miss.
I mean,
That's a
last year we
50-50.
played a team that had the best player in the series, and we beat them.
Who?
The Sixers with Embiid.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he was a dog. Actually, shit, Maxey was up there too when he played y'all. Like
You could
That's
argue.
kind of like what Giannis and Maxey could do.
I was
to
gonna
us.
say Maxey and Embiid were the second and third best players in that series, and the Knicks still easily won.
yeah, I think it's gonna be close. I think for me, I'm always back and forth from Knicks and Bucks. I'll go Bucks right now. Knicks too. Just to talk about the other 2 teams quickly, I think both teams have been really good this year. I think Detroit has been a better story, but Indiana, as of late, has been playing really well. Tyrese Halliburton has looked really impressive.
Halliburton's been hooping, man.
Yeah, he's been doing his thing, and I think
Slept on it.
Listen, positivity here. Nothing. He's been playing great. He's been playing amazing basketball.
You know, it's nice that you spoke about the Pacers, mister, because I have some numbers here.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to
Talk.
back up to your positivity
Here we
point
go.
here.
Back up the
Because
positivity.
the Pacers would be my number 3 team. I'm sorry, I have the Pistons at 4.
Hey, listen, bro, that's a hit or miss.
Halliburton, since the first 15 games of the season, averaging 19.6 points per game, 9.1 assists, 1.7 turnovers, 65% true shooting.
See the
They
spark.
have a 29-15 record when he plays. He's 7th in win shares.
There you go.
Over the last 6
Win
games,
shares.
he's averaging 24-12, shooting 61% from the field and 59% from 3.
We got him, yeah.
No, it was Riv. Riv said, "Oh, win shares."
Well, I haven't heard that in a minute. That's
Now,
I heard
looking
that's that in a
at
minute.
Halliburton's assist to turnover ratio, because
we go. This is
I
what
think
matters.
a lot of the times, you know, people compare him to the other great passers in the league, like Trae Young,
Or greats
and,
like Steve Nash.
and they say, yeah,
Or like
yeah,
Jason Kidd and shit, like,
you
feel
know,
me?
they say, you know, Trae Young is more aggressive with his passes, but you know, Halliburton still manages to rack up a lot of assists. This year, his assist to turnover ratio is 5.2. Last season it was 4.7. The year before it was 4.16.
There you go.
Since 2000, a player recording at least 16 assists, a player recording at least 60 assists and 10 or fewer turnovers in a 6-game stretch has happened 196 times. Of the top 20, Halliburton owns 11 of those spots. Chris Paul and Gary Payne owning the others.
Damn.
So Halliburton,
That's some good company.
Yeah, that is some outstanding company. And only
Dog.
4 teams have won 70% of the games during the last 3 months: the Thunder, the Cavs, the Lakers, and the Pacers. The Pacers are
Definitely
playing
not
some
Boston.
really good basketball.
Makes sense, those 3 teams.
Oh, who's been talking about the Pacers?
Oh, you have been talking about the
Yeah,
Pacers,
damn
and
right.
guess
guy.
what? I
You
think
too early.
You're here.
you know the
no.
other day.
Sabonis said you was too early.
Oh, no, but
You
I
got the colors,
I've
kind
still
of.
been here.
Yellow was that?
No,
lime?
this is neon
Brother,
green.
that's neon.
Could pass
Yo.
yellow.
Take it to a doctor.
Yo,
Pass is yellow and the lighting.
No, bro, that's nowhere
Banana
near
yellow.
From
bro.
me,
That's
from
closer
my
to green, bro.
From my perspective, this looks yellow.
The glasses.
What?
Now you know what, Dehls? It's just neon.
It is neon, but I could definitely see what your perspective does.
That's what I'm saying,
Now,
bro.
on
The
the
lighting.
virtual show we did, you know, Riv said Halliburton's like a top 12 point guard.
Yeah.
I have him ranked at number 7. I was doing my rankings,
okay.
and then you know I think Luka's over him, SGA, Steph Curry, Brunson, Cade. I think Dame has brought himself back into this company,
okay.
and then Halliburton's at 7 over Garland and over Trey.
Okay.
Those are the next 2 right behind him.
Where's Derek White?
He's a point guard?
I think he's the point guard for the Celtics. Well, like listed.
I think top 12
Tatum,
is
but-
just fresh off the dome.
It depends on what you think about him versus LaMelo Ball.
Is Austin Reeves a 2?
Yeah, he
Guard,
classifies a little
combo.
bit both, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, he could go either way.
I don't hate that list.
No, it's a good list.
I think
Natural.
Halliburton number 7. I think
fair.
when I think of a pure point guard, I think he just represents that. He's
He's probably the
embodiment.
best pure point guard.
with
in the
Where's
league.
LaMelo?
Yeah,
LaMelo.
13.
13.
You saw Derek White lost his tooth again today.
Yeah, I did see. What the fuck is up with him? He keep losing.
It's
his
definitely
teeth.
the one that got knocked out in the finals.
He's never mind.
He could be in this 10 spot. I don't really mind it. If he's number 10, LaMelo.
I say when I said top 12, that was during my negative arc.
No,
you
it
say
was just you
Cade,
spitballing
5?
a name. Cade is 5, yeah. He's 5. I think Cade.
Oh, brother, we have.
I think,
we
yeah,
have
Cade is top
awakened.
5. Cade is top 5.
Yeah, listen, I've advocated for rivalries, so I want Indiana and Detroit to play each other to spark up some shit. So, because they've literally
They got
had
beef.
situations every time they play each
we
other.
need that 4-5. That's
Yo,
what
and
has
that's
to be.
dope. Like, that's a dope ass matchup. We got Hallie versus Cade, point guard matchups. I think I'm excited to see that. For me, I got Detroit over Indiana, man. Just they've been a top 3 defense
Yes.
in the last 15 to 20
Yes.
games. I think since January, if I'm not mistaken. They're deep. JB Bickerstaff, shout out to him, and credit to the guys they have just defensively. Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren over the last 10, 12 games. I give him the pause treatment of I take it game by game. Game by game, he shows me something. Game by game, I feel excited. about it.
2025, I feel like overall he's been good.
He's been, but 2024 really left a sour taste in my mouth. And last year too.
Yeah.
Cade's been amazing. Of course, Malik Beasley has just woken up from the
He shit
depths
on
of
us,
hell,
bro. Oh
and
my
he's
God.
just been—he's a stroker.
Where is he in the 6 man of the year conversation?
He's like top 3, 4. I think it's Pritchard. I think it's Hunter and Beasley.
He's
might
averaging
be
16
3.
off the
I think
bench.
Jerome might be the 3rd spot.
Over a hundred. I guess
I think he was. I think he was. I think it could have changed. When you have a 40 ball, it completely changed everything.
After that game against the Celtics, I
Karis
was
LeVert
thinking
was
of
in the
putting Malik Beasley
conversation for some
number
time
1.
too.
Beasley was shitting on us, bro.
No,
Oh my God.
he was talking crazy. Like
Yeah,
he's
he
shitting,
was.
shaking.
I was
like,
getting sick,
he
bro.
was-
I was like, someone got to punch him, bro.
he was going
Damn me
nuts.
tight.
I like Detroit's team. I think they have room to grow in terms of getting to that top of tier 2. But this is like I said, I'm happy to be here, man. It's just about being happy to be here. Give fight, give energy. I love what they've done, and I'm excited for the process and excited for what Detroit can do in the playoffs.
Yeah, my list would be Bucks 1, Knicks 2, Pacers 3, Pistons 4.
That's exactly mine.
I would have the Knicks and Bucks switch, but 3
Bucks,
and 4 I'm with.
Knicks, Pistons, Pacers.
Damn, I'm the only Knicks guy, I guess.
No, I respect the fuck out of
Only
that.
dude. I mean, you believe in
They
Mikal
fallen
Bridges.
off.
I'm in between.
They
I'm in
fallen
between a
off.
couple of Knicks guys.
He believes in Mikal and
I never fell off
OG.
on Yams.
I believe in OG for sure.
OG's a
For
lockdown.
sure, I believe in OG.
You have this fun game. You guys want to play? Kind of.
I also have a little TikTok thing too. We can do yours first though. Mine's kind of stupid, but I think it might.
Is your little TikTok thing a dance? Get up and dance with us.
Shake your ass.
Malik Beasley?
Well, that segues perfectly into this week in the NBA.
Oh, so we're just not going to talk about rejuvenated Steph Curry?
We could do it tomorrow. We're recording tomorrow.
It's
I won't
midnight.
be here tomorrow.
You said you'll be here for the first hour.
Are you going to allow me to be here for the first hour?
I mean, yeah.
If we lock
You're
it,
here.
it's gonna be on you. Are you gonna allow us?
I don't have work. My building is on fire. I cannot. I don't have
crying.
work. Yeah.
Dude,
See,
call
I'll
out of
see
work
what time
tomorrow.
I can't call out, but I'll see what time I get off. I should be able to get
I'll
off.
tell you this. I don't even want to talk about Steph. I just want to say this. At 40, there was some nasty. Not saying from anybody here.
What's his record at MSG?
Huh?
What's his record at MSG?
It's like 11-0. Bro.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
like-
He
it's like-
owns
it's so
MSG.
fucking nasty.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's where
even
he
know that.
broke out.
There was some nasty conversations about Steph before All-Star. I felt like, Drew, you were the nicest of the nastiness. I'm saying like out of us, like you didn't
stop.
you
That
didn't
was the
speak
most
you didn't speak
respectful.
about it much is what I'm saying. I'm saying when I heard
I
Drew
always
talk about it,
respect Steph.
he just kept asking me, "Yo, can Steph wake up? Can Steph
He just
do
needed
this
some
thing?"
help, man.
And I feel like I've saw Steph be asked for a year because it was back half of last year and front half this year, so combined year. But ever since Jimmy Butler has got there, he's a top 10 player in the world.
Top 10?
No, I was gonna go
Top
further,
10,
but
please.
you cut me off. But he's better than Tatum. I think we're back. He's up there with the SGAs of the world. I'm sorry, this brother, since Jimmy Butler has
gotta-
been
up
back,
there
with the
Now
SGAs
we
of the
gotta
world,
hate.
so
Dude.
Steph Curry's best in the world.
brother, he's been so back. And of course, obvious hyperbole, but 40 points again. I mean, he just looks fresh. He looks energized. They're just letting him go score the ball. Like, just, yo, bro, go get a bucket. And he's been back to what he's been able to do. And the defense is back. And Jimmy Butler had 25 and 10 today. So that's really exciting to see.
It's nuts because you look at the rest of the Warriors, they really haven't been great.
You
They've
do
been
understand
outside of
okay.
Moses Moody.
You do understand
Yeah,
I have to
facts.
root against Steph the rest of the season now because you said
I
that
feel like you
stupid
always
shit.
should after 2022.
I kind of don't. Now that we got the chip, like obviously Jordan Poole, fuck that guy. But Steph, I respect.
What about
Now I
Andrew
don't.
Wiggins?
Oh,
Cool
you have
Wiggins.
to. Really?
don't give
I
a
would
fuck
hate
really.
I would hate Wiggins. If I was a
really
Tatum
care.
fan, I'd hate the
I
shit
hate
out of
Kawhi.
Wiggins. I
Even
respect
though he
that.
didn't really lock
I
LeBron,
respect
like I
it.
hate people that think he did.
I don't. No, Wiggins doesn't really do much. Man.
It's just that video clip. It's not good.
Now, I'll be honest,
on LeBron.
he got it for that. Kawhi,
That clip
Kawhi,
was crazy,
they'll play
yeah.
it at his induction ceremony.
said
LeBron
he
can free
looked
throw. I hate that he
I've
got
never
caught
seen
on
no
camera.
shit like that in my life, bro.
I hate that he got caught on
And
camera.
I feel
doing
like
that.
Braun was dead ass. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, why he back in the game so fast? Like,
It's really just Jordan Poole that I hate, bro. And it's just because like the half court shots he was hitting at the buzzer. That's the shit that really
Peyton
sticks
Pritchard could
out.
do that shit. He did that shit now.
He did that shit last year.
Yeah, so like he did it.
That would piss me off.
Yeah, it was fake up. Yeah, but I have this fun game that I want you guys to play because I think there's a lot of young talent in the league. So I want to just see where you guys are at with this young
we
talent.
go.
So this is a keep 3, cut 5 type of vibe.
Cut 5.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Keep 3, cut 5.
He's always coming with something unique,
So
which
8
I
total
respect.
players.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't want to copy other people. I want my number. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So you get to keep. Obviously, you guys are smart as hell. We got a doctor in here. We got a tech guy. And we got an innovator.
That's new.
You know what? You know what's kind of crazy? You fake are a tech guy.
Is he not?
I don't know. I
I,
guess.
I feel like at your job you do
I
tech
thought
shit,
you used
guess.
to. Aren't you doing shit at
Wasn't he doing shit at FanDuel
at
first?
Boom, putting
and
in
then
lines
Boom, tech-
technically?
Dehls, am I tripping?
I'm doing like marketing.
Oh, you know what?
really?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not bugging. As long as I know I'm not
thought
bugging.
you used to
He's
do
a
lines.
coder.
Oh.
No, I knew you weren't codes.
I was doing.
Yeah, you were doing lines for
I
a
feel
little
like
while.
you told
Nah, I
me
wasn't
before
doing
when you was
tech
telling me
shit.
your life, bro. You said a FanDuel used to do the tech stuff.
Not
I never
FanDuel.
worked at
I-
PFF.
PFF.
I was like charting shit. It
Yo,
wasn't
dude,
really
honest to God, that was racist, and that's on me.
a little bit. Glasses, white.
So let me start. We got the doctor, we got the
Dale's
marketer,
coding.
and we got a fucking innovator right here. So this is keep 3, cut 1. Oh God, this is keep 3, cut 5. I'm gonna name your name. You tell me if you want to keep him or if you want to cut
What's
him.
the category?
This is just young players.
Okay, here we go. We're
So we don't get to hear the list. We just got to decide.
Yeah,
off
one
rip.
by one. That's how
One
it
by
is.
one, I'm gonna throw you a name, and you tell me what you want to do first. Name up. Amen Thompson.
Cut.
Keep.
There's 8 total players. Yeah, I'm cutting.
Oh my god. Fucking idiots.
Okay. I'm disappointed.
I tried, Rip.
Hey, we're good.
But you're the real. It's me and you
It's a
here.
lot of this.
We're not even considering, like, think of young players. Amen Thompson's not one of, like, the top 3 young players under, like, 24. I don't know what the age is here.
He's definitely top 10 for sure.
Cut.
I hate that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Hey, Dehls, we're always going to be here with him.
guys,
Next name up, you better cut him. Scotty Barnes.
Cut.
Cut.
You didn't answer because you knew.
I let the 2 answer. I'm smart.
Cut Scotty. Next name up, Cooper Flag.
Keep.
Hasn't even played a game in the NBA. That's
Is this
glazing.
what it brings some excitement
Cooper
to the
Flag's
conversation.
my guy. It's already locked.
We're here.
Yeah. Loves Boston. There's other reasons
So
too.
we're keeping.
but-
Oh, you got,
Oh my
what did you say?
I love his game. You know, the thing about me, I love two-way guys. I love guys that can impact the game multiple
put it
ways.
in
That's
and
one
get
of
it
the
out.
reasons why I love him.
Okay.
That's fact.
So keep Coop. Next name, Chet.
Keep.
I agree.
Are we sure?
Yes.
So we got two.
That sure should give you some. Are we sure?
What
Why is he
young
helping
great
us?
play like
Because
Wemby?
maybe it's not helping you.
Like
maybe
what
it's a
players
trickery.
can come up that we're undoubtedly keeping? Wemby,
Yeah.
Cade.
Facts.
I just think it's disrespectful to keep Cooper Flag and cut Chet.
Yeah.
Is
facts.
We kind of have to keep both.
Do we have an age range here? Like it's
Under 25.
okay.
It's still a lot of guys.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
keeping
But
both.
like
do we have
SJ's
right
not gonna be
now?
here.
You
Luke's
have
not
two
gonna be
cuts.
here.
You've cut a man.
Ant-Man could be
you
on
cut
here.
Scotty.
Keeping Cooper Flag was so.
And
fucking
Wemby
bad.
could.
I'll be honest.
And Wemby and Cade could all be on
Not
here.
even trolling.
Don't say who's
And
gonna
I feel
be.
like Chet adds a nice dynamic to this team.
I'm not even trolling.
We only have
People
Flag
view Cooper
and
Flag
Chet.
as a guy.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Cooper Flag is a guy.
We only have. He said it's a new dynamic. We only have Flag and Chet.
Cooper Flag, he's like more so,
wing.
low key.
Facts.
And Chet's more, he's gonna vibe with the entire team.
Chet's one of us. Me and
Okay.
Drew.
Type shit.
That's a fact.
Coop is one of him.
I love Cooper Flag.
That's how
Let's
he-
keep
that's-
going. Let's keep going.
So we're keeping Chad.
Yes.
Okay.
You have one keep left.
I'm scared.
Be cautious. Next name up, Franz Wagner.
Cut.
Cut.
I hate this.
You guys are so fast.
Well, I'm just expecting
You guys
someone
don't even
crazy.
think.
No.
Jalen Green.
Cut.
Cut.
Fuck! We fucked ourselves. We should have kept Franz. Fuck! Who's this last guy?
Wait, how many do we have left?
So right now you
think we have
cut
like two.
Amen, you cut Scotty, you cut Franz, you cut JG. So you have one cut left.
And
You
one keep.
kept
Okay,
Coop,
I
you kept
apologize.
We have
Chet.
two players left.
My bad.
Two players left. One cut. Oh, this is when it gets good. Two players left. One cut.
I think we're doing okay so
one
far.
keep. Next name up, Alfred Şengün.
Cut.
Cut.
Immediately.
You sure?
Yes.
Positive.
We're playing the lottery
Why
here, Riv.
didn't we keep Franz?
All right, so you're cutting Şengün.
Can't have three white guys.
You're right.
It's a new age. So
Some spicy whites in the league.
you get to keep 3. You cut 5.
Please let us get paid.
Joel, are you thinking? Joel, are you thinking about anything? You want your final thoughts? Like it felt like you were thinking
No,
about.
if you name a point guard, I'm fine with that. I'd preferably like Austin Reeves or Pan Pritchard.
We're not building a team. You know that, right?
26.
I know. I just
Okay.
like
He
the
wants-
dynamic of this big team.
Okay.
Okay, so you're preferably wanting one of those
Yes.
guys. Okay. So keep 3, cut 5. Drew seems really upset over there. You cut. I'm hurt. You cut Scotty. Thank God. Actually, I'm sorry, Scotty. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. You're a great player.
Positivity. Thank
I'm sorry.
you.
You kept Cooper Flag, which might cause some uproar. It might not.
Hasn't even played a game.
He's a dog.
One of them ones.
You kept Chet. You cut Franz. You cut Jalen Green.
Okay.
And you cut Alfred Şengün.
Rightfully so.
Your final player to keep was a masterclass, Paolo Banchero.
He's sick.
Some could debate
He's
this.
sick.
I'd rather have Franz.
Yeah, I thought you guys did a really good job. I really did. I
Nice,
really
nice,
did.
nice.
Dehls, you spearheaded this one. You get credit for this one. Cooper Flag put you in a tough position, but you made it out.
No, we didn't. All right. I got one here now.
Is it fun?
It is fun, I think. So there's been a lot of NBA nicknames going around.
Oh,
a lot
okay,
of NBA nicknames. Some great ones, some not so great ones. I'm gonna list you some NBA nicknames. I want you to guess who the player is.
All right, that's good because I don't know him. I don't know many.
Let's get warm here.
Okay.
Start with, in my opinion, the best
Like,
nickname
get
in
your stomach
sports
warm.
right now. Wow. Who's the anomaly?
Jason Tatum.
Jason motherfucking Tatum.
It's the big deuce.
It's the big one. Okay.
The Green Gooner I saw.
The green one I also saw. All right, there's a lot here.
Okay, let's do
there's
it.
a lot. The thing is, some of these are just so out there.
Let's have fun, man.
All right, I'll give you another one. Who's the erection?
Oh, that's Denny Advia.
No.
No, that's
no,
Donovan
no.
Mitchell.
No.
Josh Giddey.
Who's the erection?
God, I hate that.
Stop, Josh Giddey. Just,
Hold on.
Josh Giddey.
oh, Evan Mobley.
No.
Who the fuck has an
Are you
erection
sure
during
it's
the game?
not Donovan Mitchell?
This is per Wizards Muse, by the way.
Oh, Bilal Coulibaly.
No. You guys are thinking way too much about it.
Jordan Poole.
The erection. Who is
The
it?
Greek Freak?
I'll give you help on a lot of these, but
Alex
the erection
Sarr?
is black and white, man.
Sar?
No.
Marcus Smart?
No.
Chris Middleton?
No.
Corey Quisper? In Magic?
Corey Kispert. It can't be him.
Yeah, are you saying he has a little man?
I'm just saying, it's just stereotype.
Ah, true. All right, you said it's in the East. You said
In
Wizard
the
source.
East. No. The Wizards Muse. Well, I have a 50.
So
names
it's a
here.
Wizards player?
No.
Yeah, you fucked us with that when you said Wizards Muse. I'll be honest.
That it did confuse me as well.
In the
Can't-
East.
It can't be SGA.
Playoff team?
An ass team.
Okay. All right, so that leaves us 4 teams. The erection. Trying to think. Is it
my
LaMelo?
God.
No, bro.
It's gonna be tough. It's fun. Ah.
I don't want to.
It's Grady Dick.
Oh my god!
I thought his nickname was the Big Dick.
Oh my god.
That's on me.
Come Dick. That's Jonathan Kuminga and Grady Dick.
All right. Next one up. Who is the eye test?
This got to be a bad guy.
Bad
It's
guy,
definitely
yeah.
ass team or good team.
Brandon Miller.
Jordan Poole.
No.
Bad guy. How ass?
Anthony Simons.
Shaden Sharp.
No.
No.
Scoop.
His is the abnormality.
No. Is it
His is the abnormality.
bad guy? Competitive.
Keontae George.
No.
Okay, he said competitive. Competitive ass.
Competitive ass.
So it's either Portland.
Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas.
Bang!
All right, this is an easy one. This has been going around. The onomatoppoeia.
What?
Yes.
Oh, this is Bam Adebayo.
Yes.
Nice,
That's what the
nice,
fuck
nice.
they call him on
Yeah.
Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Who's the repetition?
Pascal Siakam.
I didn't hate that at all.
He doesn't spin. Yeah.
Does the same thing every
All right.
time.
East or West?
West.
Bad or ass? I mean, good or bad?
Not good.
Sabonis.
No. The repetition. Think about it real quick. The repetition. What's
DeMar
repetition?
DeRozan.
No, he said bad.
Laurie?
No. Repetition.
Walker Kessler?
No.
Bad. You think of teams like in the
DeAndre
West?
Ayton?
No.
No, they're competitive somewhat. Think of Utah. Think of who else is really bad in the West?
TJ McCollum.
Think of the Pelicans. Zion? No guy. He probably is the erection.
Trey Murphy.
I was gonna say.
He's a role player. He's been getting more burn though.
What's the nickname?
The repetition.
The repetition.
Tanami Kamara? I don't even know if I said his name right.
The repetition. I'm just trying to think of a player that maybe
Scoop?
like does similar things.
Don't think about the player's game.
So okay, thanks. Think about his name.
Think about his name.
Ryan Rupert.
No.
That's a bang though. Didn't think you had that in you. Damn. Bobo.
Yes, Riv. Cook.
There we go.
I'd have never guessed that.
Let's do one more here.
Crying. Repetition.
Let's see if there's any good ones. There's some crazy ones on here.
Have you guys heard of the alliteration?
JJJ.
Yeah, it is Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
Yo, what the fuck? We have reached a new time in the
I feel like I
NBA.
got all the good ones, but let's bang it off with someone.
Okay.
Okay, this is an interesting one. I don't make this up, but this player's nickname is the fat ass.
Oh, Kyle Lowry.
No.
Is it Zion?
No.
Who's shit fat? Trying to think. That means I admit not be looking.
Miles Powell?
No.
Is his shit cake?
Isaiah Briscoe.
Yeah, it should. Yeah. Damn, the fat ass. Oh, Grant Williams.
No.
That's not terrible.
This is a rude name.
It is a rude ass name, and I don't even think like he's a big guy. Don't get me
Joker?
wrong. Joker.
Ah, so
Riv
rude.
cooks with these, man.
Oh, wow.
That's so rude.
I have one for you guys. Who is the pacemaker?
All right, can we get some hints on that?
The pacemaker.
Yep, Team in the East.
Tyrese Halliburton?
It is
TJ
Tyrese
McConnell.
Halliburton.
He sets the pace, sets the tone.
Guess
Okay.
they-
Pacemaker.
That's a good one.
It is
That
a
one
good
was
one.
easy.
That's a good one. I like that one. The pacemaker. keeps it.
I'm not gonna lie. In hindsight, a lot of the ones you said.
I
were
can't believe
easy.
you guys didn't get the erection.
That's on me.
No, we thought too hard.
You. I'm not gonna say you fucked us up, but saying Wizard Muse, you kind of fucked us up. I was
Because
gone.
we named every Wizards player.
I thought I was just about to do just
Yeah,
Wizards
yeah.
nicknames.
Yeah, you said Wizards. I was like, yeah, we're gonna name every Wizards
Grady
player.
Dick. So this week in the NBA, I just wanted to shed some light on a couple things.
Do it, man.
2 things. SGA is averaging the fewest turnovers per game, 2.5, of anyone in NBA history who has scored 32 or more points per game. Only Michael Jordan and SGA last year have even scored 30 points per game with 2.5 turnovers or fewer per game. He has the most 40-point games this year, most 50-point games, most 30-point games. He is the most consistent scorer in the league,
SGA
and
keep
he's
getting
up
put in
that
these
3-point percentage,
records.
37%
getting
from
crazy.
3 this year.
I mean, it's one of the greatest offensive peaks we've ever seen.
That's a fact.
And the Timberwolves have won 8 games in a row when Julius Randle plays. And McDaniels in February, Jaden McDaniels, 18.5 points and 19.7 points per game in
He's been playing really well.
Top 10
leaps
two-way
here?
player in the league.
Oh,
Question. I had a question. I saw this tweet. Somebody was like, the tweet went exactly like, fuck a LeBron and MJ. Who in the league right now can catch Kareem? Because Kareem is considered widely the 3rd best player ever.
Jokic.
You think so?
I do think so.
No.
I don't know if anyone realistically is.
Kareem has his accolade. Woo.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If Jokic wins 2 more rings with the
just
MVP
needs
that
2?
he has, rings, and he's Finals MVP,
Mm-hmm.
he can be in that conversation. Because then he's in conversation for best big ever, and then automatically you're in conversation with Kareem.
True.
What's Kareem consensus like? Top 7?
I think he's consensus.
No, Kareem 3.
3?
He's number 3.
I feel like old heads people disrespect.
They do, but it's a consensus that Kareem is after MJ LeBron.
I mean, Kareem, second all-time scorer, most MVPs ever,
Yep.
multiple-time champion. I don't know. It's going to be very hard.
I think
I
So-
think
Jokic,
Jokic. I think next up for Jokic is like Shaq.
facts.
People think that Shaq's the best center
I'll
of
be
all
honest.
time.
Nobody's fucking close
Most
right now.
talented, yeah.
Nobody's fucking close right now.
Jokic has 3 MVPs at 30.
Kareem had 6.
actually just sent it.
I understand that, but I mean, Jokic is in conversation
He
for
might get his
MVP
4th
this year.
Yeah, he might get his 4th.
Yeah,
And
it's,
if Embiid wasn't fucking, I want the MVP.
Well, Kareem got like 6 rings though, right?
He has 6 and 6.
I mean, realistically, if
Only 2 Finals MVP, but he's
That's-
19-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team, 5 second team,
10-time what?
10-time first team, 5
What?
second team, 5 All-Defensive first team, so 11 total defensive teams and 15 total All-NBA teams.
He played for a lifetime.
He did play.
He on some Braun shit. Him and Braun played
He
for
also
30
won 3
years.
chips in college.
We don't count that.
Basketball
Whoa,
game,
he-
you know what I mean?
UCLA.
I'm saying compare him to Joker.
Oh, no doubt.
True, yeah, I guess.
But no, he's a winner. Like he's won everywhere.
yeah, how many NBA championships does he have?
6.
Wow. 2 Finals MVP,
Let me ask you a
6
question.
championships.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
If Steph wins a championship this year and Finals MVP, can he
He's top
beat
5.
Kareem?
Top 5
He's top 5.
ever.
I'm asking
He's 4.
genuinely. Because here's the thing. He's already in conversation with Magic. People have Magic at 4. A lot of people have Magic at 4.
If Steph wins a ring this year, he's 4, and that's it. Like he's 4.
Can he be over Kareem with a ring this year and Finals MVP?
No. 'Cause
Even though he is arguably the most transcendent basketball player since Michael.
I don't think he has enough of his. I think the problem with Stephanie's conversations is his peak, or his like when he started to become great started later
Older.
than most of these guys.
You know what's crazy
So,
though
you know,
is
it'll be
you know,
tough, like really tough.
I was playing 2K11, and you know when you right click, you can see the stats. Steph Curry averaged 18 his rookie year.
Yep.
18 and 6, 43% from 3.
Then he got hurt.
You know, he didn't didn't ascend into like superstardom in his first 3 years, but I mean, he was still pretty damn good
It
still.
was the ankle injuries. They were fucking him up.
Yeah, he was still like on a
I
different
think
level.
he's already ahead of Magic. So if he gets a ring, we can put him right at 4. We can pass him over Kobe. We can pass him over Bird. We can go ahead and just start that conversation.
You know, Johnny Flynn didn't have a bad rookie year.
Nah, I don't know what happened to him. He like kind of just fell
it's
off.
unfortunate. That
Kind of like the
draft.
guy from Villanova. Help me out. Play for you guys. And Steph came back and, oh my
Which-
God.
Eric
team?
Pascal.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Eric Pascal.
I was thinking. I don't know why, but Trey Burke came to my Matrix.
Trey Burke was Michigan.
Yeah, I don't know why he came to my Matrix, but he did.
Trey Burke has one of the best Final Fours.
He's one of the best college players I've ever seen.
It was awesome.
Him,
Take me back.
Shabazz Napier,
Yo, that trio of him, Tim Hardaway, and McGarry.
Nick
holy
Stockers was there.
fucks.
Too. Yeah, dude, that was a good
Levert
team.
wasn't Levert on that team, or he came.
He
next
was
year?
there, but he wasn't Levert yet. You know, he
Yeah.
was Levert when they left.
So some NFL news that we have, a lot of stuff happened. So the Eagles re-signed Zach Bond to a 3-year, $51 million deal.
Always knew it.
Every player since 2000 with 150-plus tackles and 6 forced fumbles in a season, including playoffs. 2000, Derek Brooks. 2013, Navarro Bowman. 2024, Zach Bond.
What happened to Navarro Bowman?
Just got hurt.
Retired early?
Yeah. Dude, did you hear the company he just named?
Yeah, those are elite guys.
Derek is one of the best middle linebackers ever.
He had a tremendous season.
Hope he replicates it.
The
We're just close to
Raiders signed Max Crosby to a 3-year, $106.5 million deal.
Nuts.
Really?
$91.5 million guaranteed, $35.5 million annually.
It's the highest paid contract for a non-quarterback in the NFL.
So now we kind
He's
of
more than Jettis?
Yes.
The Jettis touched 40.
he touched 35 mil. Oh, yeah. So now with this contract, you look at the Micah contract. You look at the Trey Hendrickson contract that he wants to get. I think the difference between Hendrickson and Crosby is that Crosby is elite against the run, and Hendrickson is a little bit of a liability for him. But still, this is why. The Raiders also made another deal. They signed Alex Kappa to a 2-year, $11 million deal, and they're expected to release Gardner Minshew. But this is why probably the Cowboys restructured Dak, opening $36.6 million of cap space. They now have $56.6 million of cap space available to them. But the Bengals, talking about this edge contracts, the Bengals are allowing Trey Hendrickson to seek out a trade. In 2024, he was first in sacks, first in pressure, second in quarterback hits, first in percentage of teams' total sacks. And he's been a consistent player for them for the last couple of years, one of the best edge players in the league. And we'll talk about that. I'm just going to go through these news, and then you guys can tell me what stands out to you. DK Metcalf requested a trade.
That surprised me.
The Seahawks will release Tyler Lockett.
And the Venera.
The Jaguars traded Christian Kirk to the Houston Texans.
Steal. 7th round pick. Shit.
The Bears traded for Joe Tooney.
Hell yeah.
And now the available wide receivers on the market are Devontae Adams and DK Metcalf via
Did
trade.
you see your boys are trying to get interested in Amari Cooper?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
The Jaguars also,
They cut Evan Ingram.
they not only traded Christian Kirk, but they cut Evan Ingram, Devin Duvernay, Josh Reynolds, and they freed up $23
By
million in
far
cap
and
space.
away, the most shocking is Joe Tooney getting traded to the Bears. Didn't even know he was available.
Nah.
That shocked the hell out of me, and it was just all like in the morning, just kind of happened.
Making
Joe
some good
Tooney,
moves.
6th-round pick. Here you go. I get his contract's a lot, and I understand that the Chiefs definitely have to make the most of their cap situation. But trading your best offensive lineman was not something that I anticipated, especially after a game where we watched your offensive line get absolutely torched from start to finish. That was easily the most shocking. I say this, DK, I'm sorry, with all due respect, he's not a guy that if I'm the Broncos, I know that we're looking for a receiver.
First and a third.
A first and a third and $30 million
They're
a
not
year.
getting that.
Not a chance.
They'll get a third.
I would give him a second and a third, but not anything more than that.
Not a chance.
They'll definitely get that third.
Yeah, I think
I get
$30
like
million
a
is
second
a
in
lot.
the day 3 pick. I don't even know if a second
I
and
think-
third plus the contract.
I think Chicago making these moves, and I said it before, like
They also
Chicago.
got Jonah Jackson, too.
Yeah, that's what like they have to hit. Like this offseason has to be a big offseason for them, and they've prioritized the offensive line. I saw this stat where those two had the highest pass win rate. It was something like that where they were both like in the 98th percentile of it or 98%. So definitely helping Caleb Williams in that department of just keeping him protected is huge. The DK move definitely shocked me because I guess I don't know. It feels weird. You had JSN kind of break out into the scene. I know y'all saw that live where Lenore was talking crazy about JSN.
So he's a crybaby?
Yeah, he's a crybaby. He's soft. Listen, they're a rivalry, Seattle and 49ers, so they always get it down. But DK, it was a little bit surprising. Like the way you acted last year, kind of a diva, in certain games, kind of didn't show up when your team needed you. You're getting paid $30 million. Seattle expecting to get a first for a third for a guy who's probably not a top 15, 20 wide receiver. Like, DK is great, don't get me wrong, but he's not of that upper echelon, high-end type of guy. He's not even a low-end wide receiver one to me personally. So I think, there's teams that are going to need DK, like teams that probably want DK. I saw teams like the Chargers being interested. Maybe a team like Green Bay who they usually don't ever trade for a wide receiver, but teams are gonna need maybe a team like the Panthers. They shop in, see what they can get for DK. Trey Hendrickson to me, This feels like a Buffalo move, man. This feels like a guy Buffalo has to get. Listen, we've talked about it all season since the season ended. Buffalo needs a star
I think
on that
since
side.
he's about to move him to Buffalo.
Listen, I think since he'll move him for the right price, they don't know what they're doing over there. And I said it on the virtual. This is a shit show over here. They're not gonna, and I believe this firmly in my heart. They are not gonna have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase in 3 to 4 years. I'm telling you, the way this shit is going about, bro, we could be looking at a total, just complete meltdown, a complete malpractice of an organization that doesn't understand that they just had the Triple Crown winner and a guy that could have won the MVP if you made a little bit better moves to get this team to the playoffs. They have a top 3 quarterback in football, top 3, top 4, however you want to shake it. They have a top 2 wide receiver. If you want to put him one, that's fine. He just won Triple Crown. They just had T. Higgins, who just had an elite year. And you had a guy in Trey Henderson who had a great defensive season, and you decide, we're just going to tag T. Higgins. We're just going to tell Trey Henderson, yo, you can ask for a trade. And, hey, you know what, Jamar Chase, we're going to just wait. We're not really going to pay you. And, Joe Burrow, we did see you say you'll, restructure your money. But we just don't care right now. And I think that organization it's in the mud right now. I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't see them bouncing back. I know you talked about you want to see what they can do in the draft, but how can I feel confident in them in the draft if they're letting good quality players always walk away?
They're kind of fucked because, yeah, they're kind of fucked. Trey Hendrickson is one of the best edge rushers in the league, and if he's not on that defensive line, I worry about how that defensive line is going to look this upcoming season. I think some good suitors are the same suitors that were going to be available for any other top edge rusher. That's the Commanders. That's the Packers. I think that those two teams make a lot of sense. Does Micah enter the matrix as a player that potentially could get traded? I think he's too good to. I think Micah Parsons is a superstar, and the Cowboys would be stupid to trade him. Trey Hendrickson, I can feel a little bit better about just because of how he is against the run. But he's so elite in pass rush situations that the Bengals are going to have a lot of trouble. I think he's at least going to fetch a first-round pick. Mm-hmm. So maybe the Bengals are thinking, you know what, we could rebuild this defense with these first-round picks, these highly coveted prospects. But the problem with Cincinnati's been the problem since Carson Palmer's been there, since Andy Dalton's been there, and now it's trickled down to Joe Burrow. They can have these elite-level players, but they don't keep them because they don't have the money to keep them. Their owner is broke. He's worth less than $1 billion. I mean, he's not poor. He don't got the money to splurge on his players. When you pay players, you have to pay guarantees, and when those guarantees come out of the owner's pockets, and when you're paying somebody like Trey Hendrickson, that's $100 million guaranteed minimum. You got to give him that money, and this owner is just cheap. He's the cheapest. He's worth the least amount of money of all the owners in the NFL. So it is very tough to build a football team when your owner is hesitant to spend money and to give out guaranteed contracts. So the only way the Bengals can realistically build an elite team around Burrow is by drafting well and hitting on draft picks and then letting those elite level players walk in free agency. It's just not a sustainable model to win. So I feel for Joe Burrow because it feels like now he has to do even more than he did this past season, which feels virtually impossible because he was so great this past season for them to be competitive. But Trey Hendrickson makes a lot of sense for teams. And DK Metcalf, I think the one situation for him is the Chargers. I think the Chargers should be all over it, even if it's $30 million per year. I'm disappointed in DK's ability to come down with 50-50 balls. I don't think he's that aggressive or physical at the catch point despite his size, but he still is a burner who can get behind the defense. And you have DK Metcalf and Ladd McConkey. I think that's instantly one of the best wide receiver duos in the league. I think Ladd McConkey is talented enough to be the best wide receiver on the team. I think he's that good. He set all the rookie records for the Chargers, records that Keenan Allen set, receptions, yards, touchdowns. Ladd McConkey set that. But DK Metcalf, being paired up with him, I think it allows the Chargers to just have that solidified and then work on other parts of their roster. They have about $90 million in cap space to work with. They could open up about $10 million more if they make 2 cuts to Gus Edwards and Trey Pipkins. So they have the money. But I think that's a great situation, and the Seahawks feel comfortable letting him go because JSN broke out. JSN week 11 onward was number 1 in yards ran per route against man coverage. And Lenore can say whatever he wants, but JSN, the last time they played, JSN got the best of him. And JSN honestly, I feel like Lenore made it tough on him, but JSN, his secondary reactions and just coming back to the ball and being great on those QB scramble drills, that's where he won. And he got about like 4 to 5 receptions on Lenore. So he played really well against them. It's still going to be tough, but Seattle's another team that I view as a team that if you trade DK, you're now adding a hole to your team. You know, even if DK might not be this alpha number one, he takes a lot of attention off the defense. And now JSN is your only reliable receiver and you have no offensive line.
To be fair, I think JSN can win, though. Like, I know that DK being there obviously brings a lot less attention to him, but JSN's ability to separate obviously has great hands to him. I think we saw this past season, he has the intangibles to be a wide receiver one, but you definitely you would rather have 2 great options as opposed to just having one. It is interesting. I think DK makes a lot of sense for the Chargers. I think DK makes a lot of sense for the Patriots as well. I know that the Broncos are going to be in this conversation. I'm starting to lean more on the side of we're going to have a lot more cap space at the end of this season for the following offseason. The only reason where I kind of find myself in a rock and a hard place is because there's a lot of good players available this offseason that can really make a difference.
They're risky though.
They are, but they are
players
risky.
are like coming off of injuries, like Drake Greenlaw, for example.
Correct.
He's coming off an injury. You look at the guard market, Tevin Jenkins. You think of somebody like Will Frost from Indianapolis. You know, they're coming off of injuries. Like a lot of the good players, Chris Godwin, he's coming off a major injury.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these good players are coming off of injuries that's going to drive their price down a little bit.
I want DK in Carolina. That's what I really want.
Love that. Can't believe I didn't say that.
I want
Jalen
DK.
Coker.
I want DK in Carolina. I think Carolina has an opportunity to win a division next year. I think if they make the right moves, they can sneak up on a lot of teams. You know, this is a team that I watch give my Eagles hell and almost beat us. You know, in a season where we was dominating teams. So, you know, Carolina's a team where
That's the game that had people talking nasty on.
Oh my God.
JH.
So 2 questions for you guys. The Bears, what do you think they do with the first round pick? You think it's Ashton Genty now?
I think Genty's definitely in the cards. I don't think he's a lock by any means. I still think they could go offensive line
What
if
pick
they
do they
wanted
have?
to.
They have the
10.
10th pick.
I
Ashton Genty could be there, but Will Campbell
think they could go edge. I think they could go a lot of different
Banks.
places.
and Andrew Membu.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
the
you still
tackle.
can go.
Really good.
They have Dexter, who was really good last year. They still have
Swift is on contract still, isn't he?
Yeah,
his
but
name?
that's
Not
could
good.
go,
what
though.
the hell is his name?
He was their most consistent player last year, weirdly.
Not saying much. They won fucking like 3.
Yeah,
What's the
From who? From where?
what's his name? He came from Washington, played with Chicago. I'm blanking.
Montez Sweat.
Yes, they still have Sweat. They have Dexter. They still need a little bit of help.
I think they could. I think what they did is, wherever they go, whoever's there at 10, they don't feel like they need to take an offensive lineman, right? If they fall in love with Ashton Genty over the next month and a half,
Would you
they could
take
say
Mason
take
Graham?
it.
If
He's there at 10, I don't think he's going to be
That's
there
a
at 10.
steal.
But they could go edge. They could go offensive line.
The
After
2
this-
Michigan dudes are great.
Hell
The
yeah.
Kenneth Grant dude.
After they got Tooney, I fear that my dream of Genty at 20 is over.
Would you, if you're Chicago, would you, if the right offer pops up, trade down? Because of the fact that
You can do anything.
You brought these 2 offensive linemen.
They
in.
have 2 second-round picks in this draft too.
You get
the
picks in
Bears do.
2026.
You know,
Because you could find another running
Ryan
back in the
Poles,
second round.
he's the king of
Yeah.
trading down.
Because the
Yes.
Bears could low key in the second round, they could get a running back.
Then
You
get
know,
a
they don't
Moran
really
Hampton in
need
the
to.
second. Need be.
Because
He might go in the
I
first.
do think that, you know, even though
Big
these
20.
offensive line moves,
It's facts.
it filled up holes for them. Joe Tooney's older. I still think he's going to be elite, the best pass protecting guard in the league. Jonah Jackson only played 4 games this past season.
Yeah.
So the Bears could also look at 10 and say, listen, you know,
Still need a guy.
we traded for these 2 guys, but one is older and one is injury prone. We
You're
need a
building
young
depth at a
stud.
minimum. Yeah, you're building depth because I think that they saw that, you know, in Detroit is they're going to build through the trenches, right? They started doing that in the last couple of years, like trading for Sweat, drafting no offensive lineman, but Ben Johnson's going to double down on it. He's going to take more offensive linemen. He's definitely going to take a running back because I do not think DeAndre Swift is the type of running back he wants to run in his offense. One other thing I'll say, Joey Bosa, I don't know if you mentioned that, he also got cut.
Yes.
It'd be dope to see him go to San Francisco, pair up with his brother. They're in the
be fire.
market for edge help. I feel like they've always needed a second edge. They've tried with Chase Youngs of the world and many different players and really haven't been able to stick in.
We just need that for the
McAvoy.
fans.
And Joey Bosa hasn't been the same player as he was. He's dealt with injuries. He's a bit older, but I think going to San Francisco, if he's able to stay healthy, he could have a really impactful season. And my DK prediction is the Patriots. I feel like to trade for DK Metcalf, you have to be a little desperate because you're probably going to have to give up a second round pick. I know it's a first and a third is what they want, and the latest reports are no team has offered more than a third. but I think a team has to be a bit desperate. New Orleans is a bit desperate. They have traded, or they tried to trade for multiple receivers we've seen over the last year, haven't been able to get it done. They have all the cap space. They want to get Drake May a guy. And Mike Vrabel, I think, would be cool getting DK, even though he has the diva kind of tag. I feel like A.J. Brown had that tag in Tennessee, too. And if you produce, Mike Vrabel's not going to give a shit. And he's also going to be a guy that you're not going to be able to walk over either, right? Like, he is going to be the commander on that team.
Yeah, and I think DK, he has a point in being frustrated with the Seahawks offense this past year. They just ran him on deep routes, really. That's all they did with him. And most of the time, he was just being used as a decoy.
Yo, remember that game where he went on the headset and called the offensive coordinator? And he was talking, he was like, yo, give me the ball. He's so funny.
That's lit.
Yeah, I fuck with DK, though. He cool.
Yeah. And then the last question I wanted to ask is, what do you think about the Jaguars' cuts?
I was a bit surprised Ingram got cut.
Yeah, why'd they cut Ingram?
Ingram
They
Save
have
some money.
Brenton Strange.
Trevor Lawrence's best friend by far was Evan Ingram, so that shocked me.
He was really good for
Also,
Jacksonville.
Christian Kirk, I get the money thing, but a 7th-round pick to an in-division team?
They were going to cut him either way, so at least you got something, but in division did shock me.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
that's
Christian
what
Kirk
Tim
can still
Cola.
contribute. Like, I don't know if he's like, is he like your ideal wide receiver too? Maybe he's coming off an injury, so we
about
don't
But
know.
next
But
to Nico, that's pretty perfect.
It
I would
is.
love him in Denver. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah,
No, I don't mind the Evan Ingram cut because
Broncos.
he's getting
you're
a lot
a
of
big Brent
money.
Strange fan.
But Brandon Strange, I think, is good. He was second in the team in receiving yards. He's a younger tight end, and I think he's going to be good. You know, I don't know about like a star, but I think he's going to be a good
I think Evan
contributor.
Ingram's still good, though.
Do you know
He
who's
is
still
solid.
good? Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is going to be back this year.
I agree.
I'm all in.
I just hope the Jaguars have a good draft because I think they're cutting a lot of dead weight of the former regime. And it's just about their draft. You know, they have 11 draft picks in 2025 in this upcoming draft class. And a lot of the players in this draft are needs that they have. Tight end, if you want to go that route. Wide receiver depth, you got a lot right there. Defensive line, you have a lot right there. You know, the interior offensive line in this class, I think, is a little bit deep too. So, I'm really excited for draft season and what teams go in certain directions because I think it's going to tell us a lot about how good they're going to be this upcoming season.
A lot of people talk about the Commanders. Not enough people talking about the Broncos. I need that.
Start
I need
talking.
that energy. I gotta be patient because they have so much more money than us. That's really what it said. They have a lot of money and
They're
the
in
moves
NFC.
that they can make. They're exactly the big players that are going to be traded are going to be from the AFC to the NFC. So if it's a Hendrickson or if it's a Myles Garrett, I don't know if we're in the ballpark for either of those two players. Which is why when you talk about Micah, it fucking gets me with my ears perked up. Maybe let's be patient. Let's wait one more year. If that's the move that we have to go all in on to sell the house and pay him upwards of $40 million, I would do it.
Mike is
Jerry
legal.
said they're not going to be aggressive in free agency, so they're freeing up this money for something. I don't know what.
What the fuck is wrong with that
The
guy?
thing is, Micah makes sense on America's team. Like, it makes sense for him to be the player that they signed to the crazy
They
extension.
really don't have a bad team.
Micah just
Their
screams
secondary,
They're just kind of top
it
heavy.
just got to
Trayvon Diggs and Deron
Philly.
Bland.
They got hurt last year.
That's good.
They're just top heavy.
It's good. They let up a
also
decent
got
amount of
injuries
yards,
and
but they
shit
are
last
good.
year.
Well,
I think it's
hurt.
really they got to build up the offensive line again
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
Zach
Lose
Martin
nine.
retired.
Tyron was gone last
Yeah.
year. He hasn't. I mean, been hurt.
But I think they have some people who they have done a good job.
Tyler Smith. Who's the guy they drafted
Tyler
last year?
Guyton.
There it is.
they
No,
could
Andrew
draft.
Cooper,
Like they've
Beebe.
shown they
Beebe,
could
that's
draft.
what I'm thinking.
They
That
can
was a-
develop
they could
too.
draft. It's the problem is
But you need at least
Honestly, I
like
don't know
one
about
marquee free agent signing.
It's an issue. No, here's the issue. They don't have real skill position players not named CD Lamb.
hey, he's an Eagle.
Okay.
Yeah, they need
anything.
another wide receiver to take pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. That's pretty much I think what their biggest
Smitty,
need.
AJ.
This is the draft. Running back, receiver.
Did you guys read that Matthew Golden is jumped up to the number 1 receiver
Here we go.
prospect?
Wow.
I
From
think that's
whose
next.
list?
I have to look it up whose it was, but
Yeah, I know a friend of mine. He has Matthew Golden over Ted McMillan. I'm watching Ted McMillan now. I think he's really good, but I just worry about his top end
Does he
speed.
scream like low end Mike Evans to you?
No. He hasn't really been given that many. His quarterback play wasn't that good. He hasn't been given many opportunities to make like 50-50 catches. I felt like when he really hasn't come down with them like that. But I think the positives in his skill set is that he's great at ball tracking and he's really good inside, like on crossing routes, working the middle
So
of the
A.J.
field,
Brown,
on
like.
digs. Yeah, I would think like more like Drake London.
Okay.
That's a comp for him, but he's not going to take the top off the defense and, burn anybody.
You know who Drake London's comp was coming out of the draft?
Who?
Take a wild guess.
AJ
Mike
Brown.
Evans.
Mike Evans.
Yeah. Just those bigger guys.
Drake's big. He's a big dude.
Drake is a big dude, but his game is different from Mike's. It is.
Like Ted McMillan, what I would do if I draft him, I line him up inside a lot and he just work across the middle of the field. I wouldn't really send him deep at all. Matthew Golden though is
he's a match made in heaven for Denver. I'm not even
Golden?
Yes.
Matthew Golden can take the top off the defense. He's an elite route runner. He can win in multiple different ways. I don't know how aggressive he is at like making 50-50 catches. I'd have to watch that.
That's
But
Tej Johnson who's killed.
there's wide receivers though in this draft that there's a lot of depth. Like there's 2 Iowa State wide receivers, Jaden Higgins, who's 6'4", and has a wild catch radius, and Jalen Noel. You would by his last name you would think it's Noel, but it's pronounced Noel.
Shout out to Nerlens.
Yeah, and Jalen Noel, he is super freaking fast. Like this receiver draft class is not like any top end. Oh, that's a number 1 guy. But it's a lot of depth. Like you're gonna find like those Christian Kirks in the draft.
They're like 86 overalls in NCAA football.
The thing is, if the Broncos.
really?
Oh my God,
Are you guys
LeBron! We are down 1. The thing with pick 20, and I know I keep talking about the Broncos because somebody has to. As long as we go offense, we can't miss.
Yeah.
At pick 20, as long as we go
You guys are
offense,
gonna go tight end, right?
that depends, because if we're aggressive and we go after Jawan, if we go after Evan Ingram in the first round, does not make sense to go tight end at that point. That's why I picked 20. If Genty falls, Burden falls, if Matthew falls, if Tyler Warren falls, we can really get a great pick.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Pick Aside Podcast. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick Aside Pod, on TikTok and Instagram at Pick Aside Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.